Ọmọ Ìbàràpá lápapọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Akin ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ tìlé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá nǹkan mọ Adéyẹmọ. Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí ń jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹrù bo lórúkọ gan-an. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn o torí pé bùrà a kò lè fojú kégbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá ń kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọ̀wọ́n irin ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan ò lè ṣì wá lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ àfìmọ̀ṣọ̀kan ká lè débi re ẹjẹ́ àjọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ gèdèlè wodò sànyà ìsànyà ò rẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sì náà ń kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ń ṣe yín ní dábọ̀dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rọra ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n ò mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sanran ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọn ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn bá bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho áfíkan pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ àfiṣẹrù wálé wàrà mòjé ọmọ onílé ọlà àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ségesège tọ́láwọn òní bomi kó sí mu wọ́n láwọn òní bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò fi rí ńkọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó sí mu wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ́sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé ti ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Ìgbòho onírèlẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta ò ṣe gbé fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò pọ́sibú kó dòdò láyé ń bí ó kún díẹ̀ kí tọ́ domi láéláyé ìtọ́ mi lè domi. Sunday Ìgbòho arógun má ti dí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
No going back. Ìgbòho òòṣà iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ inú kí yìí o. Àwọn ọmọ inú kí yìí o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délé ìlérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
Thinking about how we've been having this conversation about the unity of Nigeria. And I reflect back at some of the prominent statements made by some of our founding leaders. And I feel that probably this would help us to have a conversation on the Nigerian unity. I just brought forth, not to bore you, first, and I quote, not my statement, Nigeria is not a nation. It's a mere geographical expression. There are no Nigerians in the same sense as there are English, Welsh, or French. The word Nigerian is merely a distinctive appellation to distinguish those who live within the boundaries of Nigeria. from those who do not. This is accredited to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the former Prime Minister of the Western region. The second one, and I quote, "It is true that we politicians always delight in talking loosely about the unity of Nigeria. 60 years ago, there was no country called Nigeria. What is now Nigeria consisted of several large and small communities, all of which were different in their outlooks and beliefs. The advent of the British and that of Western education has not materially altered the situation, and the many and varied communities have not knit themselves into a composite unit." This is accredited to Sir Amadu Bello, former Premier of Northern Region. The third, and I quote, "Since 1914, the British government has been trying to make Nigeria into one country, but the Nigerian people themselves are historically different in their backgrounds, in their religious beliefs and customs, and do not show themselves any sign of willingness to unite. The Nigerian unity is only a British intention for the country." This is
Mo kí gbogbo wa pé ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò ti àṣálẹ́ yìí. Orúkọ mi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ mọ̀ sí koikimedia. Èní ni Friday 27th of January 2023. Ìlú London ni èmi wà tí mo ti ń sọ fún gbogbo àgbáyé pé the last empire British government a máa dáwó wálẹ̀. A dẹ̀ láti dáwó wálẹ̀ nítorí pé in tí British dá sílẹ̀ òun ló ń lọ lọ́nkàn yẹn. The unity of Nigeria, àwọn Britain ni wọ́n fẹ́, kò ń ṣe pé àwa ọmọ Yorùbá àbí ẹ̀yà Biafra àbí gbogbo 300 ethnic groups tó kó papọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n lálẹ́ yìí pé ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ẹ tún máa bá wa ká lọ níbi tí a ti máa wo gbogbo oríṣiríṣi tó yẹ ká mọ̀ nípa ìtẹ̀síwájú àti ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation. Mo fi tẹlẹ́dùmarè a tún fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ti àṣálẹ́ yìí. Mo kí gbogbo yín pé ṣé dáadáa la bá yín, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ kúrọ̀lẹ́, ẹ káàárọ̀, nítorí pé àwọn tó wà nílùú Japan ilẹ̀ ti mọ́ lọ́dọ̀ tiwọn. Mo wá kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ òmìnira. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo èèyàn ló fẹ́ òmìnira o, àmọ́ ìwọ̀nba àwa tí a fẹ́ òmìnira ó ti di dandan pé a gbọ́dọ̀ jádélẹ̀ ni. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń béèrè pé ṣé Yorùbá nation yẹn ti kú? Èmi á máa sọ pé ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation ó sì ń tẹ̀síwájú, nítorí pé ó dìgbà tí a bá gba tá à ń fẹ́ kí a tó lè dẹnu kúrò nínú ẹ̀. Bóhun gbogbo ìjọba àgbáyé bọ́bá náwọn ọ̀fẹ́ táwa fẹ́, àwọn kọ́ ló máa decide ilé ayé fún wa. Àwa ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá tí à ń fight fún òmìnira Yorùbá under the United Nations Charter, under the European Union, under even the African Union, gbogbo àgbáyé ló sọ pé a ní right láti béèrè fẹ́tọ̀ wa. Ìgbàkígbà tó bá dẹ̀ wùyàn nìyàn lè béèrè. Àwọn kan ti gbìyànjú láti béèrè, àmọ́ ọ̀nà tó fi ń béèrè ó dàbí ìgbà tá a bá ní wọ́n ń béèrè fún restructure. Àwọn kan béèrè nísìnyí wọ́n ní 2023. Nobody can fix that toxicity of the British Empire. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ koikimedia team, títí kan àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí wa tí wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun pé ẹ káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí i. Tó bá di ọ̀la lágbára Elédùmarè, bẹ́ẹ̀ máa tún lọ níbi tí ètò láti fi kágbá ìyá wa tí ó ṣaláìsí, ìyẹn ìyá wa Yèyé Lúfẹ̀, kọ́lọ́run ọba Elédùmarè kó bá wa tẹ́ wọn sí afẹ́fẹ́ rere. Gbogbo àṣìṣe wọn kó bá wa parẹ́, nítorí pé ìyá náà àwọn náà gbìyànjú níwọ̀nba tí àwọn náà lè ṣe lórí ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation. Àmọ́ tí ọlọ́jọ́ bá ti dé, ta ni àwa tí a fẹ́ sọ pé a fi jẹ́ kó lọ? Bó ṣe wù wá pé kíyà wa pẹ́ pẹ̀lú wa, Elédùmarè ó ní òun lòun ní ìyá wa, ẹ jẹ́ ń pè sọ́dọ̀ kí ìyá wa ẹ má bínú, lighting wa máa pọ̀ díẹ̀ lálẹ́ yìí, nítorí pé ojú mi kọ́ lẹ need. In tó fẹ́ jáde lẹ́nu mi gangan ni ó ṣe kókó tó ṣe pàtàkì tí ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́, so ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bá ètò yẹn lọ. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, mo kí àwọn ìyàwó tí mo ní, mo dẹ̀ kí àwọn mọ̀lẹ́bí àti ará, àkí àwọn ọmọ Oòduà. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Ní ọ̀la lágbára Elédùmarè, ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Onígbẹ̀du village ní exactly 8 o'clock níjọ́ Saturday. Ìyá wa Madam Abiodun Tawakalitu Taiwo, funeral announcement for one of the brave and committed Yoruba self-determination campaigner that died last week Sunday. Ikú mà lágbára o. Tá bá máa fi mú Sunday nísìn, àti ń ka ọjọ́ kan, àti ń ka 1 week. Ọlọ́run wá bá wa tẹ́ wọn sáfẹ́fẹ́ rere. On behalf of the Yoruba self-determination movement, I can confirm gbogbo ètò táwa lè ṣe as a media, àwọn koikimedia team, wọ́n ti wà ní agbègbè ibi tí wọ́n ti máa mú program wá fún wa lọ́la lágbára Elédùmarè. I have pulled all my resources from the media perspective to make sure that they are fully on the ground to support the family, just as we have done with so many other events across the Yoruba land. So this one is also special to me. So I have drawn all the koikimedia team, and I will be here as well as the backup to make sure that everything goes according to plan. Koikimedia will be bringing you the live broadcast from Onígbẹ̀du village from exactly almost 7 o'clock in the morning, where the event starts as well. Mo wá lọ bẹ́ẹ̀, a dúpẹ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń fi àdúrà ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. Kọ́lọ́run Elédùmarè kó jẹ́ kí àdúrà tí a ti ń gbà fún ìyá wa láti 1 week ago, kọ́lọ́run jẹ́ kó gbà lé wọn lórí. Mo wá padà lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí into the program. Mo tún fi àsìkò yìí, mo fi ń sọ fún ìjọba Nàìjíríà, Yoruba nation is not something that can be a threat or you can threaten us. Gbogbo ohun tó lọ ní Sùúrùlérè, ẹ sọ fún Fẹ́mi Gbàjàbíàmílà. Lótìtọ́ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní Kóìkì, oríṣiríṣi náà ló kúkú máa ń sọ nípa pé tí wọ́n bá ti ṣe nǹkan kan, but a kì í ṣe nǹkan kan lé lórí. Ẹ kò bá mi kìlọ̀ fún Fẹ́mi Gbàjàbíàmílà pé gbogbo tí àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ dánwò láti fẹ́ fi assassinate bàbá wa ọba Ògbóni ní Sùúrùlérè, ẹ sọ fún wọn pé kólúkálukú máa ṣe tiẹ̀. A ní àṣejọba APC, a ní àkínṣe PDP, a ní àkínṣe Labour Party. Yoruba nation is not a political party movement. Yoruba nation is a self-determination movement. Ẹ sọ fún wọn dáadáa. Ẹ ní kí àwọn assassinator tí wọ́n ń gbé káàkiri, àwọn pààyàn-pààyàn tó ń lò, kọ́ má dé ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ọmọ Yoruba nation tí bá ń ṣẹ́nu kò lórí program. Kò ń ṣe pé àti sọ̀rọ̀ kọ́ ni, kò ń ṣe pé àwa náà mọ̀ ta lè ṣe, but nítorí pé ìta bá máa ṣe wọ́n ní abẹ́ ẹkùn wa ló wà. But ẹ sọ fún Fẹ́mi Gbàjàbíàmílà dáadáa, nítorí pé àwọn tó ń rán pé kó lọ pa bàbá wa ọba Ògbóni, ẹ sọ fún, nítorí pé Nàìjíríà tá à ń jọ ń lọ yìí, mo ti sọ fún yín ẹ̀yin politician yẹn Yorùbá, a ní rán ikú sí yín, àmọ́ ẹ má rán ikú sí wa. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá rán ikú sí wa, a ní any other option. A máa rán ikú padà sí yín ni. It's as simple as that. If anybody bá rán ikú sí wa, ó ti di dandan pé káwa náà rán ikú padà sí yín. Nobody in this world has monopoly to violence. Ẹ sọ fún Fẹ́mi Gbàjàbíàmílà dáadáa. Don't attempt. Pull back all your thugs. Pull back all those individuals tí wọ́n rò pé àwọn sán lórí. Àwa ọmọlúàbí làwa, and Yoruba nation, whether they like it or not, would happen in our lifetime. And let me also say, for those that are still in doubt, whether the movement has collapsed, whether the movement is not moving forward, whether the movement itself is no longer in existence, as long as we are alive, the Yoruba nation movement will continue, and it will continue for as long as we want. And that will take me through the next video that also was part of what our father spoke during an interview he granted again. As we continue to love him, we cannot love him less. Ẹni tó bá ní bàbá Akíntóyè ò ṣe dáadáa, ẹ sọ fún pé kó gbé bàbá tiẹ̀ jáde níbikíbi tí bàbá tiẹ̀ bá wà, kó wá ràn wá lọ́wọ́ lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. Ẹni bá sọ pé bàbá Akíntóyè ò gbìyànjú, ẹni kó gbé ọ̀nkọ̀ ẹ̀ jáde, káwọn náà wá ṣe díẹ̀ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. We love Baba Akintoye, and we, Koikimedia, will continue to give him our full 100% support, just as we will do with Dr. Oloye Adeyemo Sunday, aka IGBOHO. We love him so much, and we will continue to show him the love, just as we love all the professors that are working quietly, whether with Ilana Modua, whether with Global Directorate, Yoruba One Boys, whether it's the Farmers Hunter, gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ òmìnira, gbogbo yín náà la nífẹ̀ẹ́, and we cannot love you less. Let's listen to this short interview that we have prepared for you.
Professor Akintoye lọ ṣọ́ra òbímọ kó ṣọ́ra òbímọ tó máa inherit gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣe yìí.
God Almighty.
You are creating a big burden for your children. Ẹ má ṣe bí ara yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọmọ mi, ẹ má ṣe ara yín bẹ́ẹ̀, mo fẹ́ràn Yorùbá púpọ̀, ẹ má ṣe ara yín bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ má ṣe àwọn ọmọ yín bẹ́ẹ̀.
Nínú àwọn bloggers wọ̀nyí náà, ẹ̀yin lè sọ̀rọ̀ sí pé ẹ̀ ságun rí ọjọ́ tí wọ́n gbọ́ pé wọ́n ní ẹ̀rì sáì kò ní ìlànà náà bá ní bàbá Akíntóyè lóhun òṣè Odùduwà nation mọ́ o bàbá ti resign o bàbá ọlọ́run àbẹ̀tí dídì tó ṣe bí òwúsà ẹ̀yin kò gbọ́ wọ́n lè ti resign wọ́n ní camouflage ni pé ẹ̀rì sáì kò nínú ìlànà ọmọ Oòduà pé ṣùgbọ́n ìjẹ́ Odùduwà nation gẹ́gẹ́ pé ẹ ti jù ú lẹ̀ ẹ máa gbọ́ kódà ó mú kí àwọn kan lókè òkun àti ní Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n jẹ́ olólùfẹ́ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ bá fura àwọn kan ti rí ẹ̀yìn wọ́n ti rí ẹ̀yìn ìgbéyàwó bàbá ò lè gbé wa débi kankan bàbá ti resign ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ò tí ì ké àwọn lóòótọ́ ilé ti sọ láwọn òbí kan pọ̀ sí ló sì ń já ilé pé bàbá Akíntóyè ti resign ẹ̀yin lẹ́sìn ẹ̀ sábórí.
Mi ò resign, mi ò kúrò.
Èyí wà kọ́.
Mi ò kúrò mbẹ. Mi ò ní kúrò di eléyìí. We are going to get our country and we are going to get it soon. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀. And we are fighting this at home and abroad. Thank God for the kind of exposure. Tọ́lọ́ ti fún mi ní káàkiri ayé. We are fighting this at home and abroad and we shall win. Lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Àmín. Àwọn ọmọ kan jáde lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí náà tí ìkan dẹ̀ jẹ́ nìkan tí ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ bá ìrìn àjò yìí lọ. Ẹ ṣàdúrà fún àwọn ọmọ wọn ní adé orí ọ̀kìn lórúkọ yìí.
Adé
orí ọ̀kìn lẹ́yìn báwọn èmi kan rí lórí social media.
Èmi ọmọ wa nǹkan wọn lọ ṣe rálì ní Èkó wọn ní àwọn ọlọ́pàá yìnbọn mo kí àwọn èèyàn wà ní Adó Èkìtì tó ń jẹ́ parents ọmọ mo kí ní o. Mo kí ni mo ń bọ̀ nílé ìgbà wálé mo ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ ni gbogbo nǹkan tá a bá lè ṣe fún àwọn ẹ̀yàn ẹ̀ a máa ṣe the important thing báyìí ni pé àwọn tó já aṣáájú wọ́n ṣètò láti gbé òkú ẹ̀ kan gbé wá sí Adó kan wá sí but a máa ṣe ọmọ yẹn lóore a máa ṣe àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀ lóore ẹlẹ́yìí tó tún wá ṣe pàtàkì bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé we are going to fight his case in court. I'm about Nigerian government shit Oh yes. One the Payo Babo Kason Bush one. We have can you say Nigeria? I don't know. That by the court in later or we will take it to the International Criminal Court and the Hague. Akashi Marshall Yeah, we are give up on him. Like we are going to fight you. We are going to fight the federal government by the law of the world until you know that these people are not to be joked with. We Yoruba are not to be joked with, and you have better land that. That's the truth.
adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ bàbá alálùbáríkà, bàbá tí ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ ìran ẹ̀, tó sọ pé Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ kúrò nínú oko ẹrú tí wọ́n kó wa sí. Kò ń ṣàwọn bàbá kan tí wọ́n wo ọjọ́ ọ̀la, tó jẹ́ pé èní nìkan ni wọ́n ń lò. Wọ́n ń wo bó ṣe máa jẹ nínú Nàìjíríà, báwọn náà ṣe máa lówó tó máa ra BMW. Wọ́n ń wo bó ṣe máa kọ́lé sí Nàìjíríà tó sí security. But adúpẹ́ fún bàbá wa Stephen Adébánjí Akíntóyè for the love he has for the Yoruba people. So if anybody is thinking that the Yoruba nation movement is dead, let me say this clearly. The journey for Yoruba nation is in continuity. But there are so many things tá máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí lálẹ́. Always have your pen and paper. This is the platform that takes you away from the real, from the fake reality that is happening in Nigeria. Even àwọn tó jẹ́ èèyàn gbòógì, wọ́n disagree pé àwọn nǹkan kan wà tí Britain fáwọn kan tí wọ́n dá padà. But no. The toxics tẹ́ dá sílẹ̀ sí gbogbo àgbáyé. It is time that we let that toxics to go. Mo kí cousin mi, ó ṣe kúrò ní bíbá, and I guess he has already arrived home safely. Ìyẹn Wàlátà, Ọlọ́run bá túbọ̀ máa dúró tiẹ̀. Gbogbo brain tí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ń lò ní UK tó jẹ́ ká máa lò nínú ilé wa, ká lọ fi develop. À ń lo energy yẹn. Àwa náà ń ṣọmọdé mọ́, àgbà tí ń dé díẹ̀díẹ̀. Tíyàn bá wo iṣẹ́ tí Wàlátà ń ṣe nílùú yìí, mo sọ fún yín pé he's doing a lot of work. These are people that can go back home and do the best for the Yoruba people. But unfortunately, we are still stuck here in UK trying to survive. We are all still stuck here in United Kingdom, in America, in Japan, trying to survive. Kò wá ń ṣe àwa tá wà níbí báyìí nìkan ni àwọn affected. Àwọn tó wà nílé, epo kò sí, owó tó change, owó change ní bank. The scarcity of money in Nigeria has become a death trap. But some Nigerians are saying that we should keep quiet, that we cannot sit outside Nigeria and dictate for them. We are not dictating to anybody. We are just saying the reality. The Nigeria that you love today will definitely wind down. The Biafra needs to go. The Yoruba needs to go. The Hausa needs to separate from us, from the toxics. UK Dasile. And as we go into the program, get your pen and paper and go along with me with the program that we have tonight. Once again, you are watching a live transmission Friday, 27th of January 2023, 14 minutes past 11 p.m. Barika Jimoh fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin Mùsùlùmí, mo kí Kristẹni, a kí gbogbo àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, my job is to educate you. My job is to bring the reality of some of the things that is happening outside the domain of the contraction known as Nigeria. Kí ló ń pè ní toxicity? Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ lọ wá the English dictionary. Ẹ rí pé program ta lẹ́yìn, the topic says, and I quote, that the topic that we are dealing with tonight says, Nigeria is a toxicity created by United Kingdom. And it is time now that we bring down the last empire of the British government. Kí ló ń pè ní toxicity? Let me see if I can find the pronunciation to come out properly. And this is the pronunciation.
Toxicity.
Again.
Toxicity.
One more time.
Toxicity.
So, kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Àti pé irú iṣẹ́ wo lòun máa ń ṣe tó bá sọ pé nǹkan wà toxicity? Toxicity is the degree to which a chemical substance or a particular mixture of substance can damage an organism. So, ẹ rí pé toxicity Nigeria ó ti wà damage because wọ́n kó everybody together, knowing fully well that when you bring people that do not speak the same language, do not have the same identity, do not represent each other, the toxicity would eventually collapse that union. And tí bá padà wá sí ibi báyìí, náà lálágbára Ọlọ́run, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, àwọn èèyàn dáadáa tí wọ́n ní program kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ní ọ̀la, tí wọ́n fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ ránṣẹ́ sí mi. Let me give you, mo ń bọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. This is the one for Ìyélúfẹ̀ tí ó máa wáyé lọ́la fún gbogbo ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lọ síbẹ̀ ní Onígbẹ̀dú village ló ti máa wáyé. But there's also something that is going to happen here by the Think Yoruba First. Ìyẹn àwọn bàbá wa Ààrẹ Kárùnún. Ẹ má bínú pé ó pẹ́ kí a tó gbé information yẹn jáde, but we will be working together tomorrow to see as quickly as we can bring the program live if we cannot make it down to the venue. Because I have just been informed. One out to try to get me títí, but because of the nature of the job, it is always a busy one. So let me bring that for you. Mo fẹ́ ká kọjọ wo headline yẹn tí nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe ní ọ̀la. Once again, the theme for tomorrow, tó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lọ́la. Let's refresh this. Once again, if you're wondering the kind of what I use OBS. And OBS is a good software for broadcasting as long as you have the system. This is a topic that I might treat maybe as well. I've done a lot of topic, but if I treat lálẹ́ òun ni the Nigeria is a toxicity. But when I saw this invitation that was sent to me, ẹ̀wọ̀n tó kọ síbẹ̀, in 200 years, it's like pé ó dà pé àwọn bàbá mi Ààrẹ Kárùnún wọ́n máa ń wo program mi dáadáa, because each time mo máa ń sọ pé mo fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ní 200 years from today. Níbo ni ìran Yorùbá máa wà? Gbogbo àwa tí àwọn broadcast lálẹ́ yìí lágbára Elédùmarè àádàgbà àdàrúgbó. Kan béèrè pé where is Onígbẹ̀dú village? Ogun State ló wà. Ogun State ló wà. So in 200 years from now, èmi máa jẹ́ 240 something years. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí mo kí gbogbo àwọn koikimedia team. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti wọlé, ẹ má bínú. I can't have time to be mentioning all the names right now because we are in a very serious, conversation. Àwọn bàbá wa Ààrẹ Kárùnún wọ́n béèrè. Mo sọ fún yín pé ẹni tó bá ní Twitter, ó wà very, very important to be on Twitter so that you can follow them as well. Think Yoruba First is on Twitter. And tó bá ti dáwó sí Yoruba Central account rí, it is important that you do so because ibi tí owó yín máa ti ní iṣẹ́ tó máa ṣe nìyẹn. Think Yoruba First, they are also on Twitter and they do a lot of work. Advert ti ọ̀la lélẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi. Ìbéèrè tó ń béèrè nínú advert yìí tí àjọ ń wò yìí, which is the same thing tí a ṣí ní bíbáyìí. In 200 years from today, will Yoruba race and identity still exist? Ìwọ náà máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara ẹ pé in 200 years, ǹjẹ́ ìran ọmọ Yorùbá máa ṣì máa exist àbí ìran wa máa ti parẹ́ tọ́mọ máa fi wá kan ìtàn? Ìbéèrè tó yẹ kó máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara ẹ nìyẹn. Ìwọ máa wo tèmi nìkan, máa wo 200 years. Irú àwọn tó ń support politician, àwọn wo 200 years, àwọn fẹ́ gun mọ́tò, wọ́n fẹ́ kọ́lé, wọ́n fẹ́ fẹ́yàwó, wọ́n fẹ́ ní girlfriend, wọ́n fẹ́ lọ America, wọ́n fẹ́ lọ Europe, wọ́n fẹ́ lọ Asia, wọ́n fẹ́ lo diamond, wọ́n fẹ́ lo gold, gbogbo nǹkan ló fẹ́ jẹ, kódà wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ shawarma, wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ pizza tó máa order láti London. But ìbéèrè tí wọ́n fẹ́ béèrè ní ọ̀la ní program tó fẹ́ ṣe ni pé in 200 years, èmi ò mọ̀ tán pè ní 200 years nílé Yorùbá bí àtàbárẹ̀ tó bá bá ké kọ́ síta. Ǹjẹ́ identity àti race Yorùbá ṣì máa wà inexistent? Ǹjẹ́ àwọn tí wọ́n ń sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ ṣe olùlẹ̀, àwọn fẹ́ ṣe campaign tí wọ́n attack wa pé àwa tá à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation àmọ́ tá à ń sọ lọ́la lágbára Elédùmarè program yìí máa wáyé, and like I said, we will be bringing the communication. But ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lọ ní ní East London ló ti máa ṣe. Gbogbo àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lọ́la mo ti wo host àti àwọn special guest. Kódà mo rí èèyàn kan tí mo like dáadáa tí mo ti gbọ́ program wọn tá ti lò ìyẹn barrister Délé Ògún. Ẹni tó bá wà lórí Twitter, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí orí Twitter lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Twitter, ibẹ̀ ni ibi tá ti máa bá Nàìjíríà jà igba òkè ẹ ṣe gan ni wọ́n ní igba ọdún. Ǹjẹ́ ìran Yorùbá ṣì máa wà láyé? Ǹjẹ́ a ṣì máa ní identity ní igba ọdún? Ìwọ máa rò sọ́kùn ẹ pé èmi náà ti pé 20 years old, so in another 220 ǹjẹ́ ìran Yorùbá ṣì máa wà? Máa wo èmi lásán, máa wo igba ọdún. Igba ọdún lénìí, ǹjẹ́ gbogbo wa ṣì máa wà ní ayé? Ogójì ọdún is 40, ẹ ṣé gan ni. So igba ọdún, 200 years from today, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń bá wa fi síta. Ǹjẹ́ ìran Yorùbá ṣì máa wà láyé? Ìbéèrè tó yẹ kó máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ nìyẹn. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí èèyàn kankan deceive yín pé ayé máa parẹ́. Ayé kankan parẹ́ o. Tipẹ́tipẹ́ ni ìyá tó bí èmi lọ́mọ ti máa sọ yẹn. Èèyàn nú ẹ̀ lọ á máa lọ, á máa rẹ̀ sí, wọ́n á máa bí sí, wọ́n á máa kú sí. Bọ́bá dẹ̀ ṣe ń kú, time yẹn á máa drop díẹ̀díẹ̀. Ẹ lọ follow Yorùbá, Think Yorùbá First, lágbára Elédùmarè. Àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lọ́la láti wá sọ̀rọ̀ níbẹ̀, a máa kọ́kọ́ tún lọ show yín ní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Délé Ògún, àwọn náà wà lórí Twitter. Ẹ rántí pé àwọn ló sọ̀rọ̀ tó fún wa ní Chamberlain, ẹ rántí bàbá yẹn, a ṣe program lé lórí. Kódà mo ti rí ibi tí wọ́n fi ẹ rántí pé a sọ̀rọ̀ lórí máa kan kinní kan ṣé òun kọ́ lélẹ̀ Navel Chamberlain or something like that. Ẹ rántí pa ṣe analysis lé lórí. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Délé Ògún ló fún wa ní tó link wa débẹ̀. Once again, a very good evening. Ẹ ní a lot of information tẹ́ máa gbà lálẹ́, so ẹni tó bá ní pen and paper, you will be missing a lot tonight. Ẹni tó bá mọ bó ṣe ń ṣí Twitter, ó wà very very easy. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Délé Ògún, àwọn ọ̀tẹ̀ láìkí Nàìjíríà látòkè délẹ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń follow wọn lórí Twitter. He says a lot of things and he's well respected here and he's gonna be speaking tomorrow. Ẹni tó bá mi tó ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹni tó ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀ lélẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n wa dáadáa ni. Tẹ́ bá follow gbogbo tó ti sọ, àwọn kìnìún tó dá wàhálà Nàìjíríà lẹ̀, àwọn làwọn fi ṣe background wọn lẹ́yìn. Àwọn kìnìún, àwọn tó dá problem wa sílẹ̀. Saving Nigeria from #Nigeria.DeleOgun, and he also has a website. I believe I don't know his job, but I'm sure he's I think if I'm right, maybe a bit of legal. Ara àwọn ìwé tó ti kọ lélẹ̀. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan báyìí lóye? A slave ship called Jesus, Délé Ògún. The life and times of Mrs. Evelina Hen, Délé Ògún, a fatherless people. The law, the lawyers and the lawless. Délé Ògún, Òyìnbó came to Africa. 50 years in Britain, Délé Ògún, ostrich nation. Ẹ bá lọ ka gbogbo oríṣiríṣi tí bàbá yìí ti kọ. Ìyá mọ̀ pé àwọn tó ń jàjà Yorùbá kò ń ṣàwa nìkan. Àwa kò ní opportunity pé sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ làwa jẹ́. Ìyẹn lẹ ṣe ń rí àwa ní gbogbo ìgbà. Ẹ bá follow bàbá yìí dáadáa, kódà a fatherless people. Ní country o, I don't understand gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà nílé tó ń rò pé àwọn ṣe ní country. A fatherless people, the secret story of how the Nigerians missed the road to the promised land. Délé Ògún. So these and so many is gonna be there tomorrow, lágbára Ọlọ́run. And tẹ́ bá wo ń tọ́kọ sí bíbáyìí. Seems this Nigerian army is only ever to be seen fighting civilian. Time to switch the union, where each ethnic group, the Biafra, the Yoruba, will have his own army. Ṣé tá bá ní army tiwa, wọ́n máa wọlé, wọ́n máa pa wá, àwa náà máa pa wọ́n ni. Ẹni bá fẹ́ pààyàn, ó ti di dandan kí wọ́n náà defend rẹ̀. Kò sí òfin tó sọ pé o ní right láti defend rẹ̀. Under Article 51 of the United Nations Charter, you have the right to defend yourself. As we continue into the program. So tomorrow, barrister, yes, he's a lawyer anyway. So if he's bearing barrister. So barrister Délé Ògún of the Fatherland Group and Georgia Akínọlá, Ìyáwá Ṣọlá Sàlàkọ́, Ọládìméjì Bọ́lárìnwá, the Think Yoruba First president, and the host will be Ọládìméjì Bọ́lárìnwá. It's free if you can make it there. And all this is going to be happening. They will be streaming on Twitter, on Think Yoruba First, and YouTube, Think Yoruba First. Heritage Multimedia will be there. Egbomi David Hamilton voice will be there as well to broadcast it. And the keynote speaker is Barrister Dele Ogun, George Akinola, Shola Salako. This is going to be happening in Hackney. So for those that would like to attend, I will be sharing this link. It's already on our website, on our timeline. So let's leave this one and then come back again to part of the toxicity of what the British has done in our life. And sọ̀rọ̀ nípa toxicity is the degree to which a chemical, imagine, oríṣiríṣi chemical, we brought different chemicals. Ẹ follow àwọn tá a sọ yìí lórí Twitter, who are very, very important. Ẹ bá ti type in Dele Ogun lórí Twitter, agbèjáde, ẹ follow wọn. Ẹ follow Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà lórí Twitter. Ẹ follow Báṣegùn Àlàbí, àwọn náà ń ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun lórí Twitter. Ẹ follow wọn lórí Twitter. Tìlànà lélẹ̀. I mean, imagine if we say we love Baba Akintoye, 2,421 people are only following Ìlànà Ọmọ Oòduà worldwide. Maybe because sí lórí Twitter tẹ́lẹ̀, ẹ lọ follow wọn lórí Twitter. These are the people. Ẹ follow Simon Ekpa lórí Twitter and also follow as many people that are fighting, the right cause. Ẹni tó bá understand the Twitter, ẹ fi time ẹ fi engage àwọn èèyàn lórí comment section and let us become Twitter warriors, Twitter guerrilla warriors. Inú Twitter láti máa defend the Yoruba nation. Kò séye comment tó bá fi sórí Facebook, YouTube, Instagram is not as powerful as putting those comments on Twitter and then continue to do the hashtag and continue to tag as many people as possible. But a lot of people don't seem to understand that. But from the last couple of weeks, we have been encouraging our people, go and mention YouTube account, ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ ní Twitter account, ẹ download the apps here. It's not paying me anything. It's just for the benefit of the Yoruba people, and that is the most important thing. So we're going to come off this. I don't want to have too many windows open. I might want to share this later, so I'm going to leave it for now. Again, tomorrow, a burial arrangement is going to be happening at Onigedu village. The koikimedia team, like I said, have traveled ahead of time. They are already on the ground, and the live transmission will be coming out from there as well. And tó bá ti dáwó sí central account rí, bí ẹ ti máa ń gbọ́ pé àbá account yẹn kí lè ṣe wọ́n bá please, the only authenticated account so far on the Yoruba self-determination movement that I am aware of is a central account. Tabania, but polówó kan tẹ́lẹ̀, I am no longer aware of that. In tí mo bá dẹ̀ wà aware of, I cannot promote it. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa. I am no longer aware of any other account. The only account that koikimedia can only authenticate, because in tí bá lè authenticate mi pé tí kankan bá go wrong, á jẹ́ pé mo mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. But tí bó bá ń promote account tí mo mọ̀ kankan nípa ẹ̀, that literally means that mo ń rán yín lọ síbi tí mo wà aware of. Nígbà kan I was aware of it, but for now I am not fully aware of that account. Orúkọ tèmi ni Ọláyọmí Kóìkì, ọmọ Kọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá ni mí. Mo promote òmìnira rí, but for now, òmìnira is no longer going to be promoted on Koikimedia. If you are going to be upset with that, please, you might as well unfollow the platform. Yorùbá tóbi, ìjà tèmi ń jà, that means pé ẹ like ọ̀nà tèmi ń gbà nìyẹn, ẹ lè máa lọ ní the other right. Again, òmìnira account will not be promoted on Koikimedia from henceforth. The only authenticated account that Koikimedia will promote is a central account from the YSDM. And like I said, that is the only authenticated account that we will promote on Koikimedia. Thank you so much. It's as simple as that. If you are angry with that, I cannot help you. Hello, Mumisi. Good the account details is very, very straightforward. We'll be pushing that onto our platform as we do others before. But it's very easy. Tẹ́ bá need help. I will give you the number, but they also have a contact us here, which is very, very straightforward. Or if you get in touch with me, I will send you the finance team number. Either through the Zelle, But the most important thing, everybody pays money. I know I'm a understand the big Canadian work. I might bring the YSDM finance team to come and explain to us again. Báwo làwọn èèyàn ṣe lè dáwó sọ́dọ̀ wọn, either ẹni tó wà nílé through Naira, àbí ẹni tó wà ní Asian country, àbí European country. This is important. Mo gbé yín lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn Júù láàárọ̀ yìí. Gbogbo yín náà lè rí fídíò yẹn pé Koiki àdúgbò àwọn Júù ló wà ní Stanford Hill. Gbogbo náà la máa ń sọ pé àwọn Jew community wọ́n máa ń dáwó, wọ́n máa ń save owó. Ẹni tó bá rí fídíò yẹn ẹ mọ̀ tí mò ń sọ. But one thing is, táwa náà bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń dáwó, ìjọ tí a bá fẹ́ fi owó ṣe nǹkan, á wá di gbẹ̀sgbòs. Until tí a máa fi gba ìlú wa padà. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí ẹnì kankan fi sí any kind of illusion. Nigeria is still operating as a country, okay? And we are only making effort to stop Nigeria from working. And part of that effort is interṣinṣe lálẹ́. A máa raise owó, a máa ṣe campaign, ìní a máa ṣe street campaign, àwọn kan a máa ṣe online campaign, àwọn kan a máa ṣe grassroots campaign nísàlẹ̀. A dẹ̀ máa prepare fún gbàsgbòs. Pé gbàsgbòs ò ní wáyé, bí àṣà bàbá confam, mò ń gbọ́ wọn ní ọ̀sán yìí, bàbá confam ní ìjà ta fẹ́ jà, kò ń ṣe ìjà ta máa jáde, ta tún máa sá padà sínú ilé, Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ká rí ewu. A wá di pé èèyàn kan sá lọ sí Benin, ó lọ jókòó sí Benin. No, tá bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà gidi tó di crisis, Amẹ́ríkà ò ń dá sí ìlú báyìí until tó bá di crisis. But ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yóò fẹ́ jẹ́ kó di crisis nítorí pé bóyá ẹ ṣì ń rí benefit kan nínú Nàìjíríà, èmi ò mọ̀. Bóyá ẹ ṣì ń rí owó ná nínú Nàìjíríà, ẹ mọ̀ pé tó bá tẹ̀ di crisis gan, oúnjẹ lè wọlé through United Nations humanitarian assistance. Ó dáhùn pé some of you don't understand that. Ṣé rí tó bá di crisis, wọ́n máa ní tó ń pè ní truce. Nínú truce yẹn ni wọ́n máa sọ fún ìjọba pé o lè bọ́ǹbù lénìí, àmọ́ kò fẹ́ bọ́ǹbù, kò jẹ́ kí medical wọlé ná, ká kó oúnjẹ wọlé. Crisis is the only point that it will reach where the United Nations will start having Security Council. Gbogbo tó ń sọ nísìn, Amẹ́ríkà ni ẹ má jẹ́ ká ṣe election o, nínú toxicity yẹn, ẹ má ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ tó bá máa ṣe election, tó bá máa rí gẹ̀. Kí ni kàn wá pé k'Amẹ́ríkà má fún yàn ní visa? Tó o bá lọ Amẹ́ríkà, wá lọ ìlú míì, a gbọ́dọ̀ ní wọ́n lára. Àwọn wo la fẹ́ ní lára? Ẹ wá gbọ́ mi dáadáa. Kò ń ṣe aráàlú la fẹ́ ní lára. Ìjọ tó bá ti di crisis, àwọn politicians yẹn ò ní opportunity láti náà fẹ́ campaign, láti náà fẹ́ lọ ṣe election. So ìwọ náà máa wo kí ni ìwọ náà máa fi ṣe tó máa fi di crisis. Má tún máa pè sórí program Mr. Koiki ẹ là mọ́lẹ̀ fún wa. A ní láti là kọ́kọ́ mọ́lẹ̀. Àwọn kan ní ká máa ṣe lobby. Yes, lobbying is good, but it also involves everyone outside the country called Nigeria today, and especially America. Wọ́n ní tá bá lobby America dáadáa, but America ò ní tètè jẹ́ kí lobby yẹn kó ṣiṣẹ́ lọ bó ṣe jẹ́ ká fẹ́. But nítorí tó bá ti di gbàsgbòs àti bọ́ sórí M1, then every part of the world máa rántí pé ẹni sùúrù nǹkan ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, and àwọn kan iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní pé they will make sure that the humanity aspect of it will be rest. But kò ń ṣe pé a wá lọ jáde èèyàn 200, èmi ti sọ lórí platform wa, mo sorry, fún ẹnì kankan ní owó transport. Bó bá ti di gbàsgbòs, wá ẹni mọ́tò kó máa gbé lọ sẹ́kọ̀ọ́, tó bá dé Èkó kó sọ fún wọn kó wá gbé mọ́tò wọn àbí kó rán dẹ́rẹ́bà kó dá padà. Tó bá ti dé stage yẹn, that means pé a ti ń fẹ́ máa súnmọ́ bí tá à ń lọ nìyẹn. But tẹ́ bá wá ní ká má tí súnmọ́ bẹ̀ yẹn, a máa ṣe kí ni? A máa ṣe ní wọ́ọ́rọ́wọ́, a máa ṣe ní pẹ́. Ní ìbọn ta fẹ́ fi jà lóòótọ́, but nígbà tí a bá kó táǹkà tó ń drive yẹn ta fọ́ táyà ẹ̀, tí gbogbo táǹkà yẹn ò lè move lórí Ìbàdàn expressway, ta bá fọ́ táǹkà bí táyà bí 20, ta block gbogbo both side. Ẹni tó mọ̀ kàn máa fún yín láì díẹ̀ ni o. Torí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín ó dà pé bí a brain yín wọ́n ti lọ́kẹ̀. Because there are so many things that can be done, but there's little that I will be telling you on this platform. So, but the most important thing is go and donate your money into the central account. Very, very important. Once again, Onigedu Village, Itori in Ogun State at 8 o'clock. Let us join the family of our dear mother, a grandmother. I just love her so much. I cannot just believe it, but that is life. We are all going to die. Àwọn kan ní Koiki ó fẹ́ gbé violence wá sínú Nàìjíríà. Ṣé ìyà tó ń jẹ yín lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí? Ẹ jẹ́ n fi lára ìyà tó ń jẹ yín lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ wọ̀nyí. Eléyìí nísìn in Nigeria not happen to you. A musician was brutalized by the APC thugs is now risking losing one eye. Ojú ẹ̀ kan máa fọ́ pátápátá according to the story. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kójú ẹ̀ fọ́, but bá a ṣe ń gbọ́ probability wá pé musician yìí ojú ẹ̀ máa fọ́, ìyẹn ní Ebonyi. Kò ń ṣe unknown government ló attack ẹ̀, kò ń ṣe Biafra ló attack ẹ̀, kò ń ṣe Yoruba nation ló attack ẹ̀. Good evening to you all Biafrans and all those that are also not Biafrans that probably Hausa. Mo bá èèyàn kan sọ pé àwọn Hausa máa ń wo program mi, ìbọn náà máa ń bínú gan pé wọ́n láìpẹ́ a fẹ́ pín. Mo ní ọ̀rọ̀ yín bọ̀ nínú program lálẹ́ yìí, àìtí dé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So, but for Yoruba people, this is Abuja today, fire, fire, Nigeria. This is the new train. This happened today in Abuja. The Chinese train tí wọ́n lọ gbé wá tí Amechi tó kówó sí, where the fraud Nigeria. So ṣe jẹ́ ká dá gbogbo ẹ̀rú so that all these things that is happening á lè jẹ́ kó tètè yá, but a lot of people àwọn kan tún máa jẹun nínú ilé nísìn. This happened in Abuja today. One of the train services again was derailed. These are new trains, but Buhari ò tí lọ, gbogbo ẹ̀ tí ń derail mọ́ lọ́wọ́. And like I always say, may Nigeria not happen to us. Let's move forward quickly. Once again, it's just 11:37 is our late night broadcast. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ ilé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. So ìwọ tó ń ẹwọ èrò ẹwọ ṣé motorcycle wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí mode of transportation? Èmi dẹ̀ rò pé Èkìtì ni wọ́n ní Àkúrẹ́ nílé pé kò ń ṣe Èkìtì. Kí ni ìyàtọ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá náà ni? So ìbéèrè tí mò ń bi gbogbo yín nísìn, irú gbogbo fuel scarcity yìí ó jẹ́ kẹ́ dí gbogbo títì pa. Tá a bá dí títì pa rẹpẹtẹ tí gbogbo tírélà tó ń lọ tó ń bọ̀ yẹn kẹ́ fọ́ gbogbo táyà ẹ̀, kí gbogbo ẹ fọ́ gbogbo táyà ẹ̀. Bí sójà ṣe fẹ́ gorí àwọn mọ́tò yẹn àmọ́ tá a bá tẹ̀ ní gbogbo tá a fẹ́ fi bá wọn jà, ẹ jẹ́ ká inconvenient àwọn fúnra wọn. Buhari ò lè máa ní wá lára, APC government ò lè máa ní í lára, kẹ wá máa sọ pé ẹ dákẹ́, ẹ ń wá Ọlọ́run wo ló fẹ́ sọ̀kalẹ̀? Ọlọ́run ò ní sọ̀kalẹ̀. Ọlọ́run see a lot of Yoruba people as idiot nìyí. Kódà àwọn ìlú tó nǹkan báyìí ẹ máa sọ pé yẹn nítorí pé àwa wà labroad. Báwo ni epo ṣe máa di scarcity tí ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń gbà mọ́ra nínú ooru? Olówó lọ́wọ́ ò tún lè fi owó ẹ̀ ra ń tó dáa fún ara ẹ̀. Ó gbépo lọ ẹja tó gbọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Ẹ wo a kind of problem tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé epo yìí. Wọ́n tẹ̀ wo safety ara wọn tó bá explode nísìn. Sahara ni gbogbo yín -1 nìyẹn àbí -20. And I am saying wọ́n ní epo ti di 1,000 naira per litre as of today. And all these people are now saying ká má dàrú. Ṣe jẹ́ ká dàrú kí gbogbo ẹ̀ di gbàs lẹ́ẹ̀kan, kí gbogbo ẹ̀ grounded. Èmi lèmi sàn yẹn, kò ń ṣe bàbá Akíntóyè, kò ń ṣe Ìgbòho, nítorí pé ìlú òyìnbó tèmi wà àwọn náà máa ń ṣe gbàs. And these are all the problems facing a lot of our people. Let's come back again as mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí arákùnrin in tó fẹ́ mú wa ṣe program talẹ́ torí pé like I always say, mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó máa ń fi nǹkan ránṣẹ́ sí mi náà tó máa ń ní ẹ má máa send àwọn nǹkan tó ní mí nínú tó ń pè lálẹ́. Àwọn nǹkan tó máa ní mí ní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan ló fún mi ní information. Nǹkan máa ń lọ ní rẹ́bẹ́rẹ́bẹ́. I'm sure a lot of you will probably never know him if you are not living here in abroad with us. And àwọn tó ń gbé abroad kan ibi tó ti ń faṣẹ́ lọ tó ń faṣẹ́ bọ̀, they might not know this kind of person. Nígbà tó ń ṣe actor Yoruba actor, òun ṣe actress Yoruba, but these are people that are also well known within the film industry in UK. His name is Cumming, FRSE. He's a Scottish actor. Ẹ̀gbọ́n tí mo sọ is a Scottish actor. His London stage work includes Hamlet, The Manic and Accidental Death of the Antichrist, the lead invent the National Theatre of Scotland. He's born on the 27th, which is okay, a mini birthday, so it's 59. Wow, what an interesting one to be talking about him today. He's born on 27th of January 1965. He's probably about 59 years old today. Ó ti níyàwó, ó ní siblings. But nǹkan kan ni ó jáde lórúkọ bọ̀bọ́ ìlénìí. Kódà lára tí átíkù tó jáde òun ni mo fi ṣe headline títàlẹ́ tí mo fi pè ní Toxicity that British created not only in Africa but in the contraction known as Nigeria. The toxicity, then we're a country that does not respect rule of law, a country that is not going to give you what exactly you want. Now, kí ni ọ̀rọ̀ tá fẹ́ mú jáde lára arákùnrin? It now takes me to the real headline. Cumming, actor, U.S. traitors have traitors host and back OBE over toxicity of the empire. Máa láti ṣàlàyé gbogbo bíbá fún yín torí pé àwọn òyìnbó gbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ngbẹ̀ ni. Àkọ́kọ́, kí ló ń pè ní OBE? O lè má gbọ́ rí. Àwọn ọmọ Nigerians kankan náà ti láǹfààní àti gbà. Bí o ti rí tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe lórí news in Nigeria, I mean somebody was giving àwọn kan máa ń gba OBE, àwọn kan máa ń gba ó tún ní kan another one, but OBE ni arákùnrin gbà. Ó wá lóun ò fẹ́ mọ́, ó dá padà. Bó bá fúnyàn nírú kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn tó jẹ́ kó dá padà, kí ni ìdí tó ṣe dá padà? Òun la fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ní lálẹ́. Ẹ wo ìgbà tó fún ní OBE yẹn, inú ẹ̀ dùn, ó gbà ní 2009. Ẹ wò nísìn, àìmọye ọmọ Nigerians náà ti gbà. Àwọn tó bá ṣiṣẹ́ humanitarian work ló máa ń fún. Wọ́n máa ń fún àwọn footballer, wọ́n máa ń fún àwọn tó ń jẹ̀ṣẹ́, wọ́n máa ń different ones they give different people. But arákùnrin 2009 ló gbà ní Buckingham Palace. Ó wá náà ò fẹ́ mọ́. Kí ló dé? Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Ká tó lọ sínú ibẹ̀ yẹn, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ kọ́kọ́ béèrè kí ló ń pè ní OBE. Anytime tó bá ń gbọ́ OBE is called Order of the British Empire. Order of the British Empire. The most excellent order of the British Empire is a British order of chivalry, rewarding contribution to arts and science, work with charitable and welfare organizations, and a public service outside the civil service. 1917 ni wọ́n ti dá sílẹ̀, just 3 years after the fraudulent toxicity of the 1914 amalgamation. Kí ló wá mú arákùnrin dá padà pé òun ò fẹ́ mọ́? So many Nigerians have got OBE as well. I can't remember their name, but maybe if we Google, we might probably get ọbẹ̀ ló ló ń gbé jáde. No. OBE UK. Irú eléyìí nísìn. Àwọn Nigerians kankan náà ti gbà á. So, Dr. Nneka, Muyiwa Olanrewaju, a lot of people have got this OBE before, for the good job that they've done. Dr. Nneka Lele, so, at some point, some people have got the OBE. So, ìbéèrè kan tí àwa fẹ́ mọ̀ ni pé kí ló lè fà á tí arákùnrin dá OBE yẹn padà? Bó ṣe máa ń wá lélẹ̀, bọ̀bọ́ yìí náà tó máa ń sáré ti gbà rí, ìgbà míì àwọn ọmọkùnrin ló máa ń present ẹ̀, ó depend on, kìnní náà ti gbà rí Anthony Joshua tó dọ̀bálẹ̀ fún Buhari, wọ́n ti nà lẹ́sẹ̀ẹ́, ó ti lose out. So bó ṣe máa ń wá lélẹ̀, wọ́n máa gbé kìnní bọ̀bọ́ tó máa ń gbá Rio Ferdinand náà ti. So a lot of people get it, but ó máa ṣiṣẹ́ débẹ̀ ọ tó lè fún ẹ. But kí ló wá fà á tí Cumming tó dá tiẹ̀ padà? Let's go with this article. Once again, you're watching a live transmission. My name is OLAMILEKAN. As we continue to educate you and give you all the reasons why even those that we believe that might probably not understand what is going on in Africa. But nígbà tí Queen kú, a lot of things have now been exposed. And this is why this person is returning his own back after he realized the damage tí àwọn royal family ti ṣe ní outside the country. It's almost coming up to 15 minutes before 12 p.m. Cumming has returned the OBE he was awarded in 2009 as part of the Queen's birthday honor list. Ẹ wò gbà tí wọ́n ti fún ní OBE yẹn 2009. The X-Men star said, although he had been grateful, ẹ wo ibi tí mo fẹ́ lò ní bíbá yìí. Ó ní inú òun dùn nǹkan tó bá sọ pé nǹkan wà grateful á jẹ́ pé nǹkan èèyàn wà excited. Bóyá nígbà míì tẹ́ bá kọ́lé ẹ mọ̀ pé kọ́lé yẹn but kò likely pé iná máa débẹ̀ but ẹ wà excited. Ó ra mọ́tò but ó mọ̀ pé mọ́tò yẹn kò sí títì tó máa fi drive ẹ̀ ó wà excited. Àbí bóyá ó bá fún ẹ ní visa láti lọ sí any part of the world ó máa wà excited. Ó wá ní his eyes were now open. Ṣé ojú yẹn dí tẹ́lẹ̀ ni àbí báwo? Ó wá sọ pé over the toxicity of the empire. Àwọn wo ni empire? It is the British Empire because àwọn ló fún ní OBE yẹn. Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? It is because the atrocity, the crime against humanity, the nonsense that the British did in Africa and most especially in what is known as Nigeria today. Nigeria was created for the benefit of not Nigerians, but for the benefit of the British Empire. Empire yẹn lágbára nígbà tó kó wa lẹ́rú títí wọ́n tún wá sọ wá di Nigerian. Wọ́n pè wá ní Nigerians when we should be bearing Yoruba kingdom, Biafra kingdom, Arewa kingdom, whatever kingdom, but rather the British were cunning by merging us together in what is known as the fraudulent 1914 amalgamation. And today, the ripple effect is somebody like this guy has now said, ojú òun ti là, ìtẹ̀fún mi yẹn, ẹ wá gba nǹkan yín padà, ẹ wá gba nǹkan yín padà. Ǹjẹ́ tó bá jẹ́ Nigerian politician tá à ń sọ fún pé Nigeria ò work, in tó bá mú òyìnbó lè dá tí wọ́n fún padà ní 2009 tó táwa ni àwọn politician ilẹ̀ Yorùbá that are refusing to allow us to go into the mode of a nation of our own. Rather, all these criminal politicians, all these bolekaja politicians, all these politicians that does not want something better for your life are still campaigning for 2023. This man is well known around the world, but also my eyes were now open. Mo dẹ̀ ti fún yín ní meaning toxicity lẹ́ǹkan, kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? Toxicity is the degree to which a chemical substance or a particular mixture of substance tí wọn náà bá mu gúdà, mo kàn fi fún ẹ example kó lè mọ bó ṣe máa ń wọ̀ kó lè yẹ, ó wá sáré mu gúdà nísìn, ó tún wá rí brandy, ojú ẹ lójú kòkòrò, kàkà kó sì fi gúdà yẹn kó máa fi mú lọ, ó tún wá rí brandy, ó wá mu brandy yẹn, wọ́n tún wá gbé gin wá, ó tún wá náà fẹ́ mu gin, kí lẹ rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ sí ikùn ẹni yẹn? Òun lọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Nigerians were put together by the British Empire tí bọ̀bọ̀ yìí bínú sí nísìn. Lóòtítọ́ nígbà tó ń gba OBE yẹn ní 2009, ó lè má ní ìmọ̀ tó nǹkan tó wá mọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí Queen ni kú, because nígbà tí Queen ni kú lójú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wàhálà pé tẹ bá rí ìrántí tá bá padà sí fídíò kan tí bàbá wa Délé Ògún ṣe after the Queen's death. I play video yẹn ní some, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo fídíò yìí. Ẹ rántí pé a wo díẹ̀ nu fídíò yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ díẹ̀ ńbẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ díẹ̀ ńbẹ̀. Màá mute mic mi torí echo, ká gbọ́ díẹ̀. This is the toxicity of the British, what they've done in our life. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ fídíò yẹn. Ẹ má bínú, wọ́n ní kò sí sound. Ẹ má bínú. I muted the desktop sound. Ẹ má bínú. I just saw the comment that there is no sound. And I didn't realize that in time. Ẹ má bínú. So what we're going to do, we're just going to wind it back a little bit. And then we start it all over again. Ẹ má bínú that the sound didn't come through as at the time the broadcast was going. I just actually, realize that there is no sound, but the sound is going to come back now. The sound is going to come back. Yeah, my own mic is muted, but I should have allowed the background audio to come out. But because of the interference all the time when we are speaking, that's why I mute the background. So we're going to bring it back now. So in just about a few minutes. Emma Binu once again, sorry for and this is why it's a very tough job when you're running a program like this on your own. But like Baredidumari, I did it and we can have all the sound engineer and all that can be helping us at the back. So let me allow the audio now to come back again. Emma Binu, let's play it again now.
Because this speech really represents a climax of a personal journey of my life to date in all of its dimensions. The task has been greater this evening because of this venue. Whitehall Place, the National Liberal Club, Whitehall Place. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you after this event to go downstairs and just wander around. This is where history, much of British history, was made. This was the home of the National Liberal Club, the headquarters of the Liberal Party. And it has special significance for me because of a particular gentleman by the name Joseph Chamberlain. Now, for those of you who don't know him, although there are approximately 125 years that divide us, he is somebody that I feel a very intimate connection with. And that was because when I was reading his multi-volume biography, I discovered that he grew up from the age of 10 to the age of 18, playing on the very same playing fields that I played on when I came to this country at the age of 7. The place is Highbury Fields. It is 5 miles from here in Islington. Now, who was Joseph Chamberlain? Some of you may know him as having been the father of the British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain, the wartime Prime Minister. But he was much more than that. As his biographer put it, he was the prophet and leader of the imperial movement. Such was his influence in British politics at the time that when the loyal toast was proposed, it was proposed in terms of to Chamberlain and the King, in that order. Now think about that. To Chamberlain and the King. And it was right here, in the then home of the Liberal Party, when that party was the heavyweight counterpart to the Conservative Party, that he reigned. Now, our theme this evening is Nigeria and Britain after Elizabeth. But I think it's necessary for me to say a few things about the period before Elizabeth, for those of you who are not familiar with the Nigeria story, and also the period during Elizabeth's reign. You see, before Elizabeth, it was Queen Victoria who had been the longest reigning monarch of this country. Her reign began in June 1837. This was around the time of the beginning of the project for the making of Nigeria. This was in the wake of the abolition of slavery in 1833. Now, Victoria died on 22nd of January 1901, shortly after Nigeria's first birthday on the 1st of January. Now, think about that. 1st of January 1901 was Nigeria's first birthday because it was made in January 1900. Now, strictly speaking, there were two Nigerias at that point. There was northern Nigeria, which was predominantly Islamic, and there was southern Nigeria, which was largely Christian. So they existed as separate countries, the Protectorate of Northern Nigeria and the Protectorate of Southern Nigeria. And then separately, there was the colony of Lagos and the Yoruba interland. Now, those of you who don't know the ethnic makeup of Nigeria, it's helpful to remember that there are three big blocks. They're the Yoruba, my people, in the southwest of Nigeria. They're the Igbos, my wife's people, in the southeast of Nigeria. And then they're the Hausa in the north of Nigeria. And you often hear them referred to as Hausa Fulani. Now, it was my friend of yesteryears from Highbury, Joseph Chamberlain, who set the process in motion for the creation of one Nigeria. So by the time he left office in 1903, he had already laid the plans for a series of amalgamations which were going to produce.
Now, let me pause it there. So, Babawa Egmowa Dele Ogun has given us, a background to reason why this was after the queens died. So a lot of exposure was coming out. People were hearing a lot of different things. And that led to this guy also now returning back is OBE, which also stands for Order of the British Empire. Because the British Empire is a very big empire, but Nigeria still remained their last empire. And let me take you through, according to Wikipedia, what do we know and understand by the British Empire? The British Empire was composed of dominions, colonies, protectorate, mandate, and other territories ruled or administered by the United Kingdom. A lot of people tó wà nílé nísìn wọ́n pariwo one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. No, you are under the colony administered under the British Empire, which is what, the making of Nigeria. And a lot of you that probably have not watched it, I think African colony, Ebalowo African colony. I think it was colony of Africa. The kilo film here, making of Nigeria. African colony. I can't remember. It was put together. It was on Netflix. I can't remember the name now. Yeah, The Journey of African Colony. So again, I do not own the copyright, but let's watch a snip of this as well. So, and this movie is on the Netflix. For those of you that have children, go and sit down and watch it. You will hate what the British Empire have done in the history and the lives of our Yoruba in Omalade. 2023 should be out of the table. and gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ń béèrè pé kí la máa wá ṣe, kí ni way forward, gbos. Millions of us must come on the street and defend our right to self-determination. If not, I shall play the script of the British colony, the British protectorate, and the administrator of the British Empire.
My name is Olash. Along with a gifted team of researchers, I'm going to take you through the timelines of how this great country.
And there's nothing great about the country, but as he's just trying to pretend and probably portray it in a way and a narrative that will be acceptable maybe for Netflix, I don't know, but there's nothing great about Nigeria. The damage of what Nigeria has done, somebody like this will probably have a bit of change, they can move around, but we are talking about millions of Yoruba people that their life have been locked into Nigeria, and the same goes with the Hausa, and the same goes with the Biafra.
Together, we'll go back to some big moments.
England had a lot to gain from actually taking over Lagos.
You hear that? England had a lot to gain from actually taking over Lagos. In 2023, England is still trying to gain from Lagos, not just Lagos anymore, from the indigenous people that owns Yoruba land. But ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn pé but ká má worry, Atiku bá débẹ̀ ó máa restructure Nigeria, tí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ ó máa restructure Nigeria, tí Peter Obi bá débẹ̀ ó máa restructure. What they are actually doing is to keep the British Empire to continue to run, while we are trying to bring down the last empire, which is Nigeria. Some are still trying to save that empire. The British Empire was composed of dominions, colonials, colonies, protectorate, mandates, and other territories ruled or administered by the United Kingdom and its predecessors state. It began with overseas possession. Máa gbalẹ̀. Ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó sọ níbẹ̀ overseas possession ẹ gbalẹ̀. Trading post, níbo láti máa rí kóòlù mú wá sí UK láti máa ṣe industry tiwa, níbo láti máa kó resources wá. And today, wọ́n mọ̀ pé ayé ti padà sí ibi tí ọ̀làjú díẹ̀ ti wà. So the only thing they can do now is to continue to push the agenda of an election. But behind the scene, àmọ́ tó ń discuss pẹ̀lú àwọn politicians wa, àmọ́ kí ni arrangement tí wọ́n jọ ń ní. All we know is Britain will say, oh, we cannot divide Nigeria. We cannot divide Nigeria, but we are monitoring Nigeria to make sure that there's rule of law. Yet, a British citizen is being kept in the DSS custody. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá, how do we move forward asking for Yoruba nation? We must make sure that the last empire that was toxicated, according to what we started with, toxicity, a gbọ́dọ̀ yọ substance yẹn kúrò. Ẹni tó bá mu gúdà, tó mu brandy, tó tún mu gin, báwo la ṣe fẹ́ make sure pé ẹni yẹn lálàáfíà níjọ́ kejì? Bí a máa fún lómi púpọ̀ mu ni láti jẹ́ kó detox ara ẹ̀ kúrò, àbí a máa gbé lọ sí hospital. That is how we will bring down Nigeria. Nigeria must be brought down because during a 2023 election, you are renewing the empire status quo. Let's go back again to making of Nigeria.
The great powers met and they divided up the territory into parcels of land that they then pursued to own. The idea that Nigeria was somehow made by Lord Frederick Lugard is not correct.
It could be right because bàbá wa, ẹ̀gbọ́n wa, uncle wa Délé Ògún, wọ́n ti jẹ́ kó yé wa nínú ibi táwọn ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ recently. Ẹ mọ̀ pé púpọ̀ ní wọ́n máa ń pè Lugard. No, kò ń ṣe Lugard gangan. Àwọn kan tí ń ṣiṣẹ́ Lugard bọ̀. And I need to close down some of this so that we don't have a crash on the system tonight. So the last thing I want, let's close some of these that we are not using for now. Lugard, iṣẹ́ tóun ṣe ni pé òun ni governor administrator níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. But according to ẹ̀gbọ́n wa Délé Ògún, ẹ̀gbọ́n táwọn sọ níbí báyìí pé bọ̀bọ́ kan wà tó ń pè ní Chimbili yẹn ló ṣe iṣẹ́ tó pọ̀ jù nípa the making of Nigeria. Kódà wọ́n ní òun àti ọba ọjọ́ náà lọ́hùn wọ́n jọ máa ń ṣe toast ni. That is how powerful the Secretary of State in 1900 and Nigerians today are still happy to be known as Nigeria in a project Nigeria that was put together by the British Empire in 1900.
Taken from the Israelis' campaign of one nation. That's where the one Nigeria originated from. So first in 1906 came the amalgamation of the colony of Lagos and the Yoruba hinterland with my wife's peoples.
Benny, Yawa Grace, if Nigerian politicians are not keeping the British Empire, what are they doing in UK at Chatham House some week ago before election to sign another contract on behalf of Yoruba sovereignty nation, on behalf of Hausa nation, on behalf of Arewa nation, and yet a lot of Yoruba tó wà ní UK, they are excited. You know, they went to visit Peter Obi at Chatham. Hey, Obi Keleleke, Obi Ijoma. They went to visit Atiku. They went to visit Tinubu. They went. I'm not sure whether people went for Kwankwaso. I'm not even sure why they did not invite Sowore. Are you thinking? Kí ló dé tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí Sowore náà wá sọ̀rọ̀? Because Sowore is talking in the form of revolution, and nobody, not even any Nigerians, want to vote for Sowore, even though he has his crowd. But Sowore cannot pull the numbers he needs to become the next president of Nigeria. Tíru Sowore bá wọlé, wọ́n mọ̀ kó máa fọ́ gbogbo ẹ̀ lójú. But nobody from the northern caliphate, not the southern of Sokoto, would like Sowore to become the president. The question then is, are you sure that Mori pastor kan tó sọ pé a new Nigeria can happen? Tí Peter Obi bá débẹ̀, it will change a lot of things. I am asking that, how is Peter Obi going to unite the empire that have destroyed the real identity of the Yoruba people? And that is why tomorrow, I want to think Yoruba folks are asking, are you sure we a máa ṣì rí Nigeria after 200 years? Are you sure that there will still be a Nigeria after 200 years? Because nobody can guarantee that there will be a Yoruba, in 200 years. Mo fẹ́ lọ wá Yoruba word yẹn ni mo fẹ́ lọ jíwo ní ọmọ ṣe ń sọ. Ìgbà ọdún. Ǹjẹ́ ìran Yorùbá ṣì máa wà ní ìgbà ọdún? That is what the Yoruba Think First are going to be discussing tomorrow, and bàbá wa Ògún náà máa wà níbẹ̀. Ẹ rántí pé we were looking at that, 200 years. Ǹjẹ́ ìran Yorùbá ǹjẹ́ identity wa ṣì máa wà? Or àti parẹ́? So bàbá wa tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé mo wà lórí program lẹ́dẹ̀ ń pè mí látẹ̀ǹkan. Mo ṣẹ̀ rí nísìnyí ní ọ̀dà náà. Nígbà tẹ́ mọ̀ pé mo wà lórí program tẹ́ wá ń fi call máa disturb me. Kò make sense. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yẹ yín nísìnyí. In 200 years from now, will Yoruba race and identity still exist? Ìbéèrè ni o. Ìgbà ọdún lénìí ǹjẹ́ ìran Yorùbá ṣì máa wà láyé? So àwọn tó ń sọ pé Nigeria of today làwọn fẹ́ fix. Tinubu will not be alive in 200 years from now. Kò ń ṣépè. Atiku will not be alive. Kwankwaso will not be alive. I will not be alive. But ta ló fẹ́ ta ìran Yorùbá? Ṣé Koiki tó ń pariwo Yorùbá nation àbí Tinubu tó ń pariwo Nàìjíríà? Èwo náà àwọn méjèèjì la fẹ́ ta Yorùbá nation, la fẹ́ ta ìran Yorùbá. Because Tinubu ò lè wà forever. In the 8 years tó bá wà lórí oyè, ó máa ṣe tán, ó máa lọ. And he cannot change anything with the structure tí Nàìjíríà ní lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn. Kò tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Tinubu ò ní that capacity láti change the structure yẹn. Because the way the structure Nigeria right now, there is nobody that can change that structure. So my question then is, ta ló ń deceive yín? Ṣé àwa tá à ń sọ pé a fẹ́ Yorùbá nation àbí ẹ kàn ń bínú pé torí pé àwa kan tá à ń pariwo ẹ fẹ́ irú àwa tá à ń pariwo ẹ fẹ́ ru Ọbásanjọ́ olè tó ti pa yín sí ara, tó kó fáàmù tó jẹ́ kó wà fún gbogbo Nàìjíríà, tó kó sápò ara ẹ̀ nìkan, àbí Dangote tó ń lo resources sí Nàìjíríà tó fi ń run operation ní tiẹ̀, tó ń fi Nàìjíríà lọ fi gba loan níta, àbí Michael Denuga tó yẹ pé òun fúnra rẹ̀ gan kò ń ṣe pé a fi ń yọ̀ kò lè dúró púpọ̀ mọ́ nítorí pé àmọ́rún àìsàn tó ń ṣe lẹ́sẹ̀, àbí irú Bọ́lá Alákìjà, àbí Ṣàgáyà, àbí àwọn Kọ́ya àbí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù àbí Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá àbí àwọn gómìnà yín tó ń pa yín sára lójoojúmọ́. Ṣé èmi ni mò ń parọ́ ni? Nítorí pé èmi ń wo igba ọdún sísìn lèmi wò, èmi ò wo èní nìkan. Bìkọ́ tí bá ń wo èní nìkan ni èmi náà ra máa ṣe díẹ̀díẹ̀ mórí ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ mass burial kálẹ̀. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹn nísìn ẹ má bínú torí mídíà lòun agbọ̀rọ̀ fún ní ọ̀wọ̀ yẹn. So ṣé àwa tá à ń pariwo Yorùbá nation là ń parọ́ ni àbí àwọn tó náà wọ́n fẹ́ ká lọ́ọ́ máa ṣe election? Ṣé a máa ṣe election títí di another 200 years? Are we thinking in the long term àbí àkànwò tìsín nìkan ìta caricature ìta ṣàfihàn nísìn nìkan? Because whether we like it or not, kò ṣe pé ó wù wá, but ìyá wa ti lọ nísìn kọ́lọ́n tẹ̀wọ̀n sáfẹ́fẹ́ rí. Ìjọ kan náà àwa náà bẹ̀rẹ̀ ọ máa mú pósítà wa jáde báyìí tó máa sọ pé ẹni yìí ti dáadé láyé, a kàn ń bẹ Elédùmarè kó jẹ́ ká dàgbà ká darúgbó, but I am not sure that any one of us will be alive today in the next igba ọdún, because tá a bá wo déètì tí wọ́n bí wa nísìn, èmi ti wà ní 40 something. Ṣé tó bá àdí 200 years mọ́, kódà olú ẹ̀gbọ́n wa ti máa sáyàn sóhùn, wọ́n máa gbéyàn wọlé. I will be 244. So èmi ń wo the long term. Àwo ti sì yes, a fẹ́ jẹun, a fẹ́ lówó. Mo ti jẹ èmi àti Wàlátà nígbà tó wá, èmi náà a jọ pín ráàpù jẹ ni. Méjì lọ ṣe fún mi. Nígbà tí Wàlátà náà ń bọ̀, mo ní mo gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ méjèèjì tán. Àwọn ìyá wa kẹ̀rí lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan tó bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ lọ, máa fọṣọ, máa ṣe gbogbo, a gbọ́dọ̀ fún wọn ní ọ̀wọ̀. Mo make sure pé bó wá tẹ̀ wù mí pé kí n jẹ méjèèjì, mo gbọ́dọ̀ make sure pé mo tọ́jú ẹyọ kan fún Wàlátà tó fi dé. Àdẹ̀mú kọ́ọ̀kì lé lórí, àkímọtí. Kò ṣe pé torí ẹ̀sìn náà, but kóòkì yẹn nísìn a fi step aside, a sọ̀rọ̀ kí náà ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ṣe ń lọ sí gbogbo Wàlátà níṣẹ́ mi ò mọ̀ pé gbogbo ẹbọ ètùtù àdúrà tá a ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ náà máa jáde, a máa rí result ẹ̀. So gbogbo tó ń lọ táwọn èèyàn rò pé Yorùbá nation kò dákẹ́, but ìjà ń wo 200 years from now. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká wo à ń dáwó sí Yorùbá nation àmọ́ bí tó lọ no. À ń dáwó nítorí pé 200 years from now a sì fẹ́ jẹ́ kí identity wa kó wà in existence, because tá a bá ti lose identity wa dẹ̀ kí wá ní gbogbo kí wá ní ayé tá a wá ṣe gangan, kí ni reason tá a ṣe wá sáyé, kí ni ìdí tá a ṣe wá sáyé? Because àwọn ní olórí burúkú tó jẹ́ British kò ń ṣàwọn citizen wọn, but empire yẹn là ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Whoever is in that empire, kò bá jọba ní, kò bá jẹ́jòyè ní, àwọn ọlọ́dẹ wàhálà sílẹ̀. Òyìnbó láwọ̀ funfun eléyìí kì í ṣe òyìnbó arábo, kò kì í ṣe òyìnbó bíi táwọn bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ kájà media wà lára country. Ẹ má bínú èyí tẹ́ ń gbé lára country, mo fẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ síbẹ̀, but aláwọn tó jẹ́ pé bọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ kájà media ni wọ́n tán gbé lára country. Àwọn tí wọn ò ní làákàyè, tí wọ́n kàn máa ń point finger, but wọn ò lè ṣàlàyé fún yín pé irú òyìnbó yìí tó mú òyìnbó yìí máa sọ pé ìlú yìí ti bàjẹ́ gan, ẹ ti bà kan jẹ́, ó wá dá ìtọ́ fún ní 2009. Ǹjẹ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà kan lè ṣerú ẹ̀? Àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó ti fún kí ló dé táwọn náà ṣerú ẹ̀? They are not going to do so, because wọ́n ò rí Nàìjíríà as a toxic. And today òyìnbó ibi tí a ti fẹ́ mú program yẹn gangan lélẹ̀, a kàn ń lọ lo bàbá wa Délé Ògún àti kínní ni. But the main conversation tonight is based on this man that we should respect, we should love, for returning back an OBE that was given to him in 2009. Ibi tí a ti gbọdọ̀ máa rí ìyàtọ̀ láàrin àwa àti àwọn tó kù nìyẹn pé in tó bá mú arákùnrin dá padà pé àwọn ò fẹ́ mọ́ gbogbo atrocity tẹ. Let's go further more. Ẹ mọ̀ báyìí tí kàtọ́ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, so I'm going to go a little bit into it and then go back into some other discussion. In about 15 minutes àwa ṣe phone line wa kalẹ̀ ní a bit of more time. Tó bá ti wá pè ìlú ayé òun ṣe ibi tí Mr. Koiki àwọn in tó bá wọn olúkàlùkù ni kò máa ṣe. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa o. Ibi báyìí in tá à ń ṣe ni pé ìpín Yorùbá tèmi máa ń lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan báyìí, kò sì bá sọ ní we are going in the direction of Baba Akintoye. Don't come here and tell me àwọn kan ṣe nǹkan kan. I'm not interested in that. Elephant ìlànà Nàìjíríà jẹ́ kọ́ wọn pa. If you are not satisfied with what I am doing in the direction ní ìlànà ti àwọn Baba Akintoye, Baba Akintoye ṣe dáadáa, lọ gbé bàbá tiẹ̀ jáde. Tí bàbá ẹ̀ bá ti kú, rán spirit bàbá ẹ̀ kó bá wa pa gbogbo àwọn politician, ó máa pa wọ́n nínú ilé nítorí pé o ò lè ní bàbá tiẹ̀ tó wà láyé àbí tó ti kú kó wá máa point finger sí bàbá oníbàbá. Aláwọn bàbá kan nísìn tí wọ́n ṣe dáadáa a dẹ̀ ti ní kí wọ́n join wọ́n náà wọ́n join so má wá sí bíbá má wá dárúkọ anybody ní bíbá I'm not interested. Bí Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà media ni Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà diaspora ni ẹ wò mí dáadáa Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mò ń jẹ́. Gúdúgúdú lèmi mo dúró ẹ jẹ́ yọjú ẹ jẹ́ fún yín ní full screen mi. Èmi ò ń ṣe ọmọ tó rọ lárí àbẹ̀rẹ̀ ọmọ tó rọ lárí ni ẹ wojú mi dáadáa. Ọlá ló fi tọ́ èmi láti lẹ̀ so bí a torí pé a kò wà lórí social media ẹ fún wa lówó thank you àǹtí mi ẹ ṣe gbọ́dọ̀. Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà diaspora ló pọ̀ jù ní gbogbo yín. Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà diaspora ẹlòmíì ò lẹ́xposure kankan àgbà tó dé London in the 1970 kó tó bí èmi ní 1970 mo sì mi ti lọ sí Taiwan 1970 I was born in 1978 8 years before I was born ìyá tèmi ti travel tó talẹ̀ yìí tẹ́ máa sọ pé torí pé mo wá sórí social media ẹ fún wa lówó àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ à ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé àìtí ìgbà ìlú ẹ wà ní ìlú ṣàn ẹ wá fẹ́ kó èmi mọ́ ẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹ fẹ́ dọ̀tí èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì èmi gbé pẹ̀lú àwọn arábù ni èmi ò gbé pẹ̀lú àwọn arábù àwọn tó àdàjọ ń gbé ní bíbà ẹ sọ fún wọn pé jọ̀ọ́ lọ́jáde sójú títì tàjọ ṣe rálì àwọn Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà media bàbá wa bára wa ṣẹ̀fẹ̀ olúkálukú wọn so tá a bá ti ṣí phone line gbogbo tó bá ń ṣe kọ́ máa ṣe problem tí wọ́n nìyẹn tẹ̀bí gbogbo àná lọ́ máa ṣe fún ṣé lè tẹ̀mí ṣé mi nìkan mò ń ṣe fún ni ṣé tíran Yorùbá ṣé family mi nìkan ló máa jẹ́ Yorùbá nation àwọn ọmọ tèmi ò dẹ̀ níbi kankan tó ń lọ fàtìlẹ́gbọ́n yẹn àti tábàgbà ilẹ̀ yẹn èmi ò dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ tún jẹ́ kí irú àwọn ọmọ tèmi in another 40 years kó tún máa pariwo Yorùbá nation so a gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó di gbàsgbòs ẹ̀kọ́ ìkìbọ̀ tí wọ́n ní wálé kò má kà torí pé ẹ̀mí tèmi náà wà níbẹ̀ èmi náà ní family nílé tèmi náà prepare mind wọn pé tó bá ti di gbàsgbòs gbogbo àjọ máa ṣe ni ìjókòó sí wíwà àti illusion nìyẹn àti ìgbà country o mo dẹ̀ sọ fún yín wọ́n ì tí release audio ẹ̀wọ̀n kan máa ń release cassette ẹ sọ fún wọn pé kọ́ point reference níbi tí wọ́n ní wọ́n lè declare ìlú kan ìlú wo ló declare àwọn ìlú mo fún yín nílùú méjì mo ṣe full broadcast lé lórí Lithuania àti Azerbaijan ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì ló ń celebrate independent ambọ̀sibọ̀sí independent tí kò wọ́nà ẹgbẹ́ jẹ́ pẹ̀tàgbádọ́ independent wo ló wọ́nà independent wọ́nà ní Nàìjíríà fi ṣe election a ní ká má jẹ́ kọ́rẹ́ election ṣe báwo la ṣe ń jẹ́ kọ́rẹ́ election ṣe káwa máa jágbe síta ká jáde wọ́n jẹ́ pé méjì tá a bá ti jáde ká jáde tán wọ́n jẹ́ ń dá máa fún lówó mọ́tò tó máa ní òun dé àfọ̀nà wọ́n ní kó ìwọ ń lọ síbi òun lọ sójú ogun èèyàn kan tó wá pè ẹ́ pé kó padà ìwọ sọ fẹ́ni ẹ pórí ọ̀pẹ pé ká padà báwo à ń lọ sójú ogun ẹ wá gbowó ẹni gba 150,000 ẹni gba 60,000 ẹni gba ẹlòmíì ò kúrò ládùúgbò ẹ ti wá rí ẹrí dàrú sàbí màmá tèmi màmá ní diaspora ẹ dáwó sórí Kóìkì o torí wọ́n trust mi èmi àwọn send owó sí yín tẹ́ ẹ bá ti jáde problem ti yín nìyẹn èmi àwọn ṣe analysis lójoojúmọ́ that means pé à ń save empire yẹn fáwọn the next generation ṣé wá lẹ́yìn tẹ́wà lábroad ẹ máa jó ẹ máa yọ ẹ náà support Yorùbá nation mo sọ fún yín àwọn ọmọ yín wá lẹ́yìn lóko pa ni ẹ mọ̀ díẹ̀ máa lẹ́yìn lóko pa because they will get to see some of our big broadcasts at some point ẹ mọ̀ pé artificial intelligence ni wọ́n lè máa táìpù Nàìjíríà kó lọ gbé Kóìkì jáde who be this guy kó wá ó lè má gbọ́ Yorùbá yẹn dáadáa kó máa wá so I am not a Nigerian akọ́kọ́ lọ bá mọ́mí ẹ̀ come here àwọn ọmọ olùyọ̀ dẹ̀ mọ́bọ̀ yẹn bá yàn sọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti pé 16 adult ni wọ́n ò lè nà wọ́n tó bá nà wọ́n náà mọ bó ṣe ń lọ ọmọ àgbà lọ́wọ́ ẹni àbíkọ́ fún nílé so nítorí máa kàn ṣe ni pé má bínú ọmọ mi ọkọ mi àwọn ọmọ yín ló máa wá point finger pé when they were shouting for our identity where were you? So if you think that à ń ṣe Yorùbá nation ẹ̀yin ò fi support ẹ busy pẹ̀lú iṣẹ́ òyìnbó béèyàn bá kú nísìnyí wọ́n tuntun ní agency tó máa gbẹ́ lómi wá iṣẹ́ òyìnbó máa lọ láyé ni òyìnbó èmi tí mo rẹ́ ti pẹ́ èmi ti ṣàwọn mistake kan nígbà tí mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ tí younger sister mi tó fẹ́ ṣe graduation tó ní òun invite mi tí mo ní mo busy mo lọ sí ibi iṣẹ́ wo wọ́n bí mi dání sí kì í ṣe lọ so èmi ready láti fi gbogbo time mi ẹ má wọrí nípa mo ní àwọn family mi ẹ má wọrí àwọn family mi ti accept mi bẹ́ẹ̀ torí ọmọ Oòduà gbọ́dọ̀ tún máa ṣe irú nǹkan tèmi ṣe láyé ayé àfọ Nàìjíríà ni mo sọ fún yín pé bọ̀bọ̀ kan wà òun náà máa ń jagun ta ni mo mọ̀ pé máa ní Koiki má jẹ́ kó distracted but ẹ̀rín ẹ̀kọ́ máa ń pa mí ó máa ń pè rẹ̀ ní last born ọ̀nà Thailand ló wà nígbà mi tó bá release audio àwọn audio tó máa release ní group wọn àwọn èèyàn máa ń send ẹ̀ sí mi mo wá gbọ́ kan tó release ó ní Koiki wo akọ̀ máa jókòó tó bá yìnbọn fọkùnrin tó bá yìnbọn ó máa sá lọ èmi wà níbi tó yin bámbá nígbà tí mo wá sílé ká jáde lọ sínú ibi tá ti ń lé àwọn Fúlàní àwọn tó lè confam ẹ̀ wà èmi ò jókòó sínú ilé nígbà tó ná lọ gbogbo mission ni mo tẹ̀lé wọn lọ gbogbo field ni mo tẹ̀lé wọn lọ ìwọ jókòó síbi tó wà ó lọ Nàìjíríà kódà ọ̀tẹ̀ náà ti wá mi dé onígbọ́n náà ti wá mi dé Peckham àwọn rí mi ní Peckham pé àwọn òyìnbó náà ó ṣàṣọ gbogbo jágbájágbá nínú ọjọ́ yẹn wọ́n wọ̀ mí báyìí wọ́n lè má fi gbọ́ mi bìkan wọ́n mọ̀ pé èmi ni bá yín èmi ni last man standing òun ṣe Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà Media ẹ sọ fún Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà Media yín kájọ pàdé níwájú nọ́mbà 10 lọ́la ẹ sọ fún pé mo challenge ẹ pé kájọ pàdé ká lọ máa pariwo Yorùbá nation níwájú nọ́mbà 10 láàárọ̀ la mad people all over the place èmi lè fi wá kó mọ àti gbàlú Koiki bá wa support ẹ bá wa abẹ́mú gbanáyó ni èmi Ọláyọmí Koiki ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú Òde tó confam ẹni tó bá fẹ́ fún mi nìkan kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́ má lọ spoil f language kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́kẹ́ jágbàjàgbà lọ illegal immigrant lẹ́pẹ̀ mi nílò yìí àti gbàlú ẹ sọ fún wọn pé ìlú tó gbà kò confam lọ́lọ́pàá fún gbogbo yín a ṣe mẹ́yẹ bọ̀ lápò ni mo tún mú yẹn sábẹ́ padà ìlú ò lẹ gbà wọ́n fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ jáde wọ́n mọ̀ pé protest la máa fi fọ́ Nàìjíríà tá a bá fi protest fọ́ Nàìjíríà dialogue ṣì máa wà ẹ̀jẹ̀ ìgbẹ́ gbogbo tí yóò rẹ̀ dialogue ṣẹ́rí dialogue kí n tó máa mú dialogue jáde òun ni gbàsgbòs mad people all over the place èmi tẹ́mi gbé pẹ̀lú àwọn òyìnbó fún 24 years èmi lè wá fẹ́ rò pé illusion lẹ́wà inú wọn tẹ̀ máa ń dùn èmi má kàn máa wò wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ tí wọ́n àtẹ̀tí ní diaspora Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà náà I thought we are learned people mo ṣe wá realize mo sì máa sọ pé kò ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn tájọ́ ń gbé ní UK yìí ló ní common sense o ìyá tèmi House of Lord ní mọ̀sí mi ti retire ní UK House of Lord on medical ground ó dẹ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ níbẹ̀ kò ń ṣe 2 years kò ń ṣe 3 years ní House of Lord House of Lord mo ti attend the state of the parliament bí ẹlẹ́ẹ̀mejì wọ́n fún mọ̀sí mi ní special invitation abẹ́mú gbanáyó ni èmi ẹ bá compare mi pẹ̀lú àwọn tó yẹ pé ẹ rò pé Yorùbá nation ló jẹ́ kémi popular mo sọ fún pé wọ́n mọ̀ mí dáadáa nínú Nigerian High Commission èmi wá jẹ́ mo sọ fún pé èmi ni last man standing yín ẹ rí máa fi mídíà máa kọ́kọ́ fi bà ti federal government jẹ́ Buhari á fi mídíà fi lé èmi ṣe Simon Ekpa nìkan lọ sọ ni èmi á máa fún yín ní backup pẹ̀lú ti Simon Ekpa Koiki má darapọ̀ máa Biafra ojúkú gbogbo wọn lọ darí jẹ ọ ti bí èmi nígbà yẹn ni abẹ́mú gbanáyó ni à ń jà fún ọ̀rọ̀ wa 200 years níbo ni ìgbà ọdún mo ti kọ́lẹ̀ kí n lè máa rántí ìgbà ọdún níbo la máa wà mad people all over the place ìyá mi ti ní kí n máa ṣépè pọ̀ kò sọ pé kí n má máa sọ mad people yẹn ìwọ tó bá dẹ̀ mad náà nìyẹn wicked country so we only have about 10 minutes to ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ṣáà ti yé yín so arákùnrin yìí tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ lọ ká tó ṣí phone line wa so tó bá pè mọ́ tó fẹ́ sọ àwọn àti bíbá ìkó ní wọ́n ń di àkàrà kan níbì kan wọ́n ń rí claim níbì kan máa sọ yẹn ní bíbá wọ́n ní right ọmọ Yorùbá ní gbogbo wa ìbá àwọn kan ló ń campaign fún Tinubu tó ń lọ káàkiri nísìn àwọn olè bí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ báyìí tí ẹ máa wọ́ọ̀sì ju Buhari lọ Buhari dẹ̀ ló ti ń gbasi fún nísìn ìyẹn ti change owó mọ́ lọ́wọ́ ó ti fi first scarcity síta gbogbo ẹ̀ ti fẹ́ lulẹ̀ báyìí ẹ para yín dáadáa ká tó bọ́ nínú wàhálà tí ẹ fi kó wa sí rò pé mi dàbí àwọn normal kìíní mo kí ọgbà ẹ̀tẹ́ ti wà lórí mixella comrade plan B ẹ káàbọ̀ sí ètò ẹ̀yin nìkan lẹ máa ń comment àwọn mẹ́rin tó kù bí a data kékeré lọ́ní ẹlòmíì máa ń rò pé bí a tó bá comment ó máa ń yọnu data ní kò mátà ẹ máa kí wa ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lórí mixella ká lè máa kí ẹ̀yin náà dáadáa because mo máa ń respect yín pé wà níbẹ̀ èmi ò ní ṣe program kí n má rántí pẹ̀ sí níbẹ̀ ẹ̀yin ò rí ojú mi but ẹ̀ ń gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ ìjìnlẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀ nísìn wọ́n bá wa gbà síta kọ́ lọ fi nínú iṣan kọ́ lọ fi gba ìjìnlẹ̀ jáde jàgbàjàgbà nonsense. So arákùnrin ó ní is is a US version of TV show, don't penetrator, said that OBE was for his acting, but also for activism for equal rights for the gay and lesbian community in the US. So even though pé ó campaign fún àwọn gay, but in tó torí ẹ̀dá kìíní padà kò ń ṣe torí yẹn, lára ń tó ṣe fún nìyẹn. Ó wá ní thankfully times and laws in the US have changed, he added. Campaign to stop using word empire for Queen's honor. The Scottish actor, writer and presenter said he was returning the award on his 58th birthday, and it was something he recently did for myself. He added that in the US in 2009, the Defense of Marriage Act, blah, 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 anytime so how many Nigerians can do so? But Cumming said that 14 years later, the other one tó ń sọ yẹn lára ìjà tó ń jà nìyẹn. So ẹni tó bá fẹ́ jẹ́ gay ní right láti sọ pé kó má ṣe gay, problem tẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ jẹ́ lesbian, in tó kàn wá gangan ni pé àwa fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. And it says here, after 14 years later, the death of the Queen and the ensuing conversation about the role of monarchy and especially the way the British Empire profited èrè tó ń jẹ lórí Nigeria at the expense and death of indigenous òmùgọ̀. Àwa máa sọ̀rọ̀ èmi lọ gbélé jáde nísìn. Ẹ̀wọ̀n tarákùnrin sọ, ó ní ikú Queen, expenses in British Empire, gbogbo àǹfààní tó ń jẹ lórí indigenous peoples across the world really opened my eyes. Àwọn wo ni indigenous people? Ṣé kò ń ṣe mi ni? Ṣé kò kì í ṣe wọ́n ni? So, ó wá ní OBE stand for Order of the British Empire. So, I return my award, explain my reasons, and reiterated my great gratitude for being given it in the first place. Òun dúpẹ́ pẹ́ fóun, àmọ́ ojú òun ti là. So ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó máa ní Ìgbòho èèyàn burúkú ni blah 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 blah. The question is, Ìgbòho has sacrificed himself for the Yoruba people, and we must continue to love him forever. Àìmọye ọmọ Yorùbá mi tó ń jayé lọ nínú Nàìjíríà báyìí, mo tẹ̀ wo bì kan lórí oríṣiríṣi ni máa ń rí lórí Instagram. White party ni Pasuma ló lọkùnrin, ẹ bá ra àwọn ìyá yẹn tó ṣe ń jùdì. Mo ní nínú pé àwa tẹ̀ ń fẹ́ Yorùbá nation, àwọn ilé nísìnyí tàbá dẹ̀ gba Yorùbá nation nísìnyí, àwọn náà ní wọn á dùn pé àwọn fẹ́ gba passport Nàìjíríà àbí passport ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. So lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, a dúpẹ́ fún arákùnrin for standing with the truth of the indigenous people. Not everybody can do so, but some people are sacrificing themselves. Kò wo backlash tó máa padà sórí òun pé ti bá dá kínní padà tí àwọn èèyàn ní máa bú mi, ebí òun ló wọ̀ sára nísìn. Ó wá ní no kínní yìí ò ń ṣe tóun gbọ́dọ̀ máa wọ̀ sára, òun gbọ́dọ̀ dá padà nítorí pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn aláìṣẹ̀, ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn indigenous people, òun ni Britain lọ fi ṣe kíni, lọ fi build ìlú wọn. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ arákùnrin, mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ uncle mi tó reference mi lọ sí orí kọ̀ọ̀kan ṣe gbogbo tó ń lọ náà làwa náà máa ń rí, but nígbà tó point ẹ̀ sí mi, mo lọ Google ẹ̀, mo wá ní okay, it is worth doing a special program on it as well. And now, as we come and open our phone line again tomorrow, burial at Onigedu is going to happen in Ogun State, ní Ìtorí. The koikimedia team is there. Àwọn kan wá náà wọ́n like owó, àwọn like owó, ẹ support wa, àti fa àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ sọ́tẹ̀ẹ̀lì, wọ́n máa ní internet wọ́n máa lò, wọ́n ní owó transport tó fi lọ. So gbogbo yẹn náà inú account wo la máa ṣe sí tí ẹ bá support wa. And like I said, your support continue to help us to get our message across. Ẹ wá máa make sure pé bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti fẹ́ máa dáwó central account, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo sọ, it is the only authenticated account. Àwọn mi lè ní account mi o, èmi ò mọ̀ kankan nípa yẹn mọ́. The only account a mọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, òun ni central account. Àtẹ́ bá fowó yín síbẹ̀, owó yín wà safe, kò sí nǹkan tó fi fowó yín ṣe. Let's open my phone line and let me engage with the real people that knows that Yoruba nation is not dead. Ẹni tó bá ní Yoruba nation ti kú, ẹ sọ fún wọn pé a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mẹ́yẹ bọ̀ lápò ni. Yoruba nation is for life. Mo bẹ̀ yín ni, ẹ má disengage kúrò níbi tí mò ń mọ́rọ̀ lọ. Ẹ má lọ mú ẹ má reference anybody. I need it. Mo bẹ̀ yín ni o, kẹ́ tó pè. Ẹ dúró lórí ibi tí mo dúró lé. Ẹ bá ti dúró lé lórí, ẹ máa pè sí another program lórí àwọn Bọ́lẹ̀ Kájà Media. He's a regular. I'm sure a lot of you know his voice, but let's get the first caller. Ẹ̀gbọ́n sókè à ń gbọ́ yín.
Hello, Mr. Koki, ṣé wà pa?
Àdúpẹ́ fẹ́lẹ́ dùn mí.
Thank you. Gbogbo program yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ yẹn ni mò ń follow ẹ̀. Bọ̀ nǹkan kan wà kẹ́ẹ̀tì ìparí ń bẹ̀ yẹn. A lè fẹ́ kẹ́ break ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ẹni OBE ni wọ́n fún tó wá dá padà dé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sà.
Ok, kí ni OBE yẹn gan? Wọ́n bá fún èèyàn, kí ni onítàn máa benefit? Ẹ jẹ́ kí ọ̀wọ́n ti Yorùbá tí wọ́n mọ̀ kí wọ́n mọ̀ pẹ̀ break ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ṣé ní OBE yẹn gangan lẹ fẹ́ yọ jáde? Ó yẹ yín, ẹ fẹ́ yọ jáde pé wọ́n fún èèyàn ní ọ̀nà báyìí. Nǹkan tó fi lè wá dá ọ̀nà yẹn padà. Kí ni ọ̀nà yẹn? Wọ́n bá fún mi sí ká sọ pé wọ́n fún mi sí. Ṣé mi máa gba sálárì níbẹ̀? Àbí ṣé anywhere ní àgbáyé ni mo lè máa lọ, ni mo lè máa ṣe báyìí, ni mo lè ti sọ̀rọ̀? Ẹ break ẹ̀ fún wa dáadáa mọ́.
Okay.
Okay.
While my uncle, the line is open, so what I've done is while he's talking, I have to go back again to Google, and I believe BBC has something that can guide us and help us. But the line is open. A number in lower location is the only number that allows us, voluntary contribution on platform one, and that way we can use it. Come on, Koiki, Yoruba Nation. No, donation for koikimedia. I still be owó from any other project. So whatever is so that we can use that to run some of our expenses as well. Ẹ̀rí pé nígbà tí mo jáde lọ́sàn-án yìí àbí láàárọ̀ yìí, gbogbo mọ́tò tí mo wọ̀ náà lájọ wọ̀. Mo rẹ̀ rò pé dírẹ́bà kan nígbà tí mo débẹ̀ tí mo ní Yorùbá Nation ni mò ń ṣe, ẹ má jẹ́ kí n sanwó. So máa lọ mú benefit yẹn wá, but a máa gba kọ́ọ̀lù, ẹ bá máa mute background, ẹ bá ti wọlé ẹ káàbọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi láti Chicago.
Ẹ kújọ́ mẹ́ta.
Ọjọ́ kan pẹ̀lú sà.
Yà ìmúnáṣẹ́ ti láti Nàìjíríà lánàá.
Okay, àdúpẹ́ fẹ́lẹ́ dùgbà rẹ̀. Bí wọ́n bá lọ tó bá dé ẹ̀ kí wọ́n dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́.
Bí kí ni ṣe ń lọ ìyá yìí mọ́.
Okay.
Màá ní kò tiẹ̀ yé mi mọ́ yẹn wá yìí.
Okay.
And sorry to say, Baba, sorry to say. Jerry, we're not just talking in the lady. Like, ó dákẹ́ kọ̀ focus lórí kò tẹ̀ focus lé lórí. Jerry, ẹ̀yin gan health situation tó wà lẹ́ o. Ẹ má bínú, sorry to say, health situation tó wà lẹ́ ara. Because tábà ní pé abẹ́ ṣe rálì, tábà ní kíní kan wà lẹ́, mo believe pé nǹkan yẹn kọ́ láti jọ sọ. Kò tó bá kí n ti pélé mílè, kíní yìí súnmọ́ mi. I mean, ẹ̀mí ò mọ̀ bí ẹ understand ọkùnrin tó a ti sọ.
Mo ń try láti fẹ́ understand.
Ó wà fún mi láti máa pè sórí program right now. Ó wà fún mi láti máa program right now. Like láti máa program kó ti sún mi ò lọ́wọ́ ní program kan mọ́. Mo lè parọ́ fún yín. Comment kan mi ò comment kan mọ́.
Okay.
Wọ́n tún wo program tí yín náà right now sí. Ẹ̀yin náà tún bínú ẹ̀mú like.
No. So gbogbo tẹ gbọ́ látẹ̀ nǹkan ní síbi tí mo ti ń bínú ẹ̀ nìkan lẹ gbọ́. Ìyẹn náà dáná. So I mean we are human beings, so that we've done over 1 hour 50 minutes, and I believe I probably out of that 1 hour 50 minutes. But nígbà tí mo kì í ṣe robot, human being mi now, so. Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't understand that.
All right. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí I understand. So kankan náà, because àwọn tí wọ́n sọ the other one yẹn, there's a different thing to what we are saying. Tí yàn bá fẹ́ pa nǹkan tó o bá pa dáadáa, àbọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ yẹn nísìn, ẹni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ mo ti rí views ibi tó ń lọ, they're linking us with the others. We are not on the same page. Nigeria is a big elephant, but some people want to kill it and then kill it to wake up again. Why we want to kill it and make sure it doesn't wake up completely? So, and it's just as the same thing, The politician does not want Nigeria to be dead. So they want to keep the British Empire status quo. So we are different people. Lẹ́ni nísìn Jandor, ó gbé ìbọn jáde nísìn ní Surulere. Àbẹ́ẹ̀ ti rí fídíò yẹn. Bó bá jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá nation la lọ ṣe the same thing bẹ́ẹ̀ nísìn. CP máa wá wa káàkiri, a máa lọ máa bọ́ sílé àwọn èèyàn. Àbí gbogbo yóò ti rí fídíò ọmọ Jandor yẹn tó náà fi jẹ gómìnà Lagos State àbí PDP. So we are not running the same thing. We are different. Because àwọn PDP Jandor nísìn ọmọ Yorùbá ni ó náà fẹ́ PDP ó fẹ́ di gómìnà Lagos State. Ṣé kò understand pé British Empire ló fẹ́ keep? And we have to be very careful. As much as I understand a lot of us, I understand. Everybody understand nǹkan tó lọ. Everybody understand nǹkan tó lọ now. Kí ni ọ̀rọ̀ pé èmi wà a bit angry lórí pé tí mò ń sọ? Ṣé mo lose focus ni? Ṣé ẹ ti rí program tí mo ti ṣe lá? This is gonna be like almost my 4th program today. Gbogbo program tí mo rẹ̀ ń ṣe is an awareness campaign. Mo gbé program láti almost to 9. Mo gbé dé Stratford, which is about almost 1 hour 40 minutes journey. Ẹ wá sọ ní ṣé gbàtẹ́lélé ṣé ẹ wà happy ní kàn tẹ́ bá nílé ni? Ẹ̀yin ní access láti padà sí America nísìn. Àwọn èèyàn wà nílé tọ́lẹ̀ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà lọ sí Kenya. So nobody is losing any focus on this platform. What we are saying to our people is, we will continue to educate you, but the push tí àwa fẹ́, it has to happen if people listen to the directive that we are giving. And yes, people want to listen to the directive, but it seems that directive, because there's a bit of, all these bolekaja that is making things difficult for us. Everybody knows that. But I don't want to be discussing about that because, it's going to take me away from the reality. Reality that means reality and practical. 3 years, kí any one of them tó dé lèmi tí ń sọ̀rọ̀. So ó ṣe wájú nísìnyí ẹ̀fẹ̀ wa contradict tèmi sọ. Èmi ò lè change ní mo sọ, èmi nìkan ni media tí mo ní a máa jà. And I keep saying it, and I've not changed that word. Bí àníjà yẹn ká tutù ẹ̀dánù. No media have ever told you that a máa jà. Gbogbo ọkọ̀ máa ní yẹn. Okay, báwo la ṣe fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation? Tá a bá jà. Ìbéèrè ni mò ń béèrè. Nobody can answer that question. Okay, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe paperwork. Pé Koiki ò support paperwork. Irú paperwork ẹ fẹ́ ṣe. Níbo lẹ fẹ́ gbé dọ́kúmẹ̀ntì lọ tó máa dá yín lóhùn? Níbo lẹ fẹ́ gbé lọ? Ṣé wọ́n máa sọ fún Nàìjíríà pé kó bákẹ́ẹ̀tì ọ́fíìsì fún yín ni? I don't understand our people. Ṣé wọ́n máa ní kí Nàìjíríà bákẹ́ẹ̀tì ọ́fíìsì fún wa ni? So ẹ jẹ́ ká wà truthful. Mọ̀ bí tí Yorùbá nation lọ. Ẹ̀yin tí wà l'Amẹ́ríkà ẹ má padà lọ́lé mọ̀ kẹ́ máa ká gbogbo wa máa gbádùn lábroad. Ká má mọ̀ bí tí Yorùbá nation dé. It's because everybody is looking at a different thing entirely. More views, mo ti return view bí tẹ́ ń lọ. I have not disagreed with them. Nítorí báwọn olúkálùkù ní kó lọ ṣe. Jandor ní sì ń jà fún PDP, Tinubu ń jà fún APC, ta ni Labour Party candidate Lagos State, ọmọ Igbo ní àbí Biafra àbí Yoruba, àtẹ̀mọ̀ bí wọ́n ní candidate ní Lagos State. So we are not fighting the same thing. Because everybody has a different message inside. And some of them are not truthful. So now I see people like an impression, they are not truthful. If something is truthful, you will see it plain. So they are not being truthful. If you talk about that, you are truthful. Because the point try to amend it. Amend. Hello, caller.
Hello, Jerry. Mr. Koiki Ekale.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ẹ káàbọ̀ ètò ni ẹ sà.
In as much as bí a ṣe ń try ní láti fi diplomacy ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ wọ́n láwọn kan tó yẹ pé orí wọn ò pé náà orí tí wọ́n ti di wọ́n dẹ̀ lójú tó yẹ pé wọ́n ríran ni. Kí ni nǹkan tí à ń sọ yìí? Even US gan ṣe wọ́n ṣe release statement wípé kìí pé anybody tó bá fẹ́ rí the election ló yí pé àwọn máa bá mi
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
ìdísà àbí kíní kan. Ṣé ìtò ó sọ fún wa pé o tó jẹ́ kí àwọn ènìyàn kan ní ọpọlọ yín pé kíní paperwork everything yẹn shit ni kò valid ni. Wọ́n ti rí ẹrù àtọ́ kò sẹ́ni tí ó rí rò. Ìṣọwọ́ ẹ̀wà ẹ wò ó in as much as possible tó fẹ́ pé mi ìfẹ́ bínú lálẹ́ àbí pé kíní kan so wíwá ẹ̀ pé àwọn yìí and kò dẹ̀ sí ìdílé àti ọkọ̀ tí ẹnì kan kò sí lè tàbí ibi tá à ń lọ là ń lọ.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. You know.
Àwọn ọmọ àlè yẹn dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀dẹ̀ sí èèyàn jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ọ̀mí ni pé kò jọ ọmọ àlè náà. Èèyàn jí orúkọ Yorùbá ọ̀mí ni pé kò jọ ọmọ àlè ní ó pọ̀ ní àárín wáyé tẹ̀lé gbogbo distraction òsì tí wọ́n ṣe ojú wọn dẹ̀ máa jà ẹ̀ wò ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí tó lè ti wí.
Thank you so much. So everybody know that okay, election súnmọ́, politician campaign lọ, àwọn dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé in tí ó lè máa fún ọ ní concern is because wọ́n fẹ́ energy àwa Yorùbá people ká jáde sí títì. Ẹ worú in tí wọ́n fẹ́ lọ ṣe fún bàbá wa ọba Ògbóni. If we have ẹ má bínú ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó ń pè, if bàbá mi background ẹ mute background ẹ ti wọlé. Tẹ́ bá ti ń pè, it's like there is no need tẹ́ tún máa gbọ́ra yín moreover, studio line tẹ́ ẹ pè sí mo tún gbé nọ́mbà yẹn ẹ bá wa mute tinúlé yín. Tó bá ti ring tẹ́ bá ti pick ẹ ní láti wà concern, ó ti wà pick, fóònù náà la fi ń pick ẹ kò ń ṣe pé a ní gadget kankan. Bígbà tẹ́yìn náà máa ń pèèyàn, tẹ́ bá ṣáà ti pèèyàn ẹni ẹ máa ní tv yín pariwo ẹ dẹ̀ mute. So kí ni mo fẹ́ fà yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé Lagos State mọ̀ pé our coming out fire to fire ni. Ẹ wo orú ọba Ògbóni tí bàbá yàn bá jẹ́ tó strong, mo mọ̀ báwọn kan ti rí fídíò yẹn, ẹ wo fídíò irú energy ta nídìí nìyẹn, but ọba Ògbóni nìkan kọ́ ló lè ṣe. We need about over 500,000 people tó máa jáde pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. But because we are trying to do it, èèyàn méjì, èèyàn mẹ́ta, no. Lobbying for a country, we're going to go a long way. Diplomacy, ẹ máa ṣe stage by stage, stage by stage, stage by stage. Àṣìbá àwọn èèyàn wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní definitely, ojoojúmọ́ làwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Yorùbá nation. Kò yá wọn, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kó yé yín, ṣé Nàìjíríà ló wá yé yín ni? Ọ̀rọ̀ ọdẹ ní gbogbo táwọn Yorùbá nation yẹ kò yé àwọn, ṣé Nàìjíríà yé yín? Nàìjíríà tẹ́yìn sọ pé àmì Nàìjíríà ṣùgbọ́n àrò ṣe yé yín. How do you understand Nigeria? Nàìjíríà tẹ́yìn sọ pé ó yé yín yẹn kò sí epo, kò sí iná, kò sí healthcare, kò sí education, kò sí benefit system. Ẹ dẹ̀ ń sọ pé kò ẹ wá ní Yorùbá nation yẹn ò yé yín, ẹ kò kí lẹ bí pé kò yé yín. It's because we don't want àfijẹ́ kó yé wa. A ní àfẹ́ dá dúró, okay. 200 years from now, ṣé gbogbo wa ṣì máa wà láyé? Probably maybe àwọn ọmọ tí a bá ṣe ń bí a lè ní bí táwọn náà bá máa fi pé 100. But gbogbo àwa tá wà lórí show yìí nísìn àtàwọn tó máa tún gbọ́, níbo la fẹ́ wà níbo la fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ìran wa wà after 200 years? Ìgbà ọdún òun lọ fi sọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ lọ́la. So we gotta look at the long. Kò ń ṣe pé èèyàn kankan ni ẹ tí èèyàn kan fẹ́ ṣe. Àwọn kan tí ń sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation kó tó di pé àwa gbé. Àwọn kan ní ẹ kárí àwọn ọba àlọ́. Àwọn ọba ṣàkúṣàkù wo ẹ fẹ́ wọ́n bá sílẹ̀ àwọn ọba tó ń jayé. Ebi gbogbo láàárín àwọn ọba tó ń jẹ ráìsì níta tó ń lọ patí tó ń ṣe fàájì tó ń dágbádá tó ń bọ white káàkiri. They enjoy life. Àwọn baálẹ̀ àwọn ilẹ̀ tó bá lè rí tà. Èmi àti bàá mi a lọ sí palace àwọn baálẹ̀ wọn níná cobwebs all over the place. Àwọn small kings yẹn. Àwọn kan support, àwọn kan support, àwọn bá kan jẹ́ kó rí wa. A máa kárí gbogbo Yorùbá elders, àwọn orí Yorùbá elders. Àbẹ́bẹ́ ká máa fún wọn lépè ní. Àwọn orí Yorùbá elders, orí àwọn Yorùbá elders yẹn ò pé ìyà ń jẹ wá. Ṣé etí wọn di? Mo ń bèrè ni o, àwọn Yorùbá elders yẹn, ṣé etí wọn di? Pé ìran Yorùbá ń parẹ́ lọ báyìí. Ẹ sọ fáwọn babaláwo, ṣé babaláwo èmi gbọ́dọ̀ máa fún babaláwo rí babaláwo gbọ́dọ̀ máa dífá tó mọ̀ pé ọ̀nà Yorùbá dẹ́ kó tọ̀? Ṣé pásítọ̀ mọ̀, ṣé ìmáàmù mọ̀? Ẹgbẹ́ òsókè jàre.
Hello, ẹ kú ètò bàbá.
Ètò nìyẹn máa parọ́ fúnra wa.
Ẹ kú ètò bàbá.
Ètò nìyẹn bàbá mi.
Ṣé rí n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní òwe ní n tó dáa ni ọmọ Yorùbá lè mọ ibi tí wọ́n ń lọ ni. Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yé.
Àgbọ́yé sà.
Wọ́n fẹ́ ìgbésí ayé olóyè Sunday Igboho káìtì. Ifá òde ní fún wọn ṣe, Olódùmarè ní fún wọn ṣe.
Ṣẹ́dùmarè.
Ṣé gbọ́ mi yé?
À ń gbọ́ yín dáadáa bàbá wa live and direct à ń gbọ́ yín.
Nǹkan máa ṣe ni pé gbogbo ẹ tó bá lòun fẹ́ da ìrìn àjò Yorùbá nation ayé wọn máa dà rú.
Láṣẹ́dùmarè.
Àti tí wọn bá sọ Yorùbá lẹ́nu lókun. Tó ẹgbẹ́ Yorùbá náà sọ lẹ́nu tán láwọn dẹ̀ fẹ́ gbógun ti Yorùbá ẹgbẹ́ wọn. Ìdààmú máa dé bá wọn ní mí lọ́rọ̀ tó pọ̀ láti sọ.
Ẹ ṣe gan-an ẹ ṣe gan-an bàbá wa Ifá tó kù ẹ ṣe gan-an sà màá pè é lọ́la lágbára Elédùmarè. Ẹ má fi pé bóyá we are angry with anybody no èmi nìkan mi pé èmi tí mo ti ń ṣe Yorùbá nation before anybody ṣe Yorùbá mo ṣe fẹ́ wà angry pẹ̀lú ẹni tó náà ń ṣe but are they truthful ṣó ti tọ́ ni àbí gimmicks we got to know that and ní tabá dẹ̀ rí pé kíní yìí ó dà pé ó ti fẹ́ máa di ṣékíṣékí then ó ti di pé we gotta pull back and if we are pulling back tèmi ò bá tẹ̀ ní làákàyè ṣé gbogbo àná ní làákàyè ṣé gbogbo àná wà ní dọ̀ndọ́sì ni ìrìn kankan náà lájọ ń ṣe no àjọ ṣe kankan náà because APC ò bá wa ṣe kankan náà PDP ò bá wa ṣe kankan náà àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan ò bá wa ṣe kankan náà ẹ má sọ pé kankan náà ni gbogbo wa ṣe we are not doing the same thing ṣé dọ̀ndọ́sì ni gbogbo wa ni bí ẹ̀yin dọ̀ndọ́sì lẹ́yìn èmi ò ṣe dọ̀ndọ́sì o ìlú òyìnbó lèmi dẹ́yìn gbé o mo sọ́rí gan ẹ ló kọ́là mo gbọ́ yín.
Hello sir.
Bó wà pẹ̀lú yín bàbá wa ẹ káàbọ̀.
Hello ṣé ń gbọ́ mi.
Loud and clear sir.
Mi wá gbọ́ràn.
À ń gbọ́ yín ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ nẹ́tíwọ̀kì ọ̀dọ́ yín ni èyí gbọ́ yín à ń gbọ́ yín ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ. Ìyá yóò ra wa bá ìtòlú Ọlọ́run. So because we have to be truthful with ourselves. À á pè fún rally ní yí inú London àwa kan máa jáde àwọn kan ò jáde. Àwọn yẹn nísìnyí wá fẹ́ kọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ fáwa pé nǹkan báyìí làwọn fi ṣe. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò náà. Olúkàlùkù ṣe tó bá fẹ́ ṣe tábà ti lè fọ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́lẹ̀ ká fọ́ mọ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ máa fún wa ní impression pé gbogbo alájọṣe kankan àjọṣe kankan náà. Gbogbo yín ìyá wa ẹ kálẹ́ mọ̀.
Ẹ kú iṣẹ́ o.
Iṣẹ́ nìyẹn náà.
Ọlọ́run adéṣẹ́yìn lágbé.
Àmì Jésù Kristi.
Wọ́n fẹ́ fọwọ́ bọ̀ yẹn bẹ̀rù mi.
Mo mọ̀ ẹ máa búrò tẹ ní ìlú mọ̀.
Ẹ jẹ́ kó tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ sọ ni pé òmìnira 2022 ló yàtọ̀ sí Yorùbá nation.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ lọ sí sáìdì yẹn kó kọrí síbẹ̀.
Disturb anybody.
July 1 everybody mọ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé Chief Sunday Igboho. Ààrẹ ní kankan níta. Wọ́n fi máa yẹn mọ́lé fún bí oṣù méje. Wọ́n ò bọ́ síta wọn ò ṣe nǹkan kan. Wọ́n ò sí àgbọ̀n àìnìkan. Ẹnìbẹ̀dì ò lè púṣẹ̀ nìkankan. Òmìnira 2022 ẹ bọ́ síbẹ̀ ẹ lọ reclaim fẹ́ reclaim.
Ẹ wá reclaim èmi fún benefit gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá náà ni ẹ lọ máa ṣe lọ. So what is disturbing anybody?
Ẹni tó wà ẹni tó níṣẹ́ ti daṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run ló níṣẹ́ ó dẹ̀ ti wà lójú iṣẹ́ ó ti wà ní ojú iṣẹ́ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tó bá tó àsìkò ẹ máa rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ á dìde àwọn áńgẹ́lì tó ṣiṣẹ́ pọ̀ sójú iṣẹ́ ẹ má fẹ́ lọ rí pé ẹ lọ we are not the same.
We are not the same.
Yorùbá nation lóra òmìnira 2022 mọ̀mọ́ ti dé wọ́n ti sọ lórúkọ bí wọ́n ṣe dé orúkọ nìyẹn ẹ lọ síbẹ̀ lọ máa ṣe ẹ kúṣẹ́ bàbá mi.
Àdẹ̀sí ní 2022 máa ṣe gan ìyá mi àti wà ní 2023 so ẹ má gbé anything tí ẹ máa sọ pé yeah I know some of you are angry especially èmi ẹ má so ẹ jẹ́ ká fi làákàyè ká fi ṣe tá a bá pe rálì láàárọ̀ la nísìn à ṣe ní girama 5 nínú òtútù tó máa jáde girama 5 tí bá sọ pé lọ́la o ẹ̀yin girama o ẹ̀yin Yorùbá nation ẹ jẹ́ àpàdé ní nọ́mbà 10 o ká tún lọ pariwo níbẹ̀ they will come out tá a bá pe àwọn èèyàn kan jáde nílé wa jáde but nísìn a ti ní this distraction tí kò sí níbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ kí ló fa fraction yẹn everybody knows the dot but àwa kàn ń ṣẹ́nu kò torí pé àfẹ́ fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ kò sí níbì kan láyé yìí níbi táyé dé yìí ká wá sọ pé à ń ṣerú kan báyìí àwọn kan ò ní mítara wọn ní orí ìjókòó ní one on one ṣó gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá kan máa bára wa sọ lórí space náà ni ẹ jẹ́ ká fi ọpọlọ ṣe náà Àwọn kan yẹn bọ̀ kí la máa wá ṣe kí ni way forward? The way forward is we will continue to push our message, and our message will be listened to whether they like it or not by the international community. IPOB to release the details to international community pé tẹ́ bá ń bọ̀ fún election observation ẹ máa prepare fún another gbàgbós. Hello caller.
Good morning, my brother. OB, order of British Empire, officer of British Empire. Bí àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún empire nìyẹn. So ó ní àwọn agendas tí wọ́n ń lò tí empire ń lò tó fi ń dominate àwọn tó ń control. So àwọn representative wọn ló máa ń fún láwọn mẹ́dà yẹn. Tó bá níbi tẹ́ni yẹn ti ṣiṣẹ́ dé. Tó ti serve, yes. So reward the service yẹn nìyẹn. So
then they also give them a global recognition. Anything tó bá ti send letter sí wọn sílé ọmọ fi OBE. So it's just it's just like an award, a merit, but again it's serving the interest of the empire, because empire ló ń ṣiṣẹ́ fún tó pọ̀ jù nínú gbogbo activities wọn. O lè máa ṣe iṣẹ́ ní o lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ fún empire ní Africa kó lè gba OBE, but o lè máa sọ pé o kàn ń ṣe iṣẹ́ ní Africa. Irú Koko Foundation ní sí wọn ní fún OBE because kò represent the British interest ti ẹ̀ nìkan ló wọ́n so ó ti yẹ yín nísì orí Yomi Ansat sí kò wọ́n lè fún OBE because kò ń ṣe bíbá ló ti ń gbẹ́sẹ̀ yẹn wá lọ sọ́hùn.
Ọdún àwọn ní àwọn tó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ tó similar sí àwọn tó ń àwọn ní OBE yẹn.
Òun náà ni mo sọ wọ́n ṣe àwọn náà òun náà ni mo sọ but they are not gonna give somebody like Yomi Ansat because he is not working indirectly with the empire with what he's doing, but irú ẹni tó bá jẹ́ pé ó set up sí bíbá tó wá lọ operate l'Africa ó ní right láti kọ́ fún ní award yẹn.
Yes, that is tó bá relate to British.
But Yomi Ansat is not related to UK. Koko Foundation is not related, so they're not going to give it to them. So, but yes, we know that they will give people that are working in Uganda on behalf of whether they are Red Cross, but definitely they have a link with the British Empire. And that's probably maybe some people want us to be doing. But then of the day, watching me on OBE, another thing is.
Nigeria, wọn kì í fáwọn ní OBE. Nǹkan tó ń ṣe fáwọn ni pé wọ́n lọ sí British High Commission. British High Commission ló máa fún wọn ní recognition. So wọ́n máa jẹ́ kí any activity bó jẹ́ iṣẹ́ branding ẹni yẹn wọ́n á jẹ́ kó gbòòrò. So that wọ́n máa fún wọn ní ambassadorship role fún any businesses ní Nigeria. So gbogbo àwọn tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń rí lórí social media yín tó ń ṣe comedy nǹkan kan yẹn tó ń sáré lọ ra lé tó ń ra mọ́tò iṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe nìyẹn because àwọn agenda tó ń push ní ọ̀dọ̀ wa ń sìn bíi ká recognize gayism kọkùnrin àtọkùnrin máa dóra wọn àwọn bestialities nǹkan kan yẹn nǹkan tó ń push nìyẹn wọ́n dẹ̀ fẹ́ push ẹ̀ to the entire world and the reason tó ṣe ń push ẹ̀ ó máa tó já lójú gbogbo wa náà bí òun náà ni à ń rí ní UK tí wọ́n ń jàjà lọ́wọ́ ń sìn pé kó fi sí lọ pé obìnrin lè di ọkùnrin kó sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dọ̀ ọkùnrin kọ́dẹ̀ pé lọ́kùnrin tàbí kọ́kùnrin sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀dọ̀ obìnrin kó pé lóbìnrin kó wọn gbọ́dọ̀ differentiate. Òun ló bí kéèsì ẹnìkan ní Scotland nsìn tó bọ́ta lórí news.
Mo tẹ̀ ń bọ̀ látàtẹ̀ ń ṣàlàyé fún mi ibi ọ̀tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn ó commit crime lọ́kùnrin ó wá dọ́bìnrin ó wá tún gbé lọ sí prison obìnrin ó tún wá ń ṣe ó tún gbà sí fún ọ nínú prison obìnrin ẹlẹ́wọ̀n gidi wà ní bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn kẹ̀ ẹlẹ́wọ̀n tó ń sunlé.
Jerry, majority àwọn tó ń pè ní adarí empire town they practice bestiality. Àwọn kan burúkú báyẹn lọ.
A máa sẹ́yìn kọ́lá yẹn máa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Hausa tí mo ní fẹ́ play yẹn. I'm going, my brother,
okay.
go ahead.
So on commit irú àwọn kan báyìí ungodly things báyìí láti fún wọn nípò agbára. So ìyẹn ló máa fi ń dì wọ́n mú tó ṣe jẹ́ pé aráàlú a máa wò pé àṣẹ ẹni ìṣèbáwá ládìbò fún ẹ láti wọlé wo ṣe nǹkan tá à ń fẹ́. Ó ṣe jẹ́ pé nǹkan tá à fẹ́ ló lọ́ ń ṣe ń bẹ̀. That's because àwọn tó pera wọn ní adarí gbogbo àgbáyé tó ń pera wọn lẹ́mpáyà yìí. Nǹkan tó fi ń fún wọn ní condition nìyẹn. So ó gbúdọ̀ ṣe nǹkan ibi tó jẹ́ pé tí àgbáyé bá gbọ́ àwọn á ní kó tó fún ẹ nípò agbára. Òun ni ayé títí bọ̀bọ̀ Epstein tó ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà. Epstein. So gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí ó link. So anybody tó bá fún ní OB, MB, bí rank ẹ bá ṣe ń gòkè, Tony Blair sìn èyí tó fún òun night yẹn. Irú night yẹn sìn òun gbé òfin tí fẹ́ẹ̀ gbé ìga gbága pẹ̀lú queen yẹn. Because ipò ránkì tó highest lọ fún ẹ yẹn. So òun ló ṣe ní free access láti wọ Nàìjíríà sí. Tony Blair pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń da Zamfara rú.
Ṣé sound yẹn jáde náà ìtẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa èèyàn kan ní ká check sound èyí tó kù ṣe ń gbọ́ wa dáadáa. Wọ́n ní sound yẹn clear ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ bí alátọ̀dọ̀ yín ni ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ lọ.
So Tony Blair ó pẹ̀lú àwọn tó ń da Nàìjíríà rú báyìí Zamfara torí gold tó ń wà ní North East. Ó set up trust on láwọn machineries tó kó wọlé nǹkan báyìí tó fi ń ṣe àwọn iṣẹ́. So to come back to that order, OB, MB, Knights of the Pillar, the Kilaman Peon, iṣẹ́ tó wà fún gangan nìyẹn. So Ọlọ́run and gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ń try láti pass as law, gayism, bestiality, ká change ọkùnrin sọ́bẹ̀rin, Ọlọ́run ó fi òdì sí. Bí ẹni tíyàn èèyàn ń kí kọ́lọ́n fòfin lẹ̀ kí wọ́n máa ní òun ta òfin yẹn pé òun ò gbà. So òun nìkan tó ń ṣe ó dẹ̀ pẹ̀lú nǹkan tó ní Ọlọ́run fi omi pa ilé ayé rẹ́ngbà yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí àwọn nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn náà kí Ọlọ́run tó fi fomi pa gbogbo ẹ̀jẹ̀. So what is going on right now? Kò ń ṣe ìjà ara lásán, ìjà ẹ̀mí.
Yeah, spiritual fight là ń jà.
Spiritual fight là ń jà o. Àwọn ò kàn lè fojú rí nǹkan tó ń lọ ní o, but àwọn tó ń ríran dáadáa wọ́n mọ̀ pé spiritual battle.
Ìyẹn làwọn èèyàn náà ṣe ń sọ pé ìjà tó máa jà jù nínú ẹ̀ in as much as àwa lè máa sọ pé Glasgow spiritual fight kan máa wáyé náà tó ń jà ní in the spiritual realm. Ìjà spiritual realm kẹ̀rẹ́ tó bá ti wà defeated lọ́hùn ó máa materialize nísàlẹ̀ ní bíbá. So ìtọ́dẹ̀ ṣe ni pé àwọn náà ń lo as much as the fight on the other side to make sure that àwa táwa láyé àní rí evidence àbí materialization ẹ̀.
Yes.
And we have to keep opening the conscious mind of the people. So àwọn èèyàn understand pé the world we are living today, there are some people that are also fighting to save the world so that come and manipulate it. So Elédùmarè dẹ̀ ti fàsìkò sí nǹkan pé okay eléyìí ti tó ẹ jẹ́ ká switch energy yẹn away and that energy has to be switched. But again, not everybody understand this thing. Ẹlòmíì ní àbá ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí gan lẹ́nu pé èèyàn ti ya wèrè gan ọ̀rọ̀ tó ń sọ ìgbà sọ pé báwo sọ wọn.
Exactly. Àti mo máa ń ṣẹ́nu kò sọ̀rọ̀ ni. The good news tẹ́mi máa fẹ́ fún àwọn èèyàn wa nílé ni pé ìjà tí à ń wò yìí wọ́n ti jà ní spiritual realm. Ọlọ́run ti win yẹn. The physical manifestation, physical reality, òun làwọn máa wá go through. Ní ti election tó fẹ́ bò yìí tọ́lá fẹ́ ṣe election. Bọ́lá ń ṣe fẹ́ ṣe kò yé mi fúnra mi ò ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo àwọn nǹkan mèremère tí à ń fojú rí ń sìn ó ń fún mi ní assurance pé a máa gba òmìnira wa. But tó dà ń pé Ọlọ́run fẹ́ kó fi ọwọ́ ara wọn kó fi ṣe ara wọn.
Ìyẹn làwọn ẹyẹ mọ̀ kó torí pé irú our first caller yẹn was a bit concerned gbogbo ẹ̀ kò yá wọn ẹ má máa sọ pé kò yé yín progress is as you are in the process. Yes, as much as everybody wants to be out, mo dẹ̀ ṣe sọ pé there will still be dialogue. Kò ń ṣe pé dialogue pé a fẹ́ remain in Nigeria is a dialogue that every part of Nigeria needs to be dissolved, just as it has been done around the world before. Our Akọ́lá máa kọ́kọ́ break away.
Of course.
But I think everybody is just a bit in a haste. Everybody, Shalom, my brother. Good evening.
Ìwé tí àwọn empire tó set up academic kìíní tó set up sí Nàìjíríà ṣe bóun náà là ń follow. Kò ń ṣe tiwa tá a fi ọwọ́ dà. Torí ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà ò ṣe ever succeed. It can never move forward because the structure that they set it up on is for you to make money in that country. To bá san tax, àpò ẹni tó ń bọ̀ wá, àwọn empire náà ló ṣe bọ̀. Díẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa rí mú bẹ̀ tó máa rò bí ó ti dolówó oúnjẹ kankan. Ṣùgbọ́n tó bá jí lọ́la dọ́là fẹ́ pa owó oúnjẹ dẹ̀ lò, òun ni dọ́là rate sí náírà sí pound rate sí náírà. So bó ṣe ń ṣe nìyẹn, wọ́n á jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹrù bí ẹ̀ ń gbádùn díẹ̀. Wọ́n yọ ọ̀rọ̀ kì lẹ́sẹ̀ yín, wọ́n bà economy yín jẹ́, wọ́n fún yín sanction, wọ́n á ṣe ọgbẹ́ until táwọn tó yàn yẹn bí èmi làwọn tó wá sí Chatham House yẹn sìn àwọn candidate ni wọ́n wá ń fi ara wọn wọ̀n fún ọ̀gá wọn ní Britain pé okay o èmi ni best candidate fún iṣẹ́ ẹjọ́ ẹgbà mí à CEO fún Nàìjíríà èmi máa deliver nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ so wọ́n wá ń debate níwájú empire so that empire lè mú èyí tó fẹ́ láàrin àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta. Nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan nìyẹn àbí kí ni ká ṣe gbọ́ sí kí àwọn ẹni tó fẹ́ jẹ pírẹsidẹ́ǹtì òun fún wa sí ìlú onílù láti wá máa discuss nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe ibo náà ti ń gbọ́rú ẹ̀ ṣé Amẹ́ríkà wá ṣerú ẹ̀ àwa nìkan ló lè ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀.
It's all the plan. It's just everything is just every gbogbo táwọn face nísìn because I'm gonna let you go now. In that phase, it's been planned decades ago. So in that our conscious mind is now becoming wide open. We are seeing things far beyond today. Tó bá jẹ́ pé tèmi nìkan ni àwa náà máa ṣe díẹ̀ kákọ̀ máa wá síbí gbọ́. Ìgbà ọdún lẹ́nìí níbo ni race wa máa wà? Ṣé a ṣì máa wà in existence àbí a ti máa parẹ́? And if we have to be in existence, the materialization of what is happening in the spiritual realm must be completed here.
It must happen now, yes. Òun náà là ń sọ, òun ló ta wá jí tí gbogbo wa fi ń pariwo, òun ló ta wá jí tí program yìí ṣe ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí. Because when people don't understand who we are made of proton, electron and neutron. So ẹni tó bá ní làákàyè kó lọ research nǹkan tí mo sọ ẹ̀. Our body, ẹ̀rọ ara àwa. Ó kàn wà bẹ́ẹ̀, ó kàn dàbí avatar lásán kàn ń bo ara wa ni. We are made of energy. Bí a ṣe ń wo electricity yẹn, that's what we are. And our body contains a lot of information that we don't know. I think we are programmed to activate at this moment in time to change the hand of time. So God bless what we are doing. It will take us where we are going. But what I know is Yoruba people's future in the world. We are going to be the administrator, the pioneer of the future. So, Professor Kọ, ìkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ gangan nìyẹn. Lọ ṣe jàǹgà. Wọ́n fẹ́ máa gba ọ́dà láti ẹni tó jẹ́ dúdú. Kábọ̀ ń bọ̀ sí pé wọ́n wá láti Áfíríkà. Wọ́n fẹ́ nǹkan tó ń ní wọn lára gangan nìyẹn.
Thank you so much, my brother. I love you so much for your analysis of your time.
Thanks,
man. I just picked this up while on one of the comment section. African Confidential. Ẹ ṣe sùúrù ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè wá ẹ̀gbọ́n mi láti Dallas ẹja gbẹ̀yìn wọlé straight quickly. Tàbá ti gbà kọ́ ìtàn àwa sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Artemis program kí ló mean? There's a lot of wọ́n sọwọ́ bọ oríṣiríṣi àwọn America àwọn Europe wọ́n fi jẹ́ kí ìran dúdú tó jẹ́ ìran adúláwọ̀ àwa wọ́n fi jẹ́ ká gùnkè àwa dẹ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ gùnkè nítorí pé wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ tẹríba fún wa bọ́fẹ́ bọ́kọ̀ ẹgbẹ́ òsókè láti Dallas àgbọ̀yìn.
Koiki bàbá ọkàn mi máa ń ṣùlù fún ẹ tó pọ̀ ni. I watched your program you highlight this morning when you were going to Strasbourg.
Okay. Strasbourg, yeah.
It was a great show. And such a thing like this, we're able to motivate people back at home. Talk of OPG or whatever. Think about it, other British Empire. Pẹ̀lú British wọn àdé fún ẹ àdé ìṣẹ̀rú as an America kò tí tó tẹ̀ pẹ̀lú OP. We don't bow to kings in America. Kò sí nǹkan tó kàn wá. Ṣé you understand? Now, nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ ni Akoiki, you see at this point, I think it will be very good ká máa pín sí méjì ká jẹ́ kẹ́kẹ́ bọ̀ tó máa mọ̀ pé Yorùbá nation àwa ń ṣe ó yàtọ̀ sí òmìnira.
Okay.
Now, you can take the 2020 nígbà tó ti fẹ́ pé òmìnira 2020. Nígbà tí 2022 dẹ̀ ti wọ December 31st yẹn, ìbílẹ̀ ògùn tiẹ̀ ti yẹ kán bẹnu wọn lọ́wọ́ ká dẹ̀ dákẹ́ síbẹ̀. Wọ́n lè tún ti wá gbọ́ 2023 but at this point, káwọn pípì máa ba ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ wa jẹ́ òmìnira is different from Yorùbá nation. Bàbá bá jẹ́ Akíntóyè lọ̀gá wa ní Yorùbá nation. Olóyè Sunday Igboho ọ̀gá wa ní àdẹ̀mọ́ àwọn tájọ ń ṣe balẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe bọ̀. Tá ń ṣe awareness tá ń sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ bàbá òní plan bàbá òní kíní kan mo sọ kíní kan even after tẹ ókè bàbá òní plan mo gbà wọ́n tiẹ̀ ní plan wọ́n tiẹ̀ tẹ̀lé sọ́dá sẹ́yìn but gbogbo lecture tí bàbá ti give Nigeria and Yoruba race can never remain the same. The man has opened our eyes. He said 88 years kọ́lọ̀ ń bá pè wọ́n kọ́lọ̀ ń pè wọ́n lẹ́ni kọ́lọ̀ ń pè bàbá lẹ́ni he has tried his name lórúkọ òun lè parẹ́ láíláí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti wá la ojú wa dẹ̀ ti gbọ́n and let me tell you one thing the thing is that whether he likes it or not we will get our nation. So òmìnira 2022 ó yàtọ̀ 2023 la wà yìí gbogbo àwọn tó dẹ̀ bẹ̀rù pé kìnìún kan Tinubu kìnìún kan kò sí nǹkan tó bá pẹ̀lú Tinubu whether they like it or not Nigeria gan máa fọ́ fún rẹ̀ whether we do anything or not the reason is that tí òbí bá wọlé Hausa ò ní gbà Yorùbá ò ní gbà Tátìkù bá wọlé Yorùbá ò ní gbà Igbo ò ní gbà tí Tinubu bá wọlé Hausa ò ní gbà Igbo ò ní gbà so why are we deceiving ourselves? Tinubu yẹn gan at this point tó bá ní opportunity tó máa yá dànù bọ́ ó ti tọrùn gbọ́ kò sí nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe mọ́ so ẹjọ́ mo fi ọlọ́ọ̀bẹ yìí ìyàtọ̀ wà nínú òmìnira Yorùbá nation làwa ń ṣe alẹ́ mi tẹ̀jú nígbà táwọn kan àlejò ara wọn tán láwọn lọ mú ìbá àwọn lọ gba Lagos government àwọn ti lọ declare àwọn ti lọ reclaim àwọn ti lọ jẹ́ kíní kan tán lọ ṣé wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan fún wọn wọ́n ṣe nǹkan kan fún wọn àwa la fẹ́ ṣe peaceful rally wọ́n kó ìbọn síta so what does this tell you? This tells you that the government itself and our politicians they know the truth they know what's up so ẹ má jẹ́ àtàrà wa ó ń gbogbo àwọn tó ń pariwo àwọn ti declare àwọn ti proclaim àwọn ti reclaim àwọn ti jubilate put your phone now type Yoruba nation declaration orí YouTube ló máa gbé ẹ lọ sórí YouTube kò náà ti ń declare àgbègbè àbí òun mẹ́ta ọ̀dẹ́ wọlé lẹ́yìn àti ṣe ìjọ́júwò rẹ̀ tí ìlà káyẹ̀ mọ́ bí tá ń lọ I am begging you in the name of God let's remain focused Koiki at this point please I am begging you in the name of God do not be discouraged nìkan wọ ẹni dìjọ ẹni it doesn't concern you let's be focused you know I'm jealous of you the reason is that we will get our nation and you don't know the kind of gold and diamond that your name will be written with so people are jealous of you they are trying their best to break you down so remain focused so I just gbàgbé gbogbo àwọn people yìí wọ́n máa ṣe lọ́dọọdọ kí ní kò sí kí tó kẹ́jú bọ́ọ̀dù Yorùbá nation ni and there is no going back and we are going to get it anyhow no matter what no begging me we will get it thank you so much God bless you.
Thank you so much. Ẹ rí i pé à ń ṣó kìnní látẹ̀ nǹkan ẹ má bínú ẹ̀gbọ́n mi wà ẹ jẹ́ ká sáré play fídíò ọmọ Haúsá yẹn not this one eléyìí kọ́ gbé mi wá sí bíbá what is ATM a padà wá sórí ẹ̀ I actually had a video I prepared mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ ká miss video yẹn wà very very important translation ẹ̀ ní kẹ́ follow so it's gonna be on a full screen My own small camera will just be Hausa man. This is the video. In tó ń sọ, ẹ má worry, màá mute in tó ń sọ. Hausa ló fi ń sọ, but the translation is at the bottom, and I hope that tí bá play a máa show kí gbogbo yín máa rí mọ̀ pé date and time yẹn ẹ jẹ́ kí n ṣáà yọ date and time yẹn kúrò kó má disturb wa. So mo fẹ́ kí a farabalẹ̀ ó respond sí Peter Obi ìyẹn bọ̀bọ̀ yìí ọmọ Malai. It shows that we are never going to be united in that contraction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run the video now, and I'll try to while the translation is going on the bottom, Imama Kasita, let's go along with it. Surprisingly, day before yesterday, it was said that the constant of the infidels of Nigeria, kí ló ń pè ní infidel? Mo fẹ́ kí asáré lọ wo dictionary yẹn, má bínú pé ṣé mo lè mú screen yìí wá. Okay, èmi kò lè fún yín ní meaning ẹ̀ ní background. Kí ló ń pè ní infidels? Infidels. This is how these people look at us. I pity Yoruba people. In tó ń pè ní infidel. 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 A person who has no religion or whose religion is not part of the majority. Ṣé Hausa wà ní majority àwa tó kù ni? This guy is actually using the word infidel. Ta ló ń lò fún? It is not Peter Obi ló ń lò fún. He's actually using it against every one of us in Nigeria that is not a Muslim in their own directive. Infidel. Let's go back one step behind again. Only it was said that the constant of the infidels of Nigeria. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé, gbogbo yín náà ni máa kí dáadáa ni máa dárúkọ yín ká tó parí ètò. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi. This is part of how they feel they are much superior than us. Whether you're a Muslim Yoruba man, a Muslim Yoruba woman, you are an infidel according to the northern part of Nigeria. Let's go ahead. It was said that the came to Kano. Ó sọ pé Peter Obi ìyẹn infidel ó wá sí Kano. Alhamdulillah, we the indigenes of Kano being hospitable pé àwọn ọmọ ìlú Kano. We hosted him, but over there close to his brethren around the stadium, outside the city wall, this thing you saw that was done to him was an honor. Ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n ju òkú fún Peter Obi nígbà tó lọ sí Kano, wọ́n lẹ mọ́tò ẹ̀ lóko. Òun á reference sí. If you went to his state, ó ní tó bá lọ sílẹ̀ Igbo. And I don't know why we should be one if all this is something that gbogbo yóò máa rò lọ́kàn. Àwọn náà rò lọ́kàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Àwa náà rò lọ́kàn bẹ́ẹ̀. Then why are we trying to save Nigeria? Let's continue. Àbí ṣé ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ audio tiẹ̀ náà tó ń sọ̀rọ̀? Bí a kì í release audio ẹ̀ díẹ̀ kókò máa lọ lábẹ́lẹ̀. So ẹ mọ̀ pé yẹn máa fún ní ìbítọ̀. Mo bọ̀ audio yẹn dà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ audio yẹn náà. Then I will do the translation, even if we have to slow down so that we can enjoy it. Ẹ jẹ́ lọ mọ́ audio jáde, Hausa man. Yeah, on. So let's play it again and see. Surprisingly, day before yesterday, it was said that the constant of the infidels of Nigeria, Owasi Kano. Alhamdulillah, we the indigenes of Kano being hospitable. We hosted him, but those there close to his brethren around the stadium, outside the city wall. This thing you saw that was done to him in Toshefu was an honor. Again, look in here. If you went to a state, you will never be accorded the same. Pé tó bá lọ sílẹ̀ Igbo, wọ́n ní ṣe the same fún ẹ. Why are we then living together as a Nigerian? But what I find unfortunate is that there were Muslims in convoy going there. Ẹgbọ́n bíbá pé àwọn Mùsùlùmí náà ń tẹ̀lé ọmọ Igbo. Ìjà tó ń bọ̀, ó máa ju ti ìtàrírí.
But
I will give them the benefit of doubt. Could it have been a subtle way of disarming an infidel? And if there was disarming, ọ̀rọ̀ tó lágbára náà ni ń bọ̀. The Hausa man calls it The Hausa man calls it an act of worship, right? With a question mark. But God forbid. Pé Ọlọ́run ò jẹ́, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́, Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́. Wallahi, it is to the detriment of your religion. You vote for an infidel. Pé ẹ fẹ́ lọ dìbò fún aláìgbàgbọ́. Ó sọ fáwọn èèyàn ẹ̀ ní Kánò pé ẹ̀yin fẹ́ lọ dìbò fún aláìgbàgbọ́. Ìyẹn Peter Obi ló ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. We don't support politicians, but I am just giving you how everybody feels against each other in what the British Empire did in our lives. No matter how corrupt a Muslim is, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ mú bíbá ìdání dáadáa, ó ní kò sí bí Muslim yẹn ṣe lè wà corrupt bí drug baron Tinubu, cocaine pusher, Shettima àti gbọ́ pé òun ló sponsor terrorism. I play video Najatu Muhammad ká tó lọ lálẹ́ àbí láàárọ̀ ìkọsá ti wà ní èdè ní 28. Ó ní kò sí bí Muslim yẹn ṣe lè jẹ́ corrupt tó ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sọ. His ideology of Islam is above all. So ó bá máa jí owó kó máa pààyàn, ó ní ó sì sùn ju infidel lọ. Ọmọ Yorùbá Nàìjíríà mọ tó ń bọ̀ fún yín. In principle, if side by side taba figba sigba, there is an infidel and a Muslim, ó wá fẹ́ mú méjèèjì papọ̀. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mo sọ fún ilé nǹkan kí ló ń pè ní infidel.
Infidel.
A person who has no religion or whose religion is not that of the majority. Hausa rò pé ẹ̀sìn tàwọn overshadow gbogbo àwọn àtàjọ wà ní Nàìjíríà, and that's why they always say the game of number. Àwa Mùsùlùmí ti ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, our moderate, our tolerant, a lè accept, a lè accommodate, àmọ́ arákùnrin yóò rí ẹ̀yin bẹ́ẹ̀. Let's continue.
Idan ga arne ga musulmin ban kowane iri ne shi ake.
Ó ní ẹ má bínú, wọ́n ti ní kí n drop a voice in down there. Ẹ má bínú yìí wá. Let's go back one step. The ideology of Islam is above all. In principle, if side by side there is an infidel and a Muslim, that Muslim of whatever character it may be, kò bá jẹ́ apààyàn, kò bá jẹ́ olè, kò bá jẹ́ criminal, kò bá gbé terrorist wọlé, ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sọ. He, the Muslim, is the one to be voted. Kò bá jẹ́ corrupt, kò bá jẹ́ olè, kò bá jẹ́ criminal, ẹni tó jẹ́ Muslim yẹn, òun ni kẹ́ dìbò fún against an infidel. Because he is closer to Allah. But if it is between a Muslim and Muslim, then the choice will be for the better one. Tó bá jẹ́ pé irú bó ṣe fẹ́ ṣe election yẹn nísìn, ẹ mọ̀ pé Muslim ní APC, Muslim ní Atiku, so ẹ wá gbé èyí tó bá ṣe díẹ̀ náà méjèèjì. Rather than the worst, the bad is preferable. That is how it is done. Only this is a secret of life. Ìwọ wá ń fún wọn ní option ká support Nàìjíríà. Àwọn náà like yín, àwa náà like wọn, olúkálùkù máa lọ nílò ẹ̀. But it is the daftness and the ignorance to say you are going to vote an infidel. Orí ò pé ọmọ àlè ní ẹ́, òmùgọ̀ ní ẹ́, ìwọ Mùsùlùmí north, ìwọ northern Muslim, wọn ò fẹ́ lọ dìbò fún àwọn táwọn jù lọ. Ìtàn sọ nìyẹn. What will he do to you? Question mark. Kí ni aláìgbàgbọ́ máa ṣe fáwa? Àwa tá a mọ Ọlọ́run, àwa tá a ń bọ́ Ọlọ́run sọ̀rọ̀, àwa tá a ń communicate pẹ̀lú Ọlọ́run, àwa Mùsùlùmí tá a jẹ́ majority gbogbo àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà tó ń pera wọn ní Nigerians, and that's why they hold all the posts in Nigeria. Ó tún wá mú wa padà lọ sí history Nàìjíríà. Ìyá mà ti jẹ wá o, kábíyèsí lẹ́yìn. Irú làákàyè wo làwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní báyìí ṣá? Ó tún dá wa padà lọ sí history. Ó ní go and read the history of Nigeria. Kí ló wà nínú history náà? Ẹ jẹ́ a jọ gbọ́. Eunice, when I come across this video on Twitter, apparently this video was out on Twitter today. I saw it today. And somebody helped quickly to put the translation. When they speak their language, we don't know the kind of what they are passing to their people. I can only pity the Biafra that doesn't want to support the Biafrans, the Yoruba that doesn't want to support. More pity. This is how the North looks at us as infidel, even though we are practicing the same. Oh, they're like a Christian. Christianity, they don't. That's why Deborah was killed in Kano, and today no justice. Let's go back to what this guy wants to say. Ofemua lost in Nigerian history that was adulterated, that has been changed, that was forced on us by the Olori Buruku British Empire. Not the British citizen, but the empire itself. Anytime you find Nigeria in peace, it is a Muslim who is in power. Gbogbo ìgbà kí ìgbà tí Nàìjíríà bá wà lálàáfíà, Mùsùlùmí ló ń bẹ níbẹ̀. This is what he's saying. Onyeka Chukwu, thank you so much. We can't continue in this fraud. But a lot of people are saying, shut up Biafra, shut up Urudua, shut up Middle Belt. Let us have the unity of one Nigeria. And I pity Peter Obi. He's stupid. They are calling him infidel. I only pity all the obedient. They're already talking on this on the Twitter. So maybe this will encourage more people to go and vote Peter Obi. But the infidel, wallahi. You know me, I say wallahi as well, but my own Muslim is different from his own Muslim. Because my own Muslim is tolerant. My own Muslim is a Yoruba Muslim that love and care for the other people regardless of their faith. My own Muslim is not the one that wants to wear. We have some of the Yoruba Muslims like that are wearing shokoto, small. They did for learning. They are becoming nuisance. Mufti and all these Olori Burukus that are moving all over the Yoruba land. But we will deal with ourselves. Let's first get the hell out of the shit old country called Nigeria. Arakunrin sọ pé the only time there is always peace, just as is the breed of Sudan, dead or alive, Buhari has done to Nigeria. You know, when Buhari came, there has been peace, according to him. Ó sọ pé gbogbo ìgbà tí Nigeria bá lálàáfíà is when there is a Muslim in power. But if they are the ones in power, like Jonathan, the infidel, the Olori Buruku, like Emma Binu, like Baba Sonko, he's saying that to not me. If they are the ones in power, the Yorubas in power, that's why they did not give it to MQ Abiola. If they are the ones in power, like Jonathan, like Obasanjo, that they will instigate crisis and create a kind of... Jonathan created a crisis. Who created a crisis? I pity a lot of people at all. Ó kàn máa ń dùn mí pé get the analysis àwọn ọ̀tá máa ń sọ yìí. you're living, there's no food. If you so how do you want to understand what I'm saying? Because you are Muslim. Allah Akbar. Tí bàbá wa Rọ̀dí Allah Ta'ala ni Shehu Lagege, the Muslims that are Hausa refuse to pray behind that man. Tofiku, according to what I heard, Shehu Baba wa Lagege, they refuse to. I am sure, and that is happening as well. Wherever they see the Hausa community, they never pray behind the Yoruba Imam. They will always do their own safu, even if it's the Friday prayer. They don't pray behind the Yoruba. Maybe some of them that are a little bit, but the majority will never pray behind the Yoruba Imam because they see you as infidel. I only pity a lot of you. Let's continue. Calamity such that even after their tenure, we suffer from. Are we suffering from the tenure of Jonathan than the tenure of Buhari? You can see the comparison that these idiot moron, this evil man, these are the people that support terrorism in the northern part of Nigeria. And I'm sure they sponsor them with a lot of money. Do you think that all the crises being suffered in the north, did they just begin now? With a question mark. That crisis is the one in North Select. Is the crisis in the northern part of Nigeria today? Is it that the Biafra that started it? Is it the Yoruba people? But this guy believe that we are the one that started it. Wallahi, they were planted long ago. We are only imagine we are the ones saying that they are the one giving us problem. He's also saying that we are the one giving them problem. So where is the unity? How is Peter Obi going to solve this problem? How is Atiku going to solve this problem? Atike Romero, we are all in a deep shit. And wallahi again, it was during their time that they planted for us this time bomb that is just exploding on us. No matter how rotten yours is, there are ways you will never be treated if it was there. You are the one ignorant of what calamity it protects you from. But when you lose him and no longer have him, you will realize your mistake. No matter how spoiled the entrance door is, it does not matter how the, it still scares the thief. So what he's saying is, in just a narrative. Even if you have a door that is not, maybe it's just a curtain, the chief will be thinking, I hope there's nobody behind it that can also hit me with something. He thinks the door is locked. But flinging your door wide open, no one is as crazy as you. And you pray for Allah's protection, He will protect from what? Even if you have not sought protection, because you also did not shut the door. May Allah grant us understanding. This is the message that was delivered in Kano by this scholar or imam or lecturer, who God knows. Let's open our phone line. We have about just half an hour before the end of the program this morning. My name is OLAMILEKAN. My job is to continue to tell the Yoruba people, Nigeria that you love so much is not worth dying for. I understand, I love Tinubu, I love Atiku, I love Peter Obi, but they cannot solve our problem. Actually, briefly, quickly,
ṣe gan. Inú mi dùn pé ẹ bírèkì òbí yẹn. Ó dẹ̀ ti yí àwọn Yorùbá wa. Bàbá mi, ẹ má jẹ́ kí wọ́n tàn wá mọ́. Wọ́n tàn wá. Wọ́n ti tàn wá. Adé ti gbọ́n. Bàbá gba Yorùbá nation. Kò sí nǹkan tí a lè ṣe. Ta lè fi bọ́ nínú wàhálà yìí o. The only solution only Yoruba nation. The Yoruba nation ló lè sọ proper bá ṣe lè tó ìtumọ̀ òbí ní tiwa. Ní tiwa. Bọ̀bọ́ yẹn dá padà. Ó dá kìíní yẹn padà. But kí ló fi achieve? Nǹkan tó fi achieve yẹn láàárín àwọn èèyàn tó bá ka ìwé bí òyìnbó ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá jẹ́ pé ó ṣàwà international knowledge ní gbogbo kìíní yẹn lè yé. But àwọn tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ sí lórí Yorùbá nation àwọn ti lé mi. Àwọn tí wọ́n kà tí wọ́n mọ̀ ilé ìwé kàǹgà kò mọ̀ túmọ̀ ẹ̀. Wọ́n ṣàṣọ fún pé lọ kàwé ni. Go just go to school. Go get that certificate. But ẹ̀mí ẹ̀ ò lọ fún kò yé. Òun ló pọ̀ jù. Mo bẹ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá lágbàáyé ẹjọ́. Ẹ gáríjì everybody. Bó bá jẹ́ èmi ni mo máa ń pè ní other media kí ni yóò dùn. Mo bẹ̀ everybody ẹjọ́ ẹ ṣe ìdáríjì ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba Yorùbá nation. Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe o. Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe. Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe. Ẹjọ́.
Ẹ ṣe gan ẹ̀gbọ́n mi wà. Mo kí bàbá mi Táyé Kẹ́ṣì ká máa kí gbogbo yín díẹ̀ lẹ́yọ kọ̀ọ̀kan torí ànípẹ́ máa mú ètò yín wá sílẹ̀. A ṣe máa gba bíi kọ́ọ̀lù bíi méjì mẹ́ta sí i. Mo ti rí miss call bíi méjì kan, ẹ jẹ́ ká tún gba kọ́ọ̀lù bíi méjì mẹ́ta sí i. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Clement, thank you so much for the super chat. Èèyàn kan béèrè pé ṣé kò sí Twitter space. There's one between us and the Biafra tomorrow, and I'm going to be telling you about that. Hello, greetings. Go ahead.
Yeah, greetings. Thank you for your analysis. Okay. You see, I want to say two things here. I see, the Western world, they are deeply complicit and they know what they're doing. They're playing game. You know what they do? When you complain about Nigerian system, they will tell you, Nigeria is a sovereign state. There's nothing they can do. You should go and join the government. But now they're not interfering in election in a sovereign state. Okay, and they see the Arab world and Britain, Arab world like Saudi Arabia, Turkey support. They are sponsoring the Fulanis to take over. You know that if they come as the white people, they will use it. So they use Arab. If you read about Arab history, Arab slavery, Arab slavery, you understand that. No matter what this man say in this video you analyze, no matter if you like build mosque in your compound, big biggest mosque, they will get you as if there because they know that you are not an Ishmaelite, you are of tribe of David, so it cannot be a good mosque. That's how they interpret you. I'm saying our P2P who is Galilean running after those who don't need him. Do you understand what this man said in that video? Do you understand what the man say? Obi is the Dundee. Even if Obi win election, Obi will be trying to please the North instead of finish. What is the Jonathan? He can never win election. If we prior election, Obi cannot even get 30%. But we tell them that we are ready to die for our children so that they can also want to suffer. Let them come and conduct election. Let's see in their land. Let them come conduct.
Thank you so much.
So you see this thing. If we are afraid of death, the death will surely come.
There's no doubt.
Okay?
There's no
it's
doubt.
better if you want the freedom.
It's his network as usual. Let's give him a bit of few more minutes if he comes back. All right.
Come and begin to tell us what to do in our own land. The land of our ancestors. Who is this fool? If not Obi, who is this fool to tell us what to do in our own land? Land of our ancestors.
Yeah.
The immigrant Fulani from Sahel got to our land because
he's calling us infidel. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate it.
Oh my God. This process must end one for all.
We have to end it. Thank you so much. Mr. Clement, thank you so much as usual. I hope, wish and pray that the large Southerners will see and understand that we have no future in common with these people. I'm going to play that video one more time before we go because it is important. As we take the next caller, the meaning of infidel again for the benefit of those is a person who has no religion or whose religion is not that of the majority. So the northern part of Nigeria believes that they are majority. Hello, caller.
Hello, Ekusho. Nǹkan tí mo kàn fẹ́ sọ báyìí ni pé àtọdún kẹta ni mo ti mọ̀ pé irú nǹkan báyìí máa wáyé torí nǹkan irú àwa yìí ti rí kó tó di pé ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá wáyé. Gbogbo ìgbà lèmi máa sọ pé ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kí tó máa bọ́rọ̀ mi lọ kí ní ìyẹn ní slip yẹn ti gbọ́ wa gbé káyọ̀ láyé tẹ́lẹ̀ sáwọn. Ẹ bá wa gé ẹ jọ gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó ń wò mí tó bá ti gé kí nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká sẹ́ǹdì ẹ̀ sí àwọn èèyàn wa ńlé. Tá bá dẹ̀ ti sẹ́ǹdì ẹ̀ sí wọn ká ṣe follow up. Ṣé ẹ rí àwọn tó ń pè ní Haúsá wọ̀nyí? Àtó eṣiṣi lọ́dọ̀ wọn, eṣiṣi. Ẹni tó bá wọn gbé, ó ti máa mọ̀ wá wọn tipẹ́tipẹ́. Èrèdíre tá fi ń kígbe láti bí ọdún kẹta tí mo ti gbọ́rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. Ṣé ló dàbí pé ẹrù tí kéèyàn gbé ẹrù lérí kó wúwo kán wá sọ̀kalẹ̀. Èmi rò pé kíákíá bíi pé ká ti wà nínú Yorùbá níwòyí ni kó tó di pé Sátánì jẹ̀bi. Sátánì dẹ̀ ló máa jẹ̀bi délẹ̀. Ní báyìí ẹ jẹ́ ká fọ̀rọ̀ divide and rule sílẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ ká ṣe ní pápápápá. Ẹ̀yin èpè dìran. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fọ̀rọ̀ èpè sílẹ̀. Ká fèsì nǹkan tó yẹ ká fèsì. Iṣẹ́ tó yẹ ká ṣe àṣẹ. A bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣépè fúnra wa. Àwọn Haúsá yẹn wọ́n ń ṣiṣẹ́ tiwọn lọ. Ṣé ẹ tún ti rí ibòmíì tán ti jáde ní ìsìn? Ṣé ẹ tún ti gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ fún wa? Wọ́n sọ fún àwa kórí wa òfin nìyẹn. Wọ́n sọ fún wa pé dàdá ń di kí ni wá. Kí ló wá yẹ ká ṣe o? Wọ́n fi challenge wa. Kí ló wá yẹ ká ṣe ní ìsìn? Ìwọ lọ jókòó kó ronú ara ẹ. Kí mi jókòó kí n ronú ara mi. Èmi ni ti Yàgòlò. Èmi ni ti bí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fìyẹn lẹ̀ pátápátá. Pé mo fẹ́ délẹ̀ Yorùbá. Mo ń torí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá yìí. Mo ń ṣe torí ipò. Jẹ́ ká sì fìyẹn sílẹ̀ ńsìn. Mo ń ṣe torí owó. Jẹ́ ká sì fìyẹn sílẹ̀ nísìn. Mo fẹ́ gbogbo wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbéradì. Ìkejì tó dàbí rẹ̀. Gbogbo àwa tí a bá ti wà lé. Tá a bá ti mọ àwọn èèyàn. Bí Ọ̀ṣun state. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ síbẹ̀. Èrò pọ̀ dìbà lọ́ṣun state lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí. Gbogbo àwọn ọmọ tó wà ń bẹ̀ pátápátá. Ẹni tó bá ti ní access sí àwọn èèyàn tó mọ̀nà síbẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa pè wọ́n wọnú Yorùbá ni. Ẹ má jẹ́ káwọn APC kó wọn lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa pè wọ́n wọnú Yorùbá nation. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi yé wọn ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn ò mọ nǹkan tó ń lọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi yé wọn pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe kíní tó fi máa kún. Tí ò ní fi dàrú. Yorùbá nation ló máa jẹ́ kó kún. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa sọ fún wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. Gbogbo kíní ìka slip yìí ká sẹ́ǹdì ẹ̀. Ọlọ́run á ràn gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ọmọdé ń sọ fún wa ká ṣiṣẹ́. Ó ṣiṣẹ́ sí ìlú tiẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà ṣiṣẹ́ sí ìlú wa. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká máa fi ojú náà. Ọlọ́run á ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Ọlọ́run á bẹ̀rẹ̀.
Àmín. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá wa. Thank you so much, grandma. Mo kí bàbá wa Ifá lókì. Mo kí Ustaz Jamiu. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀sìn kan ló wà nílẹ̀ yìí. Ẹni tí Mala yẹn ń sọ fún wa. Máa play video yẹn ká tó lọ no matter how late. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ àti lọ sọ́dọ̀ grandma kejì again. Ìyá mi tó ń pè náà láti US à ń bọ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín. Hello grandma ẹgbọ́n sókè. Tá bá ti gba call, à ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa press statement láti the spokesperson for the Biafra people regarding the election. Ẹ rí i pé headline sọ pé Nigeria prepare for general election Gbajabiamila tells the EU observer. Kí làwọn máa sọ fún EU observer? Let's shut down the southwest with a massive protest for Yoruba nation. Ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàárọ̀ grandma ẹgbọ́n sókè.
Hello Koiki, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káalẹ́, ẹ káàsán, níbikíbi tó máa ti ń gbóhùn wa. God bless you. Yoruba nation. Timba sọ pé kò sú mi rọ ni mo pa. Wà á rí pé èmi àtọkọ mi wà heavy silence. Because mo bí tẹ́ ń kó wa lọ. Timba ní kí n rò ṣé ìgbà tí odò ń pa wá ní Trafalgar Square ní ká sọ. Àbí ìgbà tí òtútù ń mú gbogbo wa tá à ń gbọ̀n bíi chicken tí abúta bọ́ sínú omi níwájú Nigerian House. Àbí ìgbà tí gbogbo wa march out pẹ̀lú long banner tó ṣe. Mélòó ni kárò? Ṣé ibi ká máa end ẹ̀ sí leléyìí? I'm really sad in my spirit. Outside ni mò ń gbé. But anytime tó bá fẹ́ ṣe rally, I always manage to come ní àtọkọ mi. Kí ni reward wa? Èní ẹjọ́, ọ̀la ìjà. Ẹnu wa òkú. Àbára wa rẹ́, àbára wa sọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n dẹ̀ máa dìbò next month. So ẹjọ́ tí Ọlọ́run bolẹ̀ ń kó wa lọ. Nǹkan tí mi fẹ́ bèrè nìyẹn. Ibo lẹ̀ ń kó wa lọ. Last time tí mo pè mo sọ, mo ní ìrètí pípé ó máa ń ṣọkàn láàrẹ tó bá rántí. Mo dẹ̀ sọ mo ní oòrùn tó wà lókè síta ṣọgbẹ́. Last year no promise wa. Mo dẹ̀ ní kó fulfill promises tó ń promise gbogbo àwọn arúgbó tá à ń bọ́ síta. It's not easy for us. But I try láti bọ́ síta because a fẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ wa kọ́ benefit nǹkan táwọn ò benefit. What is all this? Kò yé mi. What is all this? Lè sọ àlewó. Àwọn èèyàn wa wà ní Nàìjíríà. Tá bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé ara rọ àwa bíbá yìí. Àwọn tó ń gbé ìlú yẹn ńkọ́. Àwọn tó ń gbójú síta nílùú yẹn ńkọ́. Wọ́n máa dìbò ní next month nsìn. Dẹ̀ mọ̀ bí tá à ń lọ. Mọ̀ bí tí ọlọ́kọ̀ wà wá lọ. Síwájú ló wà wá lọ ní àbí ẹ̀yìn. We don't know. We don't know. Do we have any blueprint? Do we have any roadmap? Do we have any satnam at all? This is what I want everybody to be thinking of. Ọ̀rọ̀ bá ń bára wa jà kọ́ leléyìí. Tí n bá ní ọmọ ní school, àbí tí n bá ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bí ọmọ tó yẹ kó rá tí ò rá, I will be worried. Tó yẹ kó heyín tí ò heyín, I will be worried. So I'm really, really worried, Koiki. Honestly, why? I've been very, very silent. Inú mi ò dùn. Okay, wọ́n máa dìbò next month nsìn. So ibo là ń lọ? Ibo là ń lọ? Ẹ sọ fún wa, èmi tẹ̀ fẹ́ gbọ́. Kí wọ́n bọ́ síta kan sọ fún wa pé òkè bíbá ìlànà. Gbogbo àṣà bọ́ síta, a lọ sí rally. Wọ́n dẹ̀ bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lónìí nígbà tá a wà ní rally. Let them come out and come and tell us where they are taking us. Because wọ́n máa dìbò. Ṣàmàmà wò kán dìbò. Tó bá dìbò tán sign ní another amalgamation. Ṣé ìgbà yẹn la fẹ́ máa jà? Kọ́ wọ́n sọ pé agbógun wọ̀lú. Ẹ jẹ́ ká rorí wa o. Enough for the wise o. Èmi ò sọ ju yẹn lọ. I'm not very happy.
Thank you so much. I will respond to that in just about a few minutes. But let's get to listen to this. A lot of people that are concerned all the time, especially when this kind of call comes through. I'll respond to that. Nibo ni won ko wa lo. We are still on the journey of the Yoruba nation, and it's a project that will be completed. This will be the last call, and then I will have ample of time not to be distracted with another call. So this is going to be our last call. About share me briefly. Everyone's okay. I'm going. Hello, yawa.
Like the last caller, Sherry, I know what is going on. It's not easy. It's not easy. If not for you, I don't blame me. So you blame our top campaign, our top one against screen me blame because they know this thing. Let's be September, October. But once up come out. We look at because our call one, you screen. Our give me you real. Mr. Koiki, I wanted to call you today, but what's my call? You I am blocked it. I know then. Àwọn kan sọ̀rọ̀, but àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn èèyàn blọ́ọ̀kì wọn náà pé àwọn ń go against my monetary. My monetary has only come to destroy this world. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó sọ àwọn èèyàn tó yẹ yín. So wọ́n fẹ́ kó sọ àwọn èèyàn náà ló ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí o. Ṣé yẹn tí àwọn èèyàn lè give up pé kò sí ọ̀pọ̀ tó pè ní Yorùbá nation. Ṣé rí ó ṣe kò ṣe Yorùbá nation máa dúró? Ó lè pẹ́ o, ẹlẹ́dẹ̀ á dé Ọ̀yọ́. Ṣé yẹn yín? Then ẹjọ́ kọ́kọ́ lè kọ́ yẹn níta Koiki. Ẹ ń dẹ́pẹ́ àwọn èèyàn ní pé wọ́n ṣe kí wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀. Ṣé kò wọ́n tẹ̀lé lórí social media? Ṣẹ́gẹ̀ àwọn táwa nílùú òyìnbó làwọn pàṣẹ information yẹn fáwọn family wa ní Nàìjíríà wọn ò gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Because all the thing náà jẹ wọ́n níyà. Wọ́n fi data jẹ wọ́n níyà. Wọ́n lè fi ebi pa wọ́n. Ẹjọ́ kí ni téyẹ táwọn èèyàn bá jẹun lọ́mọ láwọn fẹ́ tó generator láti fi wo tẹlifíṣàn. Táwọn èèyàn bá ti jẹun tán lọ́mọ láwọn fẹ́ ra data. Kò sí gbogbo nǹkan báyìí ní Nàìjíríà. Ẹni tó bá lọ sí Nàìjíríà recently, àwọn nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà is tough. Nigeria is really tough. Kò sí bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe lè sọ lẹ́mìí. Ẹ wò tẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn àbí nìkan ni tí àwọn APC tó gbé bread. Bóyá tí pàrọ̀ fi já bread.
Ní Ìlọrin ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀.
Ẹ wo imagine nínú àwọn ìbáyé. Ṣé àwọn ìmọ̀ àgbọ̀kọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lágbàáyé? Mo ò lè gbọ́. Ohun ìní ọlọ́mọ ẹ̀kọ́ kó ṣẹlẹ̀ o. Tí àwọn Fúlàní bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbà á kò sílẹ̀ ní ṣẹ́gẹ̀t. Àwọn tó máa kó papọ̀ gan nǹkan tí wọ́n mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. Ṣẹ́gẹ̀t. Ìyá ìjọba ẹ̀kọ́ wa tó mọ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà tó wá bí kọ́ wá fàjì fún ẹ̀kọ́ náà. Wọ́n wá gbàdákà gbogbo wa ni. Láti fi vóòtì fún gbogbo jẹ́gbẹ́jẹ́ ọkọ̀ tó yá gbàdákà wa ni pé wọ́n mọ̀ fún gbogbo wa. Àwọn tata àti Yorùbá ni tata bílíbi Yorùbá ni àti ní àní vóòtì. Ṣó yẹ yín? So our collect data wa through election ni. Ṣé bí wọ́n gbà 5 million is a lot of numbers. Wọ́n ti gbọ́ already. Wọ́n lọ fáwọn yẹn tẹ̀ka. Then àwọn tó kọ́ Nàìjíríà náà àwọn yẹn náà vote now. Ṣẹ́gẹ̀. Ṣé o ṣe rí ọlọ́run àṣà ló wa ni? Ṣé ló máa wọ́n ti yín? Kòkò ṣe ń dín kí ẹ̀dá ṣé lè ṣe wà yìí ẹ̀? Ẹni tẹ́lẹ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ fún ti screen tẹ́ fún ti wà. Ẹni ò blame yín o. Ṣẹ́gẹ̀. Ìkọ̀kọ̀ wa náà wà yìí kára gbogbo akọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Gbogbo wa ni. Tábàáyé tó máa tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ́la sí lọ́la fókè òun àgbẹ̀ akọ̀ Nàìjíríà ní àwọn dájú wìtì. Àtú pé wò pé àgbẹ̀ ọkọ̀ pọ́ńtì òun ẹ̀kọ́ máa gbé wa lọ. Ṣẹ́gẹ̀ tí kan tí wọ́n sọ. Gbogbo ẹ̀rọ ẹ̀kọ́ Nàìjíríà everybody ó wù wà pé ká kó Nàìjíríà but it's not easy. Àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà aláàtúntò consider ó understand bàbá Ìgbòho àti bàbá Akíntó ẹ̀jẹ̀ pé wọ́n wá fàṣà ìdẹ̀ẹ̀dẹ̀ bí kọ́ ọ̀bẹ káwọn èèyàn kú gan ni àgbàlagbà nǹkan tàgbàlagbà máa rò nìyẹn because a lot of people wọn ọmọ nǹkan tó lọ ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ gbọ́ nǹkan tó lọ láyé ebi ìkọ́ni máa fi kún ẹ̀ ló wá ebi ti pa wọ́n ebi.
Ẹ ṣé gan ìyá mi ẹ bá ń kí grandma ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ bá ń kí grandma dáadáa ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi thank you so much. I'm going to off my phone. I want to play a bit of even if it's going to take me a bit of more time. I won't be in a rush. I've slept enough and I have a bit of energy. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ní òye tí ẹ ń follow ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation. Number one, no matter how frustrated our people are, no matter how angry tẹ́ bá jẹ́, and if that anger gets into either through a private call to me, Koiki, this and that, or tabashi call line táwọn èèyàn pè because èmi ọmọ tó ní kálukú fẹ́ sọ àdẹ̀gbò kò rẹ̀ sẹ́ni tó pè lálẹ́ ìta ìtì gbé kọ́ọ̀lù wọn sọ kò sí pé à ń select call so olúkálukú dẹ̀ ti sọ ní tó fẹ́ sọ even as much as I try to control a bit of what we should not be saying because we don't want to be distracted. Let me say this. I know a lot of you want me to talk. I'm not going to talk now. I won't. But what I can tell us is, we know that they have tried to destroy the movement from last year. They have tried. And the reason why they were able to do so is the reason that a lot of you are now pointing the finger back at us. Pé kí ló dé tí ẹ tètè sọ̀rọ̀ sókè tí ẹ allow ẹ̀? Ẹ ti understand? Kí ló dé tí a tètè gbé ìgbésẹ̀ láti block ẹ̀? Number one, ẹ̀yin ò ṣe máa béèrè pé kí ló dé tí ìyá onítìrí ò ṣe fẹ́ wá sórí program tàwa láti wá sọ̀rọ̀. I've never told her not to come and speak here, and anybody can take this message to her. Ẹ gbọ́ mi dáadáa o. I won't say a lot. Títí di bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, I have not told her that this platform is not available for her to come and speak. Why has she refused to come and speak on this platform? Take that home tonight. Ẹ kọ́ ti bíbà, ẹ send ẹ sí wọn. I will not say anything again. Mo mú yẹn lọ fún ẹ̀yin tí ẹ̀ ń wá concern. Ẹ̀ ń wá concern because there has been distorted information tó ń bá bọ̀ láti last year pé gbogbo a máa lọ. Two people are saying that a máa lọ. Two people. So gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ máa sọ pé àmọ́ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, àmọ́ tó ń lọ, ó ti sú wa. No. Two people were promising you that we will go. And those two are not working parallel together. They're doing different things. And some people believe that that is good. Ẹ̀yin ò ṣe túbọ̀ ní sùúrù. It doesn't matter whether election is 28 days from now. Ìkan ti perform. The result is not yet out, whether we like it or not, because as far as I'm concerned, we still have a Nigeria running. So if anybody say we have a country, maybe on social media, but for me, as a person, I do not see a country as present. But the last one, whether it is still going to happen or not, it come out. Because two people that promised us that we are going to go, one was being used láti fẹ́ fi knock kan, either through proxies, because àwọn lè má sọ directly, but they were using proxies. And part of the first proxies was one coin loss in 2023. The question now is, can ǹjẹ́ the first person tí wọ́n declare the 2022, ǹjẹ́ a lè confirm pé àtàwọn tí wọ́n ti declare pé election yìí ó máa wáyé kò ní wáyé, èwo ló máa stop ẹ̀ nínú méjèèjì? Ẹ̀gbọ́n nǹkan tí mo sọ dáadáa. Èwo ló máa stop election tí wọ́n fẹ́ ṣe in 28 days according to this paper, which the EU has arrived in Nigeria, speaking with Femi Gbajabiamila, a Yoruba man that disagrees with the Yoruba nation, but is excited to sit with this Oyinbo man that is probably the same age with me, to destroy Africa, tó ń jọ rẹ́rìn, tó ya camera. In 28 days, my question is, èwo ló máa stop election? Ṣé declaration tí wọ́n ṣe ní November 20 ló máa fún election kó máa hold nílẹ̀ Yorùbá? Àbí àwa tá ṣe ń pariwo pé ẹ jẹ́ ká jáde síta ká stop election yẹn with our crowd? Èwo lẹ rò pé ó máa stop election? Ṣé feel pé declaration máa stop election? Ẹ mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń béèrè question ni o, and I need an answer to that. Which one is going to stop the election in 28 days? Because as far as we are coming, every day, Mushimanso, títí dé ní, we need our people to prepare that our protest is still valid. But is the declaration valid to stop 2023 general election? We will do a program on this. Will the declaration tí tí wọ́n declare ní November 2022 tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí torí pé kò jẹ́ pé mo sọ pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. I spoke about it, but if she was being truthful with that declaration, why is she running away from all the other medias, including this media, even though we have not rejected her to come and speak? Ṣebí wọ́n lo platform yìí láti fi promote petition, ṣebí wọ́n lo platform yìí láti fi promote passport, ṣebí wọ́n lo platform yìí láti fi promote òmìnira tó ń sọ yẹn ní gbogbo media pátápátá. Koikimedia nìkan ló dá dúró tó promote òmìnira account. Why are they running away from this platform? Because they know that there will be questions. Or kí n kàn sọ pé maybe tí ìmọ̀ ta pé bá wọn sọ, why are they running? Why are they using one platform? Ṣé platform yẹn nìkan nísìn ló máa promote gbogbo Yorùbá nation? If that is it, that's fine. Come and promote it. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wọ́n sọ pé our worried big grandma, why you worried? Ẹ má worry. Because one has not performed, which is àwọn bàbá Akintoye wọ́n perform, that's fine. But èyí tí ó perform yẹn ṣó máa stop election. Èyí tí ìyẹn ṣó máa ṣé declaration ìbéèrè question ni pé ṣé declaration of Yorùbá nation in November 2022 ààrẹ tí kúrò ní 2022 because a ṣì wà ní 2022 ṣó máa stop the general election in the next 28 days is a question I am putting to them to answer on behalf of Yoruba people, because on behalf of Yoruba people, not on Shishe, whether they agree with us, we disagree with them. If APC will agree, but if Yoruba ni Gbajabi Amila, would they agree with me? So this is why we are saying that we are not running the same thing as what we see. Because some of us, like me, I am not a stupid man. You don't have to agree with my views. But pé káwá ní àwọn bàbá ò ní template. This is what they created in our mind. And that's a lie. Because this, if you go to Koikimedia, this was released by Baba Akintoye at the beginning of the Yoruba nation struggle. So nobody should ever say pé ní template ká fi follow towards the Yoruba self-determination. Yoruba nation chooses the noble path to its noble goal. A manual, mo ti ṣàlàyé fún yín kí ló ń pè ní manual. Ìtìyàn máa lọ máa gbé yẹ̀wò. Ẹ ti understand nísìn. Nínú manual, a lè yọ kúrò nínú ẹ̀, a lè add mọ́. A manual of the Yoruba self-determination struggle for all the Yoruba self-determination advocates at home and in the diaspora. Kí òmìnira fún wa ní níbo ni template tí wọ́n sí wà tó ní manuscript báyìí tí mo lè kà sí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá létí. Ẹni kan fún yín ní ibi tó wà kó send as PDF musakalam@gmail.com or info@koikimedia.com and I will present it here tomorrow. Baba Akintoye released a 35 òun lélẹ̀ and ẹ lè lọ síbẹ̀ kẹ́ lọ download it. It is downloadable on our page. And if you go to the next slide, it says, Yoruba nation, our glorious past. Omu wa lọ sí glorious past wa. Let's go further. It also talk about Yoruba nation, devastating experience in Nigeria. Gbogbo oríṣiríṣi ìyàtọ̀ tí fi wá jẹ nínú Nigeria. The next slide. Ó ṣì wà lórí yẹn. Mo ń lọ wo headline ni o. Ó ṣì wà lórí yẹn. Ó ṣì wà lórí yẹn. For enlightenment of an increasing shock world. Ó ṣì wà lórí yẹn. So, let's see. Okay. Ó ṣì fún wa ní brief history nílé. Brief history. Let's go further. We're still talking about brief history, I guess. Now, we're still talking about brief history. We talk about the October 2020 Bọ́sípa àwọn èèyàn ní. Ó ń fún wa ní breakdown àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa máa mú lọ sọ́dọ̀ MP wa, ká máa mú káàkiri, ká máa lọ fi ṣe presentation whether on koikimedia or as individual or as WhatsApp group, as different organization. Àti ní nǹkan tí a lè máa lọ lò. Now, ó wá sọ pé the next slide. Growing international intervention in the Nigerian situation. Ṣé bí international community náà ló dé nísìn? Wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ election. But how do we stop this European Union observer? Because each European Union is why the Biafra has issued a warning to them, which is what is going to take me to this section now. And Killer of Biafra issue press statement from the office of the spokesperson for the Biafra people. It was dated 27th of January 2023. Attention, international community and organizations in Nigeria to observe the February 2023 fraudulent Nigeria election. Baba Akintoye has already have a template of that, even before the Biafra. Let's read a little bit about it. Baba Akintoye called growing international intervention. When something is called intervention, meaning intervention. Intervention. What is the meaning of intervention? Kilo mean. And the pronunciation.
Intervention.
Again.
Intervention.
Again.
Intervention.
The action or process of intervening, a high degree of state intervention in economy. What do we mean by intervention? The act of interfering with the outcome or cause, especially as the Yoruba people are agitating. So, who is now telling us that Baba Akintoye could template? This template has been there for a very long time, but what they did was they knock off this one, brought in another one that we cannot even start talking about because we don't have what it takes. When we were doing, the petition, everybody was talking about the petition because we were pushing people to go and do the petition. But today, why are they not using that same petition to communicate with Nigerians? At least there's about 2 million Yoruba people that fill that petition. So nobody should ever say, "Wait, Baba Akintoye work for any template." This template was there. Let's go look at it quickly. From around mid-2019, representative of the Nigerian Indigenous Nations Alliance for Self-Determination, known as NINAS, Bugwala follow NINAS. I was in Nigeria after the 90 days. Motivation Nigeria and I was present, and we saw the reaction of Tony Namdi when Igboho was speaking. We realized that I saw it that this is not somebody that is playing because action Igboho pay low. Ẹ rántí pé Igboho sọ bàbá wa nígbà yẹn pé à ń lọ sí border. Ẹ wo reaction yẹn bó ṣe trigger lọ sí Nigerian news media. But today, Igboho jáde ó ní ká ṣe rally, àwọn kan nínú àti declare a má tún ṣe kankan mọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká slow down. Knowing fully well that into ma trigger communication pẹ̀lú àwọn àti international intervention ni pé ká jáde sójú títì. And everybody now is asking, mo bi tá à ń kó wa lọ. Actually, going on still the right that I have not come out to say I see Yoruba nation. Yes, election is 28 days, but the question is, we must be resolute, we must be determined to fight it till the last man standing, even in the midst of one of our comrades that died last week Sunday. So if everybody is getting frustrated, you are getting frustrated because one person that said that election is not going to come is still in the process, but one person that has given you hope as well, the hope doesn't seem to be coming. So what if the confusion? But the question is, follow. What refuse that to follow it? Because they don't want to work with this man. Because what election 2023, but nobody has now been able to come and defend whether election will hold with a declaration that they have in their midst. So we must remain calm. It does not matter whatever and how it's going to happen. Nigeria will fall. But in the midst of all that, there has already been a lot of division in the midst of the Yoruba nation struggle. And I am not here to defend what I don't know about. I expect me to defend it. You don't expect me to come and be defending what I don't know about. Defend it. And it does not matter as far as I am speaking daily with CSI. The Yoruba nation struggle continue. Everything I speak with him is not for public consumption. As far as I continue, multiply, be a grandma join one, be more play Baba Akintoye, abi gbogbo ari video yen. And this was a current interview. And he says that Yoruba nation struggle is still an ongoing process, regardless of whatever is happening in our midst as we speak. And some people say, why are you not working together? No, we can't work together because they have actually first disrespected the platform that was used to promote an agenda that we now realize that is that agenda authentic? Because if it was authentic, why not the continuation of using that same platform? Why now decide that, oh, koikimedia is not a platform to be used anymore? And if that's the case, that's fine. We don't even, we're not going to beg anybody. But when that platform was useful, that platform was being used. Platform, you're missing. No, it's all lies. There is nowhere in my communication that I have refused this platform not to be used. And on that note, I will leave it there for now. But if you want to read more about the intervention and again, we Yoruba have now decided to liberate our nation. Again, let's go to number 15. So, let's go to number 16. Number 16, this is an all Yoruba mass struggle. The Yoruba self-determination struggle is a mass movement of the Yoruba people at home, in the Yoruba homeland in Nigeria, in the Yoruba diaspora in most countries. Let's go to number 17. We perceive that the peaceful and law-abiding path is open. Don't expect Baba Akintoye láti máa sọ fún wa pé a máa di gbàsgbòs èmi nìkan mo tó bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbogbo ẹnu mi sọ, sí nǹkan anybody lè ṣe lágbàáyé, ó máa di gbàsgbòs. But àwọn kan ní ká má jẹ́ kó di gbàsgbòs. Mo ní fine, ẹ máa lọ through the law-abiding path tí Baba Akintoye fi sílẹ̀. Kí ni law-abiding path tó sọ? In general, it used to be that any kind of ethnic nationalities activities was regarded as a taboo in Nigeria and was treated as a crime. But that has changed considerably in the recent years because Nigerians are becoming more and more aware of the legitimate right of the nationality in the world, which is what koikimedia have done in the last how many years? 3 years. The legitimate right according to the United Nations Charter. I don't know whether other media does though, but every time I keep telling you about the 1514 resolution, it become a now. And this resolution have been there since 14th of December 1960. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ sọ pé àmọ́ bí tá ń kó wa lọ. No, Yoruba nation náà la ṣe ń kóra wa lọ. Àìtí kóra wa lọ anywhere. It does not matter, whether we are concerned or we are worried. It's because there has been a discord láàrin wa. And that discord is creating a lot of uncertainty among all the Yorubas around the world. So if anybody say they are tired, they are fed up, okay, maybe you just want to take a short break out of the Yoruba nation, but not somebody like us, because the job must be continuity and preparing our mind. This is a document that has been there for the last 2 years, but for whatever reason, it was kind of knocked off quickly, and then another agenda wanted to supersede it. So why do we want to supersede something that also is going to be of benefit? Let's continue. Number 18. Furthermore, we operate by the provisions of international and Nigerian law. Tabani wọ́kọ̀ lẹ́tà sí United Nations, ICC. Kódà mo sọ fún yín pé Ìbà Gani Adams lógun ọ̀fẹ́, he has done the same thing as well. So there's nothing special about writing letters to United Nations. Baba Akintoye has done that, far, far better, and there's evidence to that. And if you think that there's no evidence, I can prove that again. Let me open another browser quickly. And this browser, if you go into that Yoruba document files, you will find even up to a lot of different things there. Let's go further down. About no further down, it's I want to communicate. Gazette, Lele, gbogbo alari, Q&A, táwọn bàbá Rògbòrè àti Dr. Aliu ṣe. So why are we having problem to get, a PDF of a correspondent that somebody said they have, and we can put it on our timeline? We can use that to educate people. Why is that becoming a difficulty in 2020, in 21st century? Ó dàbí ìgbà kan ní àwọn ilé ṣe Q&A nísìn káwá máa bèrè pé mo ló wà kọ́ máa sọ fún wa pé ó ṣì wà lọ́nà ó kù díẹ̀. And you can see it's a 37 page. Let's continue. This is the volume 3 of the Gazette. Again, United Nations Declaration here, the common need. So, now, this is an evidence in July 13, 2021, that a group of people that also Babakito is aware of submitted to the International Criminal Court. But all these things does not take just like that. It takes some time. It takes some time because Tabana sent letters to International Criminal Court. Another 5 years from now, what they might be treated because Ogbodo investigator lost in Nigeria, láti lọ investigate crime that reported federal government for. And this was put together by a group of lawyers, 27 page. So kí ló wá lè nínú pé kẹ́ fún wa ní evidence, carry confirmation, ìyẹn ṣe fẹ́ wá di wàhálà. Eléyìí again àwọn kan tó ṣe Yoruba Strategic Alliance àti ṣe program lé lórí àwọn tó ṣe nípa kí ló ń pè proposed constitution. Again proposed constitution gbogbo eléyìí láti sọ tipẹ́tipẹ́ nígbà yẹn àwọn the same set of people yẹn lọ kọ lẹ́tà sí International Criminal Court. Bàbá Akintoye dẹ̀ wà involved wọ́n wà aware of it. Chief Sunday Igboho wà involved. Declaration tí máa ń kà fún yẹn òun ló wà níbí báyìí. So kí ló wá fẹ́ wá jẹ́ kí ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí number 19, right? And we also take serious note of the wisdom of the most former rulers of Nigeria. Number 20, and we take serious note for the increasing dark assessment of Nigeria by the international community. International community ló ti dé nísìn, wọ́n fi sọ̀rọ̀ election, and the Biafra have also issued a warning to them. This is to notify the various international observers, both the government and the non-government organization who has been deployed to Nigeria to observe the fraudulent February 2023 general election of a very crucial development that they must bear in mind before moving into or while in the country to carry out their mission. Every observer of the so-called election must be conscious of the following, that we, the Biafra people, have decided and declare it loud and clear to the hearing of the international communities for over a period of 2 years now that Nigeria is no longer permitted to hold any fraudulent elections in Biafra land, and for this reason, there shall no longer be no election in Biafra land come February 2023. That we, the Biafra people, have spoken through several means, including massive, successful weekly sit-at-home for almost 20 months now, to show that we are no longer under the sovereignty of Nigeria entity. And this sit-at-home has been widely covered and observed by both local and international media, even if the international community have chosen to keep a blind eye. That there is already war ongoing currently being carried out by the Nigerian government against the Biafra people. The question now is, ibo ni àwa ti fẹ́ jáde in our own campaign for similar to kind of either a press release like this or not? This is where we must remember that immediately after we said that there was going to be what's it called? Rally from November 17. I remember vividly well. Then by that time, there has been discord among the Yorubas. There has been this manipulation to give the narrative that need the rally more, need the protest more, ati wa ni illusion. I don't understand what that means. So right there and there, you know, a lot of people started fading away from. Kí lẹ tún fẹ́ máa ṣe yẹn fún Koiki fẹ́ máa fi gba owó lórí prógrámù ní bla 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 protest wo lọ́ tún ṣe ẹ fẹ́ pa àwọn èèyàn wa ní ẹ fẹ́ ṣe this ẹ fẹ́ ṣe that. And all of a sudden, you know, the think tank behind started, you know, slowing down to say, okay, it seems that àti ní problem o, because energy tá à ń gbé bọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ó dà ń pọ̀ tí ń fẹ́ slow energy o. And eventually, in December, just after I think the Ogun State rally, things calmed down a little bit. It picked up after the Oyo rally, then it went slow down again until January 9, Tatujade from Lagos rally. And eventually, we saw what happened after the Lagos rally. And we even saw the backlash of people say, this and that. So this time around, the think tanks are still working, and they're not going to say, we're not going to come out and tell you, oh, this is what is going on. No. But so what they've done is slow down the energy of some of the Yoruba, you know, patriots that wanted the, you know, the push, because, like I said, is that declaration going to stop election? And if it's not going to stop the election, so why then have we not made a push with what we were actually going to do in the first place? Because as at October, ní bàbá ti sọ ní October 8, I have that note, that nínú rally tá máa ṣe, inú ẹ̀ ní declaration máa ti jáde, nínú ẹ̀ ní a ti máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ transitional government. Gbogbo yín ti gbàgbé. Okay. A máa ń tètè gbàgbé kan. Èmi náà ti gbàgbé, mo kàn rán wa létí náà ni. October 8, if things have gone according to plan. But we already have two fractions, you know. One doesn't want to work with one, and one was working with the agenda they had before. So kí la wá sọ fún wa pé, mo bí tá ń kó wa lọ. Ibo la ń kóra wa lọ. Inú Yorùbá nation náà la ṣe ń kóra wa lọ. Àìtí kúrò nínú ẹ̀. Because when she came, she was actually going in a direction that doesn't want to line with Baba Akintoye. And everybody was calling, hey, ẹ jẹ́ kó wó line up. Ó dẹ̀ máa kọ́ line up. Olúkálùkù máa ṣe tiẹ̀. Mo pariwo títí, let the pyramid join. I realized it looks like one pyramid is not going to join with the others. And that's a fact. And you can take a horse to the river. So if anybody wants to go and do what they have to go and do, let them go and do it. But that is not going to... That is not a statement that we should accept. Yes, it's part of movement. Kajade Kalo Shirali is part of movement. Amanowa Amanora, risky one níbẹ̀. Ìyàwó mi ò tẹ̀ láìkí máa sọ̀rọ̀ risky yẹn. Ẹ rò pé kò sí risky fẹ́mi náà ni. Èmi náà free bí ẹ̀yẹ́bẹ̀ yìí tẹ̀ sí free. Púpọ̀ ọ̀nà yín free na. Ẹ rò pé mi free. Èmi ò free. Because mo ti restrict ara mi. Because yes, I mean, I might be living in UK, but I still have to be making sure that I have to at least, you know, be careful. Tẹ́lẹ̀ máa lọ ṣe broadcast níta lálẹ́. Àwọn èèyàn ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pé mi pé kí mo fi máa take risk yẹn fún ti pọ̀ jù. So ẹ máa assume pé as much as gbogbo wa ti take a risk, a máa bá risk yẹn délẹ̀ ni. Because ìta gbé dání risk factor wà níbẹ̀. Gbajabiamila does not want Nigeria to break. Èmi dẹ̀ fẹ́ kó break. So iṣẹ́ tèmi nísìn ni pé kí n sọ fún Gbajabiamila pé tó bá fẹ́ àtáàkì ọba Ògbóni, gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá nation lè fẹ́ attack. Because Ọba Ògbóni was going to be assassinated by somebody sent from Gbajabiamila. Ẹ lè máa sọ pé ẹni wá ti dùn jù bla 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 ẹ mọ bí tá à ń kó wa lọ o gbogbo ẹ ṣe wá dákẹ́ rọ́rọ́ báyìí o. It's because there has been a fraction that has broken through and refused to work with one. And if anybody doesn't work with each other, let them go and do their own thing. Ìbọn ọmọ Yorùbá nation náà lọ fẹ́ gbà fún kọ́ máa bá ṣe lọ. But ká gbogbo àjọ máa wo èwo nú ẹ̀ ló fẹ́ stop election. And I'm not going to give you everything because mo mọ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ fi ọ̀rọ̀ sí mi pé kí n sọ̀rọ̀ ni. No, ọ̀rẹ́ tí bẹ̀mí iṣẹ́ kí n sọ̀rọ̀. So ẹ bá wá, you know, whether with the, you know, narratives, yes, everybody is frustrated. I am not frustrated because I know that we are still on the right path. So if people are frustrated, maybe you just want to take some time off. It's normal. Ní ọba ń ṣiṣẹ́ gan lọ gbúdúgbúdúgbúdúgbúdú bá dé time kan ẹ̀ ṣáà lọ holiday. So maybe you want to take time off out of the the whole event. But tó bá yẹ pé mind wà níbẹ̀, a gbọ́dọ̀ máa ṣe iyèméjì pé wàhálà tá a ṣe, a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe wàhálà yẹn délẹ̀ tán, a máa fi survive ẹ̀ ní. How the people survive without an heater in the 1800, 1900 kó tó di pé heating system bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dé. Ẹ̀yìn heater ni mo jókòó sí nísìn, ó ń rà mí bíi yányá ni. Àwọn kan ọ̀rẹ́ opportunity yẹn ní 1980. Gáàsì ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí di tán run around ní gbogbo lé nísìn tí ilé fi ń wọ̀n. A lot of people died because there was no heating system. So we should not be thinking of wàhálà tá a ti ṣe pé ṣó máa wá já sí òfin náà kò já sófo. We are still in the right direction. Táwa tábà wà níta, tábà wà discouraged. Àwọn tó wà nílé kí fẹ́ ká ṣe fún wọn? A lè jẹ́ káwọn náà wà discouraged. So our job is to make sure that we continue with the narratives, we continue with the pressure, and pressure kúkà ní. Gbígbó ò bá sọ̀rọ̀ pẹ́rẹ́lẹ́ ní nísìn, pépà Nàìjíríà máa gbé. Because one more important. So àìsọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n nísìn gan, ó fún wọn ní concern. And Baba Akintoye continue to speak. The last message tí Baba Akintoye sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí, ẹ lọ wò ó ní àti play lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ó wà lórí YouTube. Ká lọ gbọ́. Gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó fi pamọ́ bàbá yẹn náà yẹn, ó bá àwọn UPN kìíní kan ṣe, ó bá àwọn kìíní kan ṣe. All lies with no pure evidence. Just to try to bring the whole man down. So àwọn kan lè jókòó, their job is bàbá yẹn please. I was nínú that ibi tí mo ti gbé ní pẹ̀lú àwọn ìbò, ìyọ̀ká ṣe máa sọ fẹ́mi. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo àtàjọ gbé ní UK la ní understanding. So let anybody, Yoruba ní everybody kọ́ lọ́ máa ṣe tiwọn. But we are not running the same thing anymore. It's as simple as that. If that's what you want to hear. Because ó ti di fraction kan kò wá sórí platform láti wá bá wa sọ̀rọ̀. Àmọ́ tó ń sọ ìtọ́ bá sọ níta bẹ́ẹ̀ la máa fi gbọ́ díẹ̀. Òkè ìtọ́ sọ lélẹ̀ òkè ìtọ́ tún sọ yìí Ọlọ́run máa kó sùúrù o. Ṣé bó ṣe máa lọ náà lélẹ̀ ó dà. But the question is, I'm putting that again to everybody. Will that declaration stop the 2023 general election? Àbí declaration yẹn máa allow election náà kó go ahead? Ẹ̀rí dẹ̀ ń pa mí. Do you understand? I just pity a lot of Yoruba people. Nigeria I declare election dem bọ̀. So àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ fẹ́ máa fi yẹn ṣe mọ́, àwa sì sọ pé òkè ọ̀nà táwa sì fẹ́ máa tọ̀ yẹn òun làwa ń tọ̀ lọ. Nìkan láti rí pé ọ̀nà tá a fẹ́ máa tọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ yẹn ó dà pé àfẹ́rójú tó ẹ̀ mọ̀. Tí bá dé wà látà ní sígbà tó gbé mọ́tò wá báyìí nísìn. Kó wá pè mí kó ní Koiki, my cousin, epo máa ti tán níbẹ̀ tí o lè bá mi rẹpo wá kí n wá lọ ra dísù sí mọ́tò petrol kí lè rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Ìbéèrè ní ẹ̀ràn kí n máa ń béèrè question. Nígbà tí mo mọ̀ pé mọ́tò tí wà látà ń drive petrol ni mo wá lọ bá ra dísù á wá rọ́ sínú ẹ̀ kí lè rò pé ó máa ṣẹlẹ̀. So we're not dealing with we're dealing now with different things entirely. So kò sí bí a ṣe pé ní passion bá ṣe wà frustrated a máa yọ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́gbẹ́ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. So kólúkálukú wà nílé nẹ̀ tó bá lè bá wa gba látòkè kó máa gba látòkè. Àwọn kan nísìn paperwork ló ń ṣe, sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ la wá, cash analysis, ẹ wo ibi tí mo ti lọ mú program jáde lálẹ́. Ta ló lè ẹ̀ bá yàtọ̀ sí pé ẹ̀gbọ́n tó sẹ́ndẹ̀ sẹ́mi náà fi rí. Ta ló lè ẹ̀ bá mọ̀ pé òyìnbó kan wà ó dá OBE padà nítorí pé àṣìṣe táwọn àṣìṣe tẹ̀kọ́ anyway kò sì yan ṣàṣìṣe. Ọ̀ràn táwọn British Empire dá sí Africa lọ́rùn lòun ṣe dá mẹ́dà tó fún padà ní 2009. So kí làwọn wá fẹ́ máa bínú pé ibi tí a ti ṣe wàhálà ta jáde nínú òtútù ta rìn káàkiri ta náwó ta nọ́ra ta wá fi pé it's over. 14 years ni bàbá yẹn ṣẹ̀dá mẹ́dà padà. Ó ní mẹ́dà yẹn for 14 years ó wá ní kò wúlò fóun mọ́ ẹgbà kan yín padà. Ìtawà náà fẹ́ gbà 62 years ló ti wà lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà, owó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn, ẹ wo gbogbo owó tó ń kó jẹ a máa parí ètò yìí nísìnyí our party go over our normal schedule, but it's worth it. At least extra 42 minutes alone. See, understanding tiwa. And I don't have anything against anybody. And that's why I have been very, very diplomatic. But the bá gbọ́rọ̀ wá, èmi náà bá yín gbé sí gbèsè gbé wá, so that kí understanding yẹn kó lè yé gbogbo wa. No, èmi tèmi sọ pé mo láì mo hate Tinubu. I keep saying that. Wọ́n jẹ́ pé anything, but èmi ò ní jẹ́ kí Tinubu kó wa lọ sínú kó parun. Torí òun fúnra rẹ̀ nísìn ọmọ àlàgò mọ́ lórí padà wá lé ni. Bó ṣe wà yẹn. Ṣèbóun láti ń rí àlè play video kankan mọ́ lálẹ́. Najatu Muhammed, gbogbo ilẹ̀ ti gbọ́n kan tó sọ. Ó ní Tinubu is the devil. Abẹ́ ti gbọ́ fídíò yẹn bí a tó bá dọ̀là tàbá ní time and play. So my job is to bring the world closer to your doorstep. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀. Tí bá ní ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀, ẹ fọkànbalẹ̀. Ẹ lóòtítọ́ àwọn kan máa ń gbé fídíò mi, àwọn tí mo ti fi sọ̀rọ̀. Ẹ̀hàn kó mú gọ̀ làwọn. Wọ́n máa play, wọ́n máa jù sínú broadcast, wọ́n máa jù sínú group wọn. Ìkan náà wọn tí ẹ̀yin rò pé èèyàn mo ti fi dárúkọ ẹ̀. Òun ló máa kódà gbogbo tó ń gbé lọ sínú platform ẹ̀ wọ́n sọ fún wa gbogbo tó wà tó ń sọ ìrọ̀ against Ìgbòho ni ọkùnrin lẹni náà gbogbo bí tó bá ti ṣe nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé wà against Ìgbòho lọ́nà máa ń gbé wá sínú platform ẹ̀ wọ́n máa fi rẹ́rìn ẹ̀mù kọ́ máa fi Ìgbòho kọ́ máa fi tayín nínú platform yẹn ọkùnrin lẹni tí mò ń sọ yìí ọkùnrin ni kódà ó ní platform tiwa ó ní lórí raw media ni ọmọdákẹ́ mò ń wò bí a lórí raw ni bí a lórí títọ́ ni ẹ̀yìn ni gbogbo àjọ wà àbúbẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀yìn ni gbogbo àjọ wà. So what they are doing is to continue to ẹ̀mọ́ tó bá ní wọ́n mọ́ọ̀kì èèyàn ìtarakùnrin yẹn máa ń ṣe nìyẹn á gbé gbogbo ibi tó ti ń mọ́ọ̀kì Ìgbòho káàkiri kò bá jẹ́ screenshot nǹkan kan tó bá ti wájú síbẹ̀ wọ́n bá máa rẹ́rìn yín. And they do the same thing with Baba Akintoye. So gbogbo Yorùbá láwa gbó papọ̀ but táwọn bá sọ pé section Yorùbá kan làwọn fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation fún èmi ò tí mọ̀ bí yẹn ṣe fẹ́ work but so far àti PDP APC AAC whatever gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ni wọ́n òye wọn ní ẹwọ last caller wa ń tèmi ní sáwọn tí wọ́n jẹun wọ́n níná wọ́n lómi Koiki bá lórí fẹ́ bọ́ tá a bá jáde tá a dí gbogbo ẹ̀ pa gbogbo àwọn tírélà yẹn kẹ fọ́ gbogbo táyà yẹn kí gbogbo ẹ̀ kó wà nílẹ̀ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀bẹ̀ kó má lè move kọ́ tẹ̀ máa wá bọ́ ṣe fẹ́ fix táyà yẹn tí a bá fọ́ táyà 100 vehicle tó jẹ́ àwọn mọ́tò ńláńlá ní Lagos Ìbàdàn expressway yẹn gbogbo ẹ̀ máa dí pa ni 100 ni mo sọ 100 vehicles tí a bá fọ́ gbogbo táyà yẹn kọ́ tó fix ẹ̀ á fẹ́ tó 3 weeks ìyẹn máa dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ bìkọ́ wá máa bèrè pé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Lagos Ìbàdàn expressway but àwọn èèyàn sọ pé àwọn ìtì ìfẹ́ ṣe yẹn so kí la máa ṣe sí so that means pé àìtí prepare but pé election bọ̀ yẹn ẹ má tanra yín wàhálà tó fẹ́ wọnú election ẹ lọ wo Sùúrùlérè lẹ́nu àbí lánàá dẹ̀ ni Jandor PDP wọ́n ń gbébọn káàkiri ni mo sọ fún yín ẹ sọ fáwọn èèyàn yín ni ṣẹlẹ àwọn kan ti máa ń post sí àwọn kan máa fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀ this your post sometimes explain look I don't have to explain anything I am putting things out in code it is entirely up to you to encode it àbúrò òye nísìn ẹ̀yin lẹ máa lọ encode ẹ̀ but gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń ṣe ìbàjẹ́ Ìgbòho àti Bàbá Akíntóyè nínú gúrùpù yín ẹ̀yin ni Ọlọ́run ni ẹ túbọ̀ máa ṣe ìwà arákùnrin yẹn túbọ̀ máa ṣe o ọ̀kẹ́ mo ti dárúkọ ẹ mo sì forúkọ ẹ mo mú sábẹ́kùn mi kódà kò ń ṣe àwọn nìkan kódà ó ṣe kàn mí gan fúnra mi gbogbo ẹ̀ ló tí ó wà lọ́wọ́ mi báyìí ọmọ pé journalist lèmi èmi dẹ̀ mo ń pa ilẹ̀ jọ gbogbo tó ń ṣe yẹn máa ṣe lọ ẹ mọ́ọ̀kì Ìgbòho bẹ́ẹ̀ bá tẹ̀ mọ́ọ̀kì èmi ò ṣèyàn àbí fine but orí raw media tẹ́ pé yẹn òṣèlú mídíà yìí lẹ ti máa ní ohun ìfẹ́ máa fi gbé jáde mọ́ gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ mídíà mi tó jẹ́ orí irọ́ yẹn kò ṣe rí bíbà ẹ wá expect èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ìyẹn kan wá sí bíbà àwa máa ní ìyẹn mo ṣe máa sọ fún yín pé mo ṣe ń tolerate díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni torí pé èmi sì ní a bit of sympathy normally kò tẹ̀ yẹ kí n fún anybody láyè tí bá gbọ́ kúpáyìn kan máa lé yín dànù ni bàbá fẹ́ jà ká tètè yà jà mò ń ṣèlè gò nílùú yìí mo sọ fún iṣẹ́ cleaner òun ló easy jù láti ṣe nílùú yìí àti kitchen porter so à ń pọ́nra wa lé ni àpọ́nlé ni gbogbo àjọ ń ṣe but platform tí ẹ̀ ń pè ní orí irọ́ yẹn ẹ lè lo platform yẹn o láti fi promote agenda tí as simple as that ẹni tó bá yé ló yé bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn so ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ máa pè ní orí irọ́ lọ lèmi wà so orí irọ́ tí mo wà yẹn gbogbo fídíò tí mo ti ṣe tí mo ti sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé a máa jáde ẹ máa pẹ́pẹ́ ojú ló ń kán ìbòjì òun ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀ èmi Ọláyọmí Kóìkì ni mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ he who laugh last laugh best so ẹ jẹ́ ẹ rọra slow speaker mi ti disturb àwọn ará ilé mi lálẹ́ púpọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ́ you don see Ìgbòho bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ṣe ń gbọ́ Ìgbòho àyàyà máa já mo sọ fún yín pé ní Nàìjíríà lẹ́nu àwọn méjì péré náà ni Ìgbòho àti Nnamdi Kanu ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ní loyalty mi wá sí ẹ bá fi jábọ́ sínú omi ó dàbọ̀ ẹ jábọ́ sínú omi kò ń ṣọ̀hún lélẹ̀ má bínú ọ lè wálé èmi nìyẹn nílé gbọ́ ìdánsí Ìgbòho jàre. mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ gbọ́ ìdánsí Ìgbòho kọ́kọ́ mọ̀ ìdánsí Ìgbòho. The love is just too much. Ẹ túbọ̀ máa mọ́kẹ̀ ẹ̀yin nìyẹn Ọlọ́run nìyẹn túbọ̀ máa mọ́kì Ìgbòho gbogbo bó ṣe ń mọ́kẹ̀ ó ń dọ́dọ̀ mi ẹ ti mọ́kì mi èmi ti gba kámú àbí but èmi better off gbogbo yín pátá torí pé visa ni mo fi wọ̀ lóyè mo ò wá lórí ship ẹ má bínú ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń gba ship wa visa ni mo fi wọlé mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe legal immigrant èmi ń wo ìgbà ọdún sẹ́ni ni òun ṣèní ni mò ń wò ní ta máa jẹ lénìí ta máa lọ toilet ọjọ́ ọ̀la lèmi ń wò láyé ọmọ Yorùbá ò ní gbàgbé orúkọ Ọláyọmí Kóìkì kódà àwọn Kóìkì tí wọ́n support mi gan àwọn náà jẹ́nu àǹfààní yẹn lọ́jọ́ iwájú so bẹ́ẹ̀ ni èmi ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ díẹ̀ ni mo kọ̀ rọra snake mi but ibi tá à ń lọ gangan èyí tó kù mo gbé sábẹ́ kù ẹ bá wà ẹ fi tọwọ́ bọ̀ mí lẹ́nu mo lè sàn kankan lọ́rẹ̀ pa kò ní bàjẹ́ fún Azeez mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa lálẹ́ yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìyá mi Grace ẹ̀ tí sùn he who laugh last will laugh best ìyá yẹn náà ọba wọ́n wálé ìyá Grace olùṣọ́ wọ́n wálé tó ń wọ ṣòkòtò tó ń tẹ̀lé àwọn ọmọ yẹn lọ sí rally ó tún grandma Alhaja Irat màmá dáadáa màmá yẹn wá látẹ̀kọ̀ ó tẹ̀lé wọn lọ rally àwọn á jókòó sínú comfort zone ó easy láti máa sọ gbogbo nǹkan pé a ti ṣe ìyẹn ló easy jù the bigger job na àwọn tó wà nílé tó wà on the ground so bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn thank you so much great Yorùbá nation mo kí Yorùbá Clubhouse lọ́la àwọn Biafra wọ́n fi ṣe program pẹ̀lú wa lórí Twitter space láago 4 kọ́lọ́n kó ṣọ́wádọ́lá it's a very busy day tomorrow àti fẹ́ ṣe àárọ̀ lọ́ fi sáré ṣe tìyàwó yèyé lúfẹ̀ but eléyìí táwọn Yorùbá think first mo ti ní àwọ̀ bá ṣe máa ṣe at least àti ní machine méjì ta lè fi stream jáde so we see how it goes tomorrow ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wá concern ìtẹ̀síwájú ń lọ ní lágbára Elédùmarè Ọlọ́run kó wa délẹ̀ lérí bọ́fẹ́ bọ́kọ̀ àwọn politician lọ́ máa fọwọ́ ara wọn ṣera wọn èyí tí ó bá ṣe ńlá níyàn ní ọmọ Yorùbá nu wọn fóun fẹ́ kó wa lọ sínú Nàìjíríà àfàwọn lé Elédùmarè lọ́wọ́ ní tó bá wọn Ọlọ́run kó ṣe fún wọn mo ní Yorùbá yẹn lọ ẹ jẹ́ kémi náà ṣe kíni ká máa lọ fẹ̀gbẹ́ lélẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ oorun ayọ̀ náà máa sun mo dúpẹ́ lọ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má give up the fight continue it is a fight that must be completed and it's gonna be completed in Jesus name inshallah wa kudratillah láṣẹ àwọn tó láyé tó lọ́run òmìnira Yorùbá tó pariwo tó bá jẹ́ pé ó ti rí bẹ́ẹ̀ fine, tó bá dẹ̀ ṣe ń tẹ̀síwájú náà fine, but ìdáwà mọ̀ ni pé Yorùbá nation is not going back. And on that note, gbogbo ẹ̀yin girama tẹ̀ ń wò mí ní gbogbo àgbáyé, Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró tì yín, Ọlọ́run bá wà pẹ̀lú yín. Lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, èmi ò bá yàn kankan jà o, tí n bá tẹ̀ ń bínú sáwọn ọmọ APC, àwa jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá la máa bára wa síra wọn, ó ràn yàn la máa sùn. Táàbà dárúkọ yín, ó ti rẹ bọ́dí, ẹ má bínú, ẹ já lọ sùn. Ìrọ́dàn rẹ̀ ni ọ̀la bá tún ṣe tán nísìn, àtúnṣe one or two things, kí ilé ẹ̀ tó mọ́, bí a tó di 4 o'clock ká tó sùn, ó rà yàn la máa sùn. A máa play orílẹ̀-èdè wa, Ayọ̀míkún Dámíjù. Mo ti sẹ́tẹ̀ báyìí, kíkọ tí má gbé báyìí nísìn, ó máa lọ sókè. Ẹ̀yin ṣáà slow speaker yẹn díẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí o. Yes, it is worth noting that the corrupt politician and government have begun massive vicious attack and campaign against Igboho. Yeah, àwọn politician yẹn try. Wọ́n really attack bàbá Igboho àti bàbá Akintoye. Wọ́n tẹ attack àwa náà because ìsìn kan tẹ́lẹ̀ fèmí ṣe. Mo tẹ̀ ní dáyín náà. Ẹ gbogbo ti mọ̀, mo dáyín lọ. Igboho náà dẹ̀ dáyín lọ. Ìyẹn ló ṣe ń dùn gbogbo wọn. Mo sọ̀rọ̀, kò dákẹ́. So ó ń dùn wọn gan. Kò dẹ̀ ní láti sọ̀rọ̀ kankan. Ó ní spokesman. Èmi dẹ̀ ní spokesman ẹ̀. Kò dẹ̀ tí ràn mí síta. Tó bá ràn mí síta, a sọ̀rọ̀. So bó ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn. Mo kí gbogbo ẹni tá wà lórí Instagram. Ọlọ́run bá ń dúró ti gbogbo wa. Àwọn alálẹ̀ wọn ní filẹ̀ Yorùbá sílẹ̀. Gbogbo ọba tó bá ń gba àbọ̀dè fúnlẹ̀ Yorùbá, káwọn alálẹ̀ máa bá wa dé pẹ̀lú wọn tó bá ti ń sùn, àti ìyàwó wọn àtàwọn ọmọ wọn. Politician tó bá ń gba àbọ̀dè fún wa, kọ́lọ́ bá ń dé pẹ̀lú yín. Ó rán yọ la máa sùn. Bye for now. Orílẹ̀-èdè ká máa gbéga, ẹja gbéga o, ẹja gbéga, ìgbàgbọ́ o, láti bẹ̀rù, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ìṣọ̀kan, ìkẹjẹ, tẹ̀síwájú, ọ̀pọ̀ ire, àtòhun, ọmọ odò, bọ́ sí ipò, ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ọba adúláwọ̀, àwa ni ìmọ́lẹ̀. Love you all. Thank you so much. Good night.
Ọkọ̀ Òdùà. Ọkọ̀ Fúlàní. Ọkọ̀ Fúlàní. Ọkọ̀ Fúlàní ló jẹ́ o. Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni. Kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.